What's up guys, it's Lee here from Bleed Up Productions, and today I'm bringing you the Reckoning overview video. That's right, recently we had a Reckoning release event, and basically I got to sit down with my friends from Fat Cats and with some friends online, and we basically went through the book faction by faction, and we pretty much dissected it, saying if it was good, it was bad, the possibilities of seeing these in future tournaments and future lists. It's really exciting to see what people are thinking. So we've got quite a lot of the Leicester Fat Cats on there. We've got John Spencer from Painting with Menoth John. He's helping me with the Retribution review. And also we've got Kevin Bryant, the man, the Merc for hire, shall we say. He is helping us out on the Merc part of it. And basically, with this video, we are going to be going through faction by faction. And to help that, we have this thing coming up now. Look at that. Isn't that very nice? This is the, should we say, navigation bar. If you want to go to a specific faction, you can click that little square now, and it will take you straight to that faction. And you can go from each faction to skip if you don't want to listen to Signar and you fancied listening to, say, Crix, or you wanted to listen to Menoth more than Kador, etc. You can do that. Now, without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoy it, because this was an absolute joy to edit. It took a long time, and obviously I took a little bit of a break. So, unfortunately, it's been delayed a little bit due to work and me wanting to take a break from making videos. But hopefully you guys enjoy it, and please leave a like and comment below your opinions on the factions and who made out gangbusters, basically. So guys, without further ado, here is the Reckoning overview. So guys, we're back here at Tabletop Tyrant, and we've moved on to Signar. Steph is still with us. Steph's still with us. We've got Jack jumping on the channel, and we've got Kurt returning, and myself. We're gonna wade our way through Signar, because there's some amazing releases for Signar. Amazing releases, and I think
very nice models.
We should just start with Haley 3.
Haley the Beautiful.
Haley the Beautiful.
Victoria Haley.
All right, do you want to take this one then, Steph, reading the stats out for us, broski?
So,
if you want to. Because just looking at it, it's just like, ugh.
Which one do you want me to read the stats of? Jeez.
Should we do... We'll do the first one, and we'll go through the book, yeah.
You have Haley Prime, who is, as far as I understand, the Warcaster.
Yeah, I assume she's a Warcaster, right?
It's a Warcaster unit, but she's the main one. So speed 6, strength 7, strength 5.
Strength 5. Strength 7 would have been mental.
She'd be lifting weights, bro.
Mat 6, Rap 5, Defense 16, Armor 14, Command 8, Focus 8, Damage 15 boxes, and 3 Warjack points.
Okay.
One for each Haley.
The weapons got a hand cannon, 12 inch range, power 12.
Okay.
And
Standard.
PNS 12, Echo, her sword.
Right. Now, her feat is... Her sword, is it a spear or sword? Is it the same as the other Haleys? Or is it...
The others had different abilities, this one doesn't have one.
So it has set defense. It's magical weapon and reach, and a model is hit in the front arc, suffers -2 on the charge. It's pretty darn good, but why would you be charging in with her? That's what I'm curious about at the moment.
It's when they charge you.
Set defense, yeah, so...
Oh, okay, cool. Alright, that makes sense.
Not bad. Defense.
Cool. Now this is where it gets all fun and bizarre. So her feat is... arcane, is it synergy or synergy or singularity? See, I can't get words right to save the life of me. Basically, this model in the models in this unit currently in this model's control area gain +2 focus on 1 turn and immediately gain 2 focus points. So I'm assuming with the different incarnations, they gain 2 focus. How's
2 focus and 2 focus?
Would this count towards control area also?
Yeah.
Damn, combine that
your
with a squire.
focus stat is increased.
Yeah.
the bed?
So you can get her control range up to 21 inches. Effectively.
But she doesn't really have any control range abilities, really.
No.
No, but
Maybe revive. I think you have to be in control for revive, right?
So
That comes later. We'll talk about that.
yeah.
but then I'm looking at all her other abilities. I'm going to butcher these names horrifically. I know that for a fact. The first one I want to get into then is Time Walker. Now, explain this in simple terms, Jack, because I know you've started Signar and you're going through Haley 1, Haley 2, Haley 3. What is the whole bloody gist of this whole ability?
So during her activation, at any time, she can spend 2 focus points to effectively bring in either Haley Prime or Haley. Is it Haley Prime is the first one?
Is it the Kid
Past or
Haley
future.
and then Super Saiyan Superman Haley, right?
So
Haley
past
past
and Haley
and-
future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can't. I think they can activate when they're placed, but it just costs 2 points to bring them in. You can spend 4 points to bring both in. They are incorporeal, which is a good thing to mention.
Okay.
So you can bring them in. You can do it all in one activation if you like. They can't really do anything, but then every turn after that, you can spend 2 focus points for each one. So 4 in total if you want both, or 2 if you want one, to keep them around. So effectively, you upkeep them for 2 points each.
Right. Okay.
Now, do they start in play, or do
no.
you have to summon them?
Only Haley Prime starts in play.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Javelin Haley starts, and then you remove that model, and then basically the other one comes in then exactly that.
So she remains.
Okay.
Each one appears.
Oh, so
and
she
remains.
stays on the board, and another one. Bloody hell, that's going to be fun. Multiple things.
There's
on
a
the
good
board at
thing
once.
before, which is quite important. Reiteration. So she can cast a spell of another Haley that's already cast a spell. So one Haley could cast, future Haley could cast Revive, so bring a model back. Then Prime Haley can cast it as many times as she has the focus to do so.
Jesus.
Wow, so she can... Wow. Okay, sure.
Now I can understand why people don't like her. That makes sense.
Does she come with her own TARDIS? Like,
She is a Time Lord, isn't she?
Temple
She's
Flux.
become a Time Lord. So
Squire.
right, Squire is a thing with her, I guess. Huge thing. But the thing is, what's her spell list look like? Is anything jump out
pretty good.
to you like on the?
So I think her best one is the last one, so we'll leave that till last.
Okay.
She has Domination, which if I remember correctly, Haley 2 has?
Look at this guy.
Or Haley 1 has Scramble.
Spin.
I don't think Haley 2 has Domination.
Okay.
My face on Haley 1 has Scramble, which is they run in a random direction.
Mhm.
Haley 2 does have Domination, doesn't she? Because that's where it first came in, I think.
It shows how much I don't
Maybe.
like.
I haven't played Haley 2.
I'm liking the
looking
look
forward
of...
to it.
I'm really liking the look of Temporal Flux.
That's really good.
Um,
So we'll leave that one to last, because that's the really good one.
yeah.
That's a real good one.
So Domination's pretty good because it can help you move jacks around. Unfortunately, it can't affect Colossals because I was quite happy when I had the Domination, then I realised no, it doesn't work.
No, that would be
big burn
broken.
area.
That would be rude.
So the next one is Replicate. What's
Repudiate.
Repudiate.
So
That seems interesting.
English.
It sounds like we need English.
English.
Mongolians. It's the first thing that comes into my head when we say stuff wrong all the time. Hello, Mongolians.
Hello to my real friend.
So what's it do, Jack? Go on.
So what it does is that when it hits enemy enemy model, upkeeps animal on it immediately expire, and the model that had the upkeep in the first place takes D3 damage. And it's really good if you put out Future Haley, because she grants the unit True Sight.
Oh, okay.
Now you ignore stealth.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, that does become pretty...
See now, as a troll player, that really affects me. You know, because my shit's stealthy as, you know.
No, but what it does get rid of, it helps like use it to get rid of all your Earthborn buffs and your other effects on your models.
Two troll players looking very angry at this.
So you put the Earthborn Animus
Damn
or something, and she
Earthborns.
just removes it, and then the Storm Wall goes and punches it in the face.
Boo.
Which is good.
You can leave your storm all at home.
Tactical Supremacy, which is absolutely amazing, and sees
Oh,
trenches on
yeah.
the board again. So you put on at the end of the turn, the model unit gets to move 3 inches. So trenches walk up,
Dig in.
throw out all
Oh,
their
yeah,
smoke
yeah.
grenades, and then walk back behind the smoke.
Nice.
See, I've always said trenches are awesome, and no one will play them, but I can see them playing
It
this.
amazing in Mark 1 because they could put their cloud out 3 inches away in front of them.
I remember
They
the
walk
whole
up, they
trick
throw
with
out 3.
Foxhole. It was like they used to walk up, do all their shooting, Foxhole, and then everything behind them just used to shoot through them because they don't block line of sight. So it was kind of like an overlapping thing.
There's better things in... That's
Do you
it,
remember,
isn't
like,
it?
the
Trenches
tactics
are
where you got
amazing,
the
but there's
two
better
lines
stuff
where
in
you got
Signal.
one fire, then they reload, the other fire, then reload. It's like a thing. It's
Isn't it? It's
pretty
like
cool.
you either take trenches or you take Tempest gun mages. I see, there's going to be one winner there, unfortunately. Alright then, this last one that's got you guys raving.
Prime Haley's best spell, in my opinion, which is Temporal Flux. So while within 5 inches of a model in this unit, friendly models gain +2 defense and enemy models suffer -2 defense. It lasts for 1 round.
What?
So you can create a massive area bubble between the 3 of them, because her command is 8, so they can be 8 inches away from her and have their 5-inch bubbles, and then she has a 5-inch bubble. Now I can't remember how it was ruled, because they try to discuss whether they affect themselves without needing another one within 5.
Either
I
way,
can't remember how it was ruled.
either way, from the middle point, it's 13 inches on each side.
As long as you,
That's a
to be
lot
fair,
of
as long as you
coverage.
clip each other with a 5.
That's a total, like, in a line, that's a 26-inch line.
That really affects really
Of-
horrific high
Of
hit.
+2
high
defense, -2 defense.
It is really good.
That's it's really good.
Push them. You can push the other Haleys into the enemy line, and then also it's -2 defense everywhere. It's pretty good. And
Trolls
then
become
Incorporated
defense
from-
10.
This
Looking
one's become
high
13.
defense stuff, yeah. Like Nis come low. Even Kai's Assassins lose though their amazingness.
I was just thinking, say if you've got something with set defense as well, and someone charges you. Yeah, that's +4 defense.
One of the cool things you can do against
Wow.
Kaiser Assassins, for example, is use Repudiate to get rid of Iron Flesh, and then put one of the Haleys within 5 of all of them. Now they're effectively defense 12.
Okay, so she's filth.
Let's get onto her underlings.
Underwear?
What?
So we've got Kid,
BB Hayes.
BB Hayes, and then we've got Superman Haley. I like to call her Superman because she
Can-
looks
can I
like.
Convergence, hey.
Can I put out one of my favourite things that Haley passed? She has reach with her mind. Telekinetic Strike has reach.
That's pretty cool.
She's like, I'm going to slap you with my brain.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah!
He's back.
I managed to win a game.
Sonny. Back to Signal.
Yes. Moving back in with the hilariousness of editing.
Killing people with her mind.
I love the fact that you can kill people with your mind. That's pretty fun.
Have we seen a model for this actually? Because
Yeah.
I do like the.
They're cool. They all look exactly like their art. It looks amazing.
Wow.
And that one's she's more in a running pose, and she looks awesome.
Because looking at the detail on the artwork and the detail on like
Future Haley.
Haley,
Future.
Wow.
wow,
That's what the goggles
awesome,
give it.
awesome to paint.
Cool.
Like,
So-
awesome to paint.
So what's the battle plan with her then?
So, one big thing straight off that they both have in Corporal. Amazing. So you don't have to worry. So when you do that temporal flux to give everyone -5, you don't have to worry about moving it through her
Okay, that's cool.
because she's in Corporal. You can just go straight on through.
That's
So it doesn't matter.
crazy.
She has raw talent, which is awesome. This model gains an additional die on its damage rolls. So that's for its chain blast, its force hammer, and its telekinetic strike.
I think we're full of raw talent.
That's a boosted power 12. That's gnarly.
That's an additional die to power 12.
Oh wow.
So you can
It's
boost
an
it.
additional die, so you haven't even got.
So it's really good.
So then you can boost it after.
They both,
Yeah.
Nice.
They both have time projection, which is basically essentially the same rule the Journeyman Warcaster has. So they have a control. They're not Warcasters, but they have a control area. They gain focus points. They have focus minimization. They have a power field.
Yeah.
But in addition, it also allows them to allocate focus to Warjacks that are inside Haley Prime's control area in a battle group, and they get to use her Arcanodes to cast spells.
The bed. No wonder everyone doesn't like this woman. We're just kind of just sitting here. I'm just like having because I never really knew much about this, and now I'm kind of just like, wow, she is legit.
This was like in. This was like in the storyline when she gets stabbed by that like
Yeah,
spoilers. She gets stabbed by that Crix assassin and he goes ha 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 no more magic for you and then disappears in a puff of smoke like magician styling.
I think he gets killed
And
by
then
Thorn, doesn't
and
he?
then, and then she
something
gets
like that.
all like depressed about it. Watches a few episodes of Doctor Who and thinks I can do that.
No, I think she just watched Charmed, and that's how she's got 3 incarnations.
I can do that just without the cheese.
Anyway, this is mental. I'm just
Here's a good
mind
one.
blown.
Chain Blast. So it's cost 3. She is focus 4. That should be mentioned with 5 damage.
Yep.
So Chain Blast is cost 3, range 10, AoE 3, power 12, which is a big one. So it's basically a power 12 weapon master attack. And then after you've done all the impacts for everything, so that's weapon master power 6 plus damage for everyone.
So she,
Then-
oh yeah, because
you
of
then
the
do
additional die.
an
Yeah.
additional another AoE which is power 6 plus damage, which again gets the additional damage dice.
That's pretty darn good.
So she kills things good.
She kills
then-
things good.
She has Force Hammer. which is a
Yeah, go for it.
cost 4, range 10, power 12 that slams you and does a power 12 damage roll, which is additional dice.
Okay.
So what you can do is on her feet turn, you are focus 6, so you boost hit with a force hammer and you can boost damage. It's a power 12 weapon master that slams you. Really good.
That's pretty darn good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Baby Haze.
Shit, Baby Haley is bringing some badass heat. She's pretty darn good. So, Future Haley.
So,
Yes. Catsuit Haley.
Catsuit Haley. This is like convergence armor on her, right?
Just double checking. Yeah,
A little bit. Pretty much, yeah.
Future helm.
Future.
So they have the same stat line, which I guess we should run through. It's kind of similar to normal Hades anyway. They're both speed 6, both strength 5, although it doesn't really come into it that much. Both mat 6, rat 5, which is really good.
Not at all, man.
Rat 5, but if,
No, it's fine. That's alright, Spin.
both defense 16, armor 14. Although it should be said they're basically both defense 18.
Yeah.
When you're not going to cast Temple Flux.
Yeah, that's true.
You can stick, because it's not an upkeep, you can then stick Arcane Shield on from a journey.
So that armor, defense,
18, armor 17.
defense. No way, that's mental. If you hit her, they go down.
I
But
don't-
the joys of hitting her.
I don't think defense 18 is.
No, I'm just like, I just had a company of like,
But if the juniors keep their if the echoes keep their focus on them, they're armor 21.
this is. I can understand why people don't like her now. This is mental.
Dude, I've already turned the page onto Dynamo.
This is crazy.
Whilst Future Head is in the unit, they gain True Sight, which we talked about, so you ignore concealment, camouflage, and stealth. Poor man's eye of sight,
Okay.
what you can do.
Poor man's out of sight, yeah, but it's still, you got a load of bloody awesome abilities for it. Bloody hell.
She has time projection, same thing in your one head. And she has a gun. She has a range 10, rate of 5-3, power 13 gun.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she has guns. I can't see any gun on her. I guess it's from...
It's her mind.
It's her mind. Okay. Mind bullets.
Randomly, which no one said before, but it turns out obviously, is that she has Ghost Walk. Which is pretty good, if you ask me. Be able to advance through terrain and obstacles.
Ghost Walk on death ponies makes them all the
Ghost Walk on Lancers.
all the more better.
Because then they're immune to free strikes, right? So they just go charging in as cavalry. Don't give a damn. And she has Revive.
no.
So if you do kill one or a few, she just brings them back.
Hashtag Signa.
You better kill that unit. Or
Hashtag bitter. Hashtag bitter.
It's pretty good.
This is bonkers.
Yep.
So, overall then, because we can talk about her tier. We'll touch on her tier before we move on.
Touch her on the tit, sure. What? Tit?
We'll touch on her tier quickly because we'll touch on your breasts and they'll be fine.
She's
Okay.
in love with a Trencher, right? Apparently.
Yeah, I believe so. Trench is getting more love, literally and figuratively.
There's a story.
Apparently so.
Apparently there is. So basically the requirements of this, you can see on the screen now because it will probably be on there as a graphic. Tier 1 requirements, the army includes one models listed above. The benefit is you begin the game with Haley past and or future in play. For each model in this unit in play, at the start of this game you can redeploy one model/unit after both players have deployed, but before the first player's first turn. So basically redeploying shit.
Up to 3 times.
Up to 3 times.
units.
So basically very similar to what trolls have, basically with their lights, but not after... But with your light jacks, right? Was it the no, not Calandra. Yeah, it is. Woman with what's it called? The evolution list.
Calandra.
Yeah, Calandra
Yeah,
is
that gives them more
advanced deployment, but you can redeploy them against some other stuff, can't you? In a different tier thing, right? No. Oh, I'm just
The
getting it all
last
started.
thing on that tier, totally different thing, is take a Mountain King.
Okay. I forgot. No, because advanced deployment you do it after.
Not
deployment.
gonna
So
take
never
a
mind,
Mountain
yeah,
King.
I'm getting confused.
Ever.
Pretty good.
What about Mountain Queen? We'll see about
Mountain Queen, bring it. Bring the Queen.
No, I'm so glad they didn't make a Mountain Queen.
Ain't it?
Well,
Glacier King's fine.
considering they like to
Same.
make things anatomically correct, that'll be interesting.
Boobies. It's all about that.
It's just gonna be a giant troll
Mountain King.
in a wig in a glittery dress, right, singing Gloria
Tutu.
Gaynor songs.
Also,
No.
Hey, you know the new ones like that.
How do we get the trolls from Signa? It's always fun, but keep going.
The new ones like that. The Queen would be.
Poorly put on makeup.
Poorly put on makeup.
Paint it pink.
So first tier seems pretty darn good. Having the ability of all the Haleys out at the beginning is pretty good, and redeploying your troops to get the good matchup sounds pretty darn awesome. Tier 2, the army includes 3 or more trencher units. I might just say this might be the caster for me due to the fact that I just want to keep running trenches more than anything.
Only one trencher unit. Not
No, 3. Trust me, bro.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, 3 trench units can include chain guns and the cannons.
Exactly. So think about this, and then it goes. They
Also
reduce their
resistant
points cost by 1.
So you have 1 trench infantry unit, you can have commandos.
Commandos
you
are
can
legit.
have the guns and the cannons. So
There you
also
go.
you're putting down the 3-inch AoEs that you
true.
can't go
This is
through
what
with
I wanna do.
Stormwall
It's
doing it
madness.
as well.
sure.
If I win a tournament with Haley 3, and I have a K-Door podcast, this would be bad times, wouldn't it?
Talking
This would
about,
be really fucking bad.
talking about commandos,
Talking about commandos, the tier 3, the army includes 1 or more trencher commando units. Units in the army gain prowl during the first round of the game. What the fudge?
too bad you left Fog of War. Yeah, 'cause,
So this is where you.
She's no Sorsha, mate.
Oh,
She's
wow.
better than
this,
Sorsha.
This is awesome. Do you know you were saying the thing about the clouds earlier? Pop, 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 pop.
oh yeah.
Everything into the clouds, or just towing the clouds. Everything's got stealth, so you're not fucking seeing them anyway.
You could do it to a Stormwall. We won't get anything for it. But
No,
it's funny.
but
I'm in the cloud
Oh
too.
okay, so the tier benefit 4 is the one that makes me kind of cringe now. It's like Haley's battle group include 2 or more warjacks with an arc node attachment or advantage, basically.
Apart from Thorn, I wonder what other Jack has arc node.
Here I am.
I wonder.
Yeah,
Rock you like a hurricane.
exactly. We'll get to that guy in a bit. But during the first turn of the game, models in Haley's battle group gain +2 speed.
Pretty
+2 speed, not movement, speed.
It's pretty good.
Like Signar needed any more speed buffs on their light jacks or any other kind of shenanigans. What the fudge? So overall, she is pretty bloody bonkers, and we'll probably see her in tournaments. I don't know if you'd see. Would you go? Because obviously she's a 3rd incarnation. You've got 1, 2, 3. Do you think you'll see her a lot with 2?
I still
With 2
think-
less benefit, obviously.
I-
we're talking about that.
I think you might see Haley 2-3. So you
Yeah.
get both.
So Haley 2 and Haley 3.
Definitely.
And people do use both Haleys, both current Haleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think 3 might replace 1 or 2 in that kind of matchup? Do you think?
You might see like either Haley 1 and 2 and then 3. I don't know if you'll see like
This,
Haley.
this the thing is, there's a chance to take more Haley. People will take it.
Yeah, that's true.
She plays a quite a different game as well because she can play attrition, she can play assassination.
Go for it.
Rules question.
These guys can carry on.
Yeah, we'll go for it. It's all good.
Okay.
Right.
Next
Dynamo.
letter of address.
Dynamo, we already have this character out.
He's
He's
been
been,
out
he's
for a
been, he's been, he's been mini spoiled already, but the stats are on the screen right now, as we say.
He's in the quarter, wasn't he?
He was in no quarter. He was spoiled on no quarter, and basically speed 5, strength 11, mat 7, rat 6, defense 12, armor 18. He's already been semi-spoiled, but hey, Dynamo's a thing. He's really bloody good.
You see, I actually think they got the mat and the rat the wrong way round on this thing.
You would
He's
rather,
really good in combat.
because yeah,
He's really good, especially if you take him with Striker 3.
yeah,
He's pretty ridiculous. So Striker 3. So I'll go over his guns quickly. So he's range 10, power 12 with power 16 reach spear.
Yeah.
Test at defense, which is pretty funny.
Okay.
Defense 14 against range.
right.
So he has a special rule called chain reaction. So each time this model hits an enemy model with a melee or ranged attack activation, it gives a cumulative +1 to each of its subsequent damage rolls against that model activation. So with Striker 3, you give him Fury. It's now his PS 19. It's Assault for being in the battle group of Striker 3. So he charges something. So he gets his Assault shot at Rat 6 at power 12. Which, as soon as you hit, you get the +1. So it's effectively a power 13.
Right, okay.
Then he hits it with a power strength 21 attack from the charge. Because it's 16 base, +3 from Fury, 19.
Yep.
The assault shot makes it 20, and then it hits itself makes it 21. And then you buy 2 additional attacks. If it's a feat turn, it's a weapon master auto hitting power strength 21.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
He hurts things good.
Okay, so we can say this because you got semi-sport, so like we're going to do with Ruin, we don't need to cover Ruin that much in the K-Door part when we finally get to that, because it got semi-ruined. Dynamo, I think, is...
Do you know,
I want to say possibly one of Signal's best character jacks.
Do you know the model? Like, just ignoring the rules, the model. I know there's this whole kind of like Signar of the sports car of Warjack kind of thing, you know. But my seriously.
It's been out like half a year.
But no, seriously, the model is
good.
like possibly one of my favourite
Can't you
ones.
choose to have his gun open or closed as well?
I'm not too sure. Haven't
Some
you got a
guys
dynamo?
probably-
I thought you had a dynamo.
No, not yet.
Some guys probably
list.
got some sort of mechanism to
Storm,
close them.
that's what I bought recently.
He's good. If you haven't got Dynamo already, I recommend that you get it.
I have got £42 store credit. I could buy a dynamo just to paint it.
Now, we're on to the final two. Oh no, there's still three more to go, sorry. The two that I think are the best things in this book for Signar. I think. Even though Haley 3 is amazing. I think
Haley 3.
after Haley 3, yeah, but
And, 16
I'm
pages of the
partial
book.
I'm partial to Warjacks because it's always infantry machine and all that jazz. This guy is amazing. We're talking about Ace here.
I think
Ace
the model's
is
gonna look pimp.
character Jack for Kane. He is bonkers. Joe, as you probably could see on the camera there, was calling me a or calling him a Ace is a Everyone agrees. Ace is Ace.
lovely. Leave him
Ace
alone.
is literally Ace. No pun intended there.
Ace is awesome.
So he has, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
All of us are just kind of like he's jumping on that bandwagon quick.
Hey, jump on the middle.
Hey, Haley 3 came out, you know.
Before you
Haley's
start,
my
Yes.
favourite. Well, Haley is my favourite.
it's a light jack
It's a light jack,
and
Yeah.
it's 7
Haley 2 and
points.
Haley 3.
and it's 7 points. Yeah,
If
that's
it's
the one
not
thing.
filthy,
Oh, wait.
be surprised.
It's
Okay,
still-
so it's light
with
light
Kane,
jack.
it's-
Yeah, it's with Kane. It's great. I don't know without Kane. It might not be that
I
great.
don't think you see him without Kane,
Yeah.
funny enough.
All right. So
But it's
he's
fluffy, it's his jack.
It is.
So why not?
so speed 7, strength 7, mat 6, rat 7, defense 11, armor 15. His rune shot cannon is range 14, rate of fire 1, power 12, and his battle axe is power 4, power strength 11. He's basically a character allowance, so that's only one of them. Sorry. Point cost, like Steph said, is 7 points. Now, the text that he has on this just makes me lick my lips when you think about if you're going to start a Signar army with Kane. Both Kanes, actually. Kane's 1 and 2. He's got advanced deployment, he's got Pathfinder, and he's got an affinity with Kane. So when Ace makes a normal rune shot cannon attack while in range control area, choose one of the following rune shot abilities. And these are Shadowfire. The model hit does not block line of sight for this turn.
That's what you have.
Yeah, lovely Colossal that I could see through. It's pretty good.
Nice support behind that Judicator.
Exactly. So all those guys hiding behind things, that just makes it great. Thunderbolt. Enemy models hit are pushed D3 away from the attacking model. On a critical hit, the model is knocked down after being pushed. That's pretty darn good. And then Trick Shot, which I think is pretty bonkers. If this attack directly hits, choose a model within 4 inches of this model. The chosen model suffers an unboostable power 10 magic damage roll. The point of the origin from this damage is the model hit. It's pretty darn good.
Firstly, a free
Magic bullet. Yeah, 3 magic bullet basically. He's got infiltrate.
Do you know?
So good.
Do you know? Just looking at these rules, infiltrate. During its activation, this model can use infiltrate. This model gains stealth while it's controlling warcasters base to base with this model. Okay, so base to base is fine, you know, special
cast
issue.
against stealth as well.
Yeah.
This is a Legion model in a Signar list.
It's funny if you say that, because it does have true sight. So it does ignore stealth.
This
And
is a
concealment.
Legion model in
And he's a
Signar
magic
list.
weapon on his gun. And
Oh, yeah.
And not just that, have you noticed everything in this book, spoiler alert, sorry, that like, everything now in a Signar army that shoots does some kind of pushing.
we have to do some sort of stuff to counteract Legion.
Nice zone you're in. Boo! God.
Don't need to kill your urgency, want you out. That's
Yep,
best.
yep, get out my zone.
Now, I have to agree with what Steph said at the beginning. He is a light for 7 points. And what we're saying here, it seems you would only take him with Kane just because of those benefits. 7 points on a light on his own without Kane seems kind of pointless. No pun intended.
So good.
He is good, but only
only
with
with
Kane,
Kane.
I
I
would
would say
say.
it's pointless. He has plenty of rules to justify the points.
Yeah. But most of them are good
makes
with
them
Kane, isn't it? Kane,
But yeah, Kane makes it.
He's
A
on a
bit
hunter
bonkers.
chassis and he hasn't got he hasn't got armor piercing, which is kind
No,
of
because he's got those. He's got basically, effectively, magic budget. Bullet. Sorry,
You put him with E.
Magic
Kane,
budget.
and it's ridiculous.
magic budget.
Yeah.
That should be a spell.
He can afford many magic things.
I'm on a magic budget right now. Just do a E Lilith kind of spend all my spells at once. That's magic budget. Right. That was a good one. I like that. Boom. That's now going to be a thing. Right. Anyway, the next thing that I love, which, right, Now, if you look at the guy's stats for this is what the Ogren Assault Corp should have been. Because if the Ogren Assault Corp had these stats, they would see a lot of table time guaranteed. So, we're talking about the Trench Buster, which basically is a Signar Ogren, trench solo.
The poor trencher standing underneath him. It looks like the Ogren's just let one rip on his face or something. You know, it's like just stood over him.
I think he's been shot. And now he's getting shot.
And now he's getting his shot on.
That's a poor trencher right there, man.
Alright, so basic stats: strength 6, speed 6, strength 9, mat 7, rat 5, defense 13, armor 17, command 9. He's got a bomber, which is a cinder bomber, which is basically range 10, AoE 3, power 14, and he's got a bayonet and assault shield. The bayonet is power strength 13, and the assault shield is 11. He's got advanced deploy, he's got tough, he has assault, he has flank, trencher, he's girded. Oh, that has been errated.
Well, I mentioned now, 'cause it's trencher. It's another trencher.
Okay.
Originally, he gave flank to himself because he was a trencher in his own melee range.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
silly.
There's a face palm.
Girded though on this guy is very good.
Good is
So
really
you
fun.
don't kill the trencher who you're trying to flank when you throw your cinder bomb.
Yeah. Well, it's
Thinking of that, that's true. I really liked that guy. He was nice.
I'd say, do you know this whole thing about Signar pushing things out of zones? This is the guy who walks into the zone and goes, "I ain't moving. I ain't going nowhere."
But the funny thing about it is the Cinder Bomb's damage type is fire, not continuous fire, it's just fire.
Yeah.
And then it's got arcing fire, and he has also got smoke as well, which is pretty
What's
interesting.
arcing fire, Jack?
You should know.
Right, field allowance of these bad boys is 2, points cost is 3, damage box 8. My initial thoughts, he's gold with trenches, he's great. He's awesome, and like I said before, the Ogren Salt Corps wish they had those kind of stats. If they had those stats, money.
One they like Mat 5, Rat 5.
He has got tough, that's
One
true.
they like Mat 5, Rat 5, inaccurate.
Yeah, exactly.
rubbish.
If they had this,
Ogren that weren't wearing coats or helmets or shoulder
Someone
pads.
pointed out, I'm sorry if I can't credit you, I can't remember your name. The Sigma Trencher Corps and their fluff is meant to have a lot of Ogren and trolls.
okay,
So it's nice actually see.
Where do you think Gumbyon came from?
that's true.
You might see some troll trencher units in the future.
But it's interesting to say as well, because he's a trencher unit, can't he be taken in some sort of Merc list? Because Merc's gonna, that one, Merc,
Siege maybe.
yeah, because now he's a trencher, he could probably be taken with that
I
list.
think this is one of those, like, same with the guy who's like this. What's his name? The guy with the pistol. Something solo, I forget his name. But he can.
Gun Mage Captain Oda.
That's the one. He can work in a Ashland Delise list or that kind of group.
You can take the
yeah.
Pistoliers as well.
Highborn Covenant? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Cool. Alright, so we've got one more thing to do, and then we've wrapped up Signar in a nice pretty bow. And yes, it is the most intense. I think this guy's bonkers.
We don't need to cover this guy. We'll see you later.
We're going to cover him, unfortunately, and I don't know if it's for Sonny. If you didn't know already, we're talking about Hurricane. Yeah, everyone knows, because that song, we're always going to come back to singing that song. So now,
I've had this song in my head for
fortunately, we have to cover it, and yes, he is filth. So basically, speed 5, strength 17, mat 6, rat 6, defense 10, armor 19. He's basically 18 points, field allowance 2. He's got a storm emitter, which is range 12, power 16. He's got 2 of those. And he's also got normal cannons, which are range 14, AoE 4, power 13s, and 2 fists that are power strength 20. This guy is awesome. He's an arc node, he's immune to electricity, he has turbulence, which is models advancing within 10 of this model lose flight for 1 round. So that's pretty darn good against Legion.
Absolutely.
So
Denny
good.
3.
Yeah,
Screwed if
Denny
Hurricane's
3,
set up.
unfortunately, you're done. Storm emitter, basically, it's electrical damage again. That works really well with Striker 3. And Nemo 3. Shock Fists is just an open fist, but he has Cortex damage. When this Warjack is hit by this weapon, it suffers 1 damage point to its first available Cortex system box. So I'm assuming you punch it in the face, you do 12 whatever points to this location damage, and you do 1
Because it
extra.
triggers on hit. As soon as he hits you, take the damage.
Oh, you
and
take the
then he rolls
damage,
the roll.
and then you do... Wow. Okay, so Hurricane.
It's very little times that's actually going to happen.
This guy's
matters.
How many hours do you think Nemo just sat there going, "Oh, how can I be more of a douche?"
What he thought was, if he gives Arc Node that is also can push people around with its Stormwind from its Storm emitter. And then you take Haley 2. So Haley 2, telekinesis to turn them around, and then you hit them D6 away. So now, they're facing the wrong way and are, however far away you shot them from, plus D6.
Yeah. What casters
2.
have like Obliterate in Sigma? Does anybody have Obliterate or anything like that? Because it would have been funny to like push back and then bang. You know, it's like
This guy is gonna see the board. I think. I don't know. This is the greatest. The greatest debate about this is you have a Storm Wall, which is amazing, but then you have the Hurricane, which seems pretty amazing. But I guess they have two very different roles.
In my opinion,
I would say the Hurricane and the Storm Wall are very similar to the Conquest and Victor. They both have different roles, and they do those roles really well.
even though like it's the same chassis as the Stormwall, I'm actually quite interested to quite interested to see what this model will look like.
also interested whether they're going to make him on sprues. Because they've been doing that recently.
Yeah.
Meat freshers.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they do the whole Colossals.
To be
if they'll be
fair,
hard plastic.
but when you looked at some of the pictures from was it Lock and Load Germany, and they were was it Germany or America?
Lock and Load America.
America,
when
but
they-
Germany was at the
when
same
they,
time.
when they were getting some of the stuff out and they were painting it like the Glacier King and things like that. They actually did look a little darker than what you would find with resin. Like some of the resin kits they've already done.
But that's their battle plan, wasn't it? They are moving in that way. Like we have the Cock Tower, which is hard plastic, and that's the best way of calling it. And that thing's filth as
Hard
it is.
plastic cocktail. I think you can get those in Amazon.
2 for 1.
Overall, Signar in Reckoning. What do you guys think? I'm scared of Haley 3 now that I understand what the heck she can do.
Yeah.
Not as scared as Haley 3 as I am of Haley 2.
Okay.
Because,
Yeah, fair.
but I don't know. I haven't.
I'm-
like, you know,
Haley
it's,
3's
I
really
wouldn't like to come up against Haley 2 or 3. List chicken.
In a list
Oh,
pairing
yeah,
would be
that's
pretty
true.
interesting.
true.
She can start, because Haley
very
3
true.
can attrition well with trolls.
It's the thing. It's either
She
the
just bring them
like
back and then fills it in.
this thing that's kind of the same with Sloane and Brisbane. You're like, well, I'm gonna get shot on my arm. It's gonna be halved, or I'm gonna be shot and I'm probably gonna die because
It's
it's
going to hurt or it's going to hurt.
yeah.
Which one do I want?
Yeah,
That's
so-
true. So the funniest thing which makes me look at this as well is that if you take Haley 3 in tier, the first basic thing I'm looking is you can start the game with all of them on the board, and then basically that'll be a horrific matchup for a lot of things like.
Well, it'd be
really would
activate, then do it. When
Yeah, it would be.
Tier, the beginning play.
The beginning play.
Oh, does it?
That,
Oh,
the
wow.
first tier
Redeploy
benefit.
thing.
So that's what I'm saying. It's pretty scary.
So I had douchebag in my ear when that was going on.
That's fine. But no, I think Signar got a lot of good releases. I think Ace is Ace, literally no pun intended.
Definitely a play intended.
I think all of them. I think there's not a bad release.
To be fair, like everything in the book, like we'll cover everything else later, but it's like everything in the book is totally what I expected and a little bit more.
Yeah.
Every faction's getting something that is very beneficial to existing things. You know, it's not just look at this new stuff, and
I think it's good.
it's great.
I think the
It's good
Colossals
stuff.
are all decent enough.
The Colossals are a nice addition as well because they got their own book last time.
God, you wait till you get to that retribution one. Oh, so
I
annoying.
don't see practically any of the Gargantuans
True.
because they just don't do enough work. Not for a 50-point game.
Mm-hmm.
75 maybe, but
Right. Okay, so
75
that
with
was-
support, sure.
it's pretty intense. So that was Signar in Reckoning, and we'll come back. Up next is probably the next faction. So guys, thanks for talking a little bit about Filthy Swans or Blue Swans or whatever the faction you love. It's unfortunately going to be an interesting time for all of us who go against you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed it. What's up, guys? Welcome to Bleeped Up Productions, and we're finally in the faction of Menoth. Joining me, we have Spin, we have Steph, and we have Mike. And basically, no, you're. I always get these two mixed up. This is the worst thing.
Because they look
so we
so
have
alike.
Spin and Mike play Menoth. So we have people who play the faction. So we can't complain too much like last time when we went on random torrents of like, oh yeah, you don't give the faction enough justice. These two will give it enough justice. So
I don't know if I will.
I don't know if I will.
I don't know. But they can say like he's good. I think he works in our faction.
He's actually played in a Masters tournament.
I have, yes. Yes, I have.
Multiples, I think.
That's good.
Do you remember? You were there.
Twice. The Blood Noel and the Welsh.
Go games. Okay, so we're going to get straight into the first one. Who this guy makes me want to play Manoth. I'm not going to lie. We're talking
I think he's
about
making a lot of people want to play Manoth, actually.
Because you smell what he is cooking.
Yeah, the Menoth enemies, basically.
yeah. Anson, is it Anson or Anson or how you pronounce it?
No
Anson
matter which way you
Durst.
pronounce it, it's always
So
gonna
it's
be
like
the wrong
Fred
way.
Durst almost.
Dwayne.
It's gonna
Yeah.
do Dwayne Durst.
Fred Durst.
Mixing
The Rock.
mixing Limp Bizkit with The Rock. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're talking about the Rock of Faith. This guy looks amazing. The
Yeah.
artwork, first off, is phenomenal. He looks amazing. He looks wow.
Looks like he's going to do the people's elbow.
He's a caster with a gigantic shield. Where can you... Beyond that, he could have been like a Temple Flame Guard behind there for all I cared. He's a gigantic caster with a shield.
Just walks around with a huge shield, just plants it in the ground and just goes for it.
Shield, he's just got a steel chair.
Have you seen the artwork, though? The paintwork? He's got, like, script written on the inside of his shield.
Oh wow.
It's like he's cheating at an exam.
Oh, okay.
I think someone else said that to me, so I'm not claiming that one, but that was
heretics
yeah, pretty much.
face.
We need to cover one thing. That
I am
he's-
a fish
he's
500 times.
Almost butcher.
He's almost butcher.
Yeah, he's basically the nearest thing that I think Menoth are ever going to get to a butcher caster.
He's
Yeah.
one power off.
Yeah, he is. He's not as butcher.
I think if everyone expected, if we were to get this, if we were just seen the model in the artwork, we were expecting maybe speed 4,
And
5
defensive
least.
stuff.
Yeah, defensive stuff.
Okay.
I mean, the reading his stuff, it was definitely going to be defensive. Everyone knew that, but I don't think anyone expected him to be a weapon master for a start.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, no one expected him to be a
I
weapon
mean, the
master.
paladins.
The Paladin kind of made it feel like you might have it.
But on a caster, especially in Menoth, it's fairly rare. That is.
Yeah,
Even
that's true.
Even Krios, who's the head of the exemplars or weapon masters, he's not a weapon master. So
Yeah.
that's why it was like, well, because he's a caster.
Okay.
Maybe not.
But yeah, PNS 15, weapon master, reach.
Speed 5, mat 8.
Yeah.
With some spells that make him
With
faster.
some spells. So,
And some other abilities that we
There's
don't
some other
care
abilities,
about.
yeah, that's true. So the first things first, let's go over his stat line. Speed 5, Strength 8, Mat 8, like you guys say, Rat 4, Defense 13, Armor 18, Command 10. His sword, or what should we say? It's a mace, isn't
It's
it?
a
Flaming-
spear. I think
It's
like
a flaming
lance.
lance.
It's a lance.
Okay, so a
of
flaming
some
lance.
sort.
Power 7, Power and Strength 15. So yeah, Weapon Master, just one behind the Butcher. So no Lola, but it's pretty
No,
bloody
but,
close.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He's got 19 damage boxes and Warjack points 6 and focus 6.
6 Warjack points
6
as well.
Warjack points is
Yeah,
pretty big.
that's yeah. I think
That was
that's still
that's like
Menoth even had a unit cast yet.
no. We've not
Interesting.
had a unit caster yet. There's only one we've not had, I think, yet.
Because I know everybody's catching up with that. I mean, Cador got 2 now.
Yeah, because we're legit.
True. Yeah.
I'd
Where?
rather have this guy than a unit right now, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think whereas everyone's kind of getting epics and more epics and epics, for us to get a new caster was what we wanted. We didn't want another epic of something we've already got. I think we wanted something new,
Last
something
time
fresh,
we got
something
that,
a bit
we got
different.
Resnick,
To
and
be
we don't
fair,
want
the Paladin.
Last time you got
I mean, I'm
chariots
a
of
huge
fire.
Resnick fan, and even I don't want to play Resnick 2 very much. Other than really weird skews.
You're also another thing that you should really cover is the fact that if this guy goes into Dominator Zone, especially on feet turn, you are not getting him out.
No, you're not at all.
The people are claiming the whole he's nigh on unkillable on his feet turn.
Rampart Guardian.
I don't know,
stance.
we could take a run for
Nigh
his
on
money.
incredible.
Okay, so
A
let's
model,
think. So
a
let's
model
think.
with Cornerstone cannot be knocked down, placed, pushed, made stationary, and friendly models in base to base can also not be knocked down, pushed, placed, or made stationary.
That's basically his paladin stance.
Okay, so that's his paladin stats, but his feet makes him kind of unkillable, is what you're saying as well. So, Mike,
So
what's his
basically-
feet?
All of his warjacks in his battle group gain +5 armor, and then when one of the warrior models in friendly faction is base to base with him and is directly hit by an attack, you can shunt the attack to the warjack instead.
Well, the warjack is hit instead, so it's things that are triggered off hits hit on the warjack rather than the model.
But it's like it's like shield guard. So if you shoot
Yeah.
an AOE at the warrior, the AOE won't move, but the
Yeah, but their damage will go on them. Yeah. Okay.
But, for example, if you take a Reckoner, then the Reckoner's armor 19 base, so it now becomes an armor 24.
Which is just bonkers.
If you take
That
a
is
Templar,
actually thinking about
if
that,
you take
yeah.
a Templar, it's armor 26.
Speaking of the Reckoner, I mean, just skipping ahead a bit, so that's an armor 24 warjack.
That is, yes.
Against hordes or most infantry, you combine that with Wall of Steel, and that's effectively an effective defense 14 armor 24
Yeah.
heavy warjack.
It's pretty good.
That's not bad at all, really. And if he's standing next to 2 of them, because they're going to be base to base, they can't be knocked down, moved around, or anything like that as well.
That's true.
So yeah.
There are ways around to killing him, I think. In Kador we can kill him, but it's
Curious?
going to be hard.
How?
Yeah, how?
You're just
How?
curious, 'cause
How would you kill him?
I'm sure he's not. I'm not saying he is.
Hit
It's
him
not.
with lots of high-powered
impending doom. If you're
Can't
close
move
enough,
him.
you can't move him.
No, because of the.
can't
Oh, so you would have to literally energize and you'd have to charge him with Butcher, smash, smash,
Which
smash,
if he's
pop
got
feet.
if he's got a if
Yeah,
he's got
yeah,
a
so it
guard-
is
if he's
kind of
got a
interesting
devout,
now.
He can't be caster at me either.
Yeah, that's true. So you would just energize yourself, or you just charge and smash, smash, smash. In a bit, Dave.
But you got to get past the Warjacks to do that because he's going to be sat behind.
Yeah,
two
sat
of these
behind that, so that is
armor 24
true.
Warjacks.
That is true. He actually, yeah, it's going to be interesting trying to kill him. though.
Wait, actually, yes, he is quite hard
He
to
is.
kill.
You can kill him, but it's
there is
going
a
to take. There is probably like some blueprint somewhere. Where it's just
We're
like,
not saying it's impossible. We're just
But he
saying
seems gonna be
for
hard,
us,
yeah.
There is a
it's-
problem with like if you're playing someone like Scar 1, advance up. Scar sort of runs at you, you count defeat, so she just sort of stands there for a turn, then you kill a bit of their stuff, then she feeds for +5 strength and then kills you. It's kind of a turn stall kind of thing.
okay. I really like him. I'm not going to lie. I like.
Other things that you need to mention, this guy has a spell that gives Pathfinder to Warjacks in Menoth.
That's true. We'll
In
get
fact,
we'll get
well,
into that
just-
actually.
I mean,
Event
what are
in
you
a second.
about? Do you guys quote other podcasts at all?
No, at all. Go for it.
Right, Dan Cunningham and Adam Bell are currently doing the Creator's Wrath,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
they're on
yeah.
like the 5th episode, and I've been listening to them. And just before this book dropped, they did like a if you could have any spell in your faction that you don't have access to now, what would it be?
Yeah.
And I think Bell went for Snipe. Dan Cunningham went Boundless Charge. He
Yeah,
said,
that
if we
makes
got
sense.
Boundless Charge, it'd be downright broken.
Yeah,
And we got
Boundless
it.
Charms.
Having
And
Pathfinder
deflection.
at all, just having Pathfinders for Jackson.
It is true. It is fun when you call things out and you get them right. Like Martha on our podcast said, "Oh, it would be great if Ruin had Orgoth seal." He's got Orgoth seal. Awesome. And we were just like, Martha, well done, mate. But moving on as well. Then, so we've got Durst. He's got Retaliate. Is that
Retaliatory Strike.
That's freaking mental.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Combined with Eruption of Ash, which
Yeah.
is his weapon.
Now on his weapon, Eruption of Ash. Explain it then, Sping. You can.
So
do it.
yeah, Retaliatory Strike. When this model is hit by a melee attack made by an enemy model during the opponent's turn, after the attack is resolved, this model can immediately make one normal melee attack against his model. This model will make one retaliatory attack per turn, so it's only once that it happens. But when you do, he has, as well as having magical weapon reach and weapon master, he's got Eruption of Ash, which is, as far as I'm aware, the only person that's got that is Thagrosh, isn't it?
Yeah,
at
it
the
is
moment?
Thagrosh. has-
So if a model is boxed one attack with this weapon, center 3-inch AoE cloud effect on the box model, then remove that model from play. So it's another remove from play effect we've now
Yep.
got in faction.
That's
So
kinda cool.
we've got limited access to that at the moment.
Okay. It's cool to see.
It remains in play for a round, and any other enemy models, so enemy models only,
Yep.
suffer a power 12 fire damage roll.
It's pretty darn good.
It's not bad, but it's a means that he could effectively screen himself. Now, a lot of people are talking about, well, for an extra point, you take in a couple of extra choir members
Kill them on
just to
the
hit them to become Eruption of Ash cloud effects.
That's
can't,
true.
Can't be shot.
Well,
Pretty
I'm
bad.
looking at this as well then. You go into a unit, you smash one guy, there's one cloud, and there's some other guys in there. They explode. Do they become Eruption
No,
of
they
Ashes?
just take
No,
Okay, so they
because-
just take the power.
yeah.
All right, okay. So if one is just outside of it, you could just, if you've got, he has reach, you could just smash him. So you're going to have to take, if you get the AoEs right, you'd have to take
You can
two,
charge to
wouldn't
them,
you?
so
You only get
Middle
it
of
to do
them
once per turn.
Oh, it's only
So
once
it's
per
only
turn.
one half-
Oh, okay.
But
all
it's a
right,
3-inch cloud effect that he's
If he
on
charges
reach.
in, though, he can do it as many times as he wants.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Okay,
Every
okay.
time he buys an attack.
The bed, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I like this guy a lot.
Yeah,
Makes me
so,
want to play Menoth just
I
this
mean, that's
time.
so far we've only really covered just his
Yeah.
actual base stats.
We
and base
are
abilities.
now on his spells, which...
Well,
yeah.
we've mentioned a couple here already. So, Boundless Charge, as we've said, is in Menoth. It's fantastic. We've had access to Pathfinder before, but it's been on Amon and Raza. And that's about the only way we've had access to Pathfinder on our Warjacks.
Okay.
You know, there's various arguments as to whether he's a good or bad caster. I think it's just depending on how you play. But Boundless Charge, +2 movement, Pathfinder, and is it free charge?
Yeah.
Free charge.
Charges without
yeah,
spending
that is
focus,
just,
basically.
it's just
Speed 7 Avatar with 6 attacks.
yeah.
Bloody mental.
Yeah,
it's
just,
so good.
It is that good.
It's good.
Then you've got Cleansing Fire, as they call it, as other people call it. It's just the basic standard nuke that most casters get.
Yeah.
If you ever cast that, there's something going desperately wrong, I think. Deflection. Now this is an interesting one. I don't think people expected this one. A lot of people were hoping for Deceleration.
There's
But
no way.
we will never get that. We're never going to get Deceleration. But Deflection is still pretty damn good. Because it's, while in the control area, which is going to be 12 inches, friendly faction warrior models gain +2 armor against range and magic attack damage rolls. So that's not bad. And it's not an upkeep, but it also means it can't be purified.
Yeah.
It's the sort of thing that, especially early turns, you'll probably cast Wall of Steel, which is a spell.
Yeah, we'll come to in a minute.
And
yeah.
then there's probably no reason that you can't cast Deflection.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
Why not?
to me, especially in a faction where we've got access to racks, hierophants, reclaimers, and all these sort of things.
I think you need all
These are
three
pretty much
listed
standard.
things.
Yeah, these are pretty much standard things, as with most casters. But with this guy, is once again the 6 focus casters that he's got. He wants to run jacks, but he also, because he's got his spell list, he also wants to be running some infantry as well. And you start into that bit of an odd balance where it's like, well, how many jacks do you run?
Yeah.
Do you only run a couple? Do you want to go maximise on the feet and
true.
wall of steel?
I still think you want some infantry with him because think about how annoying it is when you play against my zealots. And
Yeah,
they run
they're
at you
fucking
mini
annoying.
feet and
I
you can't
hate
kill 'em.
zealots, no.
Imagine if instead they ran up, he feated, you can't kill any of them.
And you
then
put
the next
deflection up,
turn,
yeah.
Well,
no, the next
under
turn they-
feet.
Oh, on defeat you won't be able to.
Under
Yeah,
feet
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
second,
yeah,
their
yeah.
And the
feet.
next turn,
They mini
they'll
feet.
mini feet. That's 2 turns of unkillable zealots.
But the
Now-
worst.
for
Yeah,
sight.
that's what we were gonna say.
Now, you say going back to deflection, imagine armor 18 bastions
Yep.
and armor 18 errants
Yep.
and armor 19 vengers. These
Yeah.
are heavy warjack stats.
The,
just
wor-
gone
the,
from
the
one
thing
spell.
the thing with this one spell which makes me kind of sad pandas is when you look who is also releasing this book, which we'll cover eventually when we get around to it, is Kador, when you have Zakova's spells, so it's plus 2 armor, and then her feet turn is everything makes magical attacks. Okay, that's a magical attack, plus 2 armor onto that. Balls. That's kind of annoying.
And
So
generally,
it's pretty good
there's
though.
not a lot of high power magical attacks apart from maybe some spells on casters.
Yeah,
Like
and
your generic,
also...
like things like your circle, those kind of
God,
magic.
yeah.
Hex hunters, things like that.
Yeah, they're not going to be doing, especially against the sort of stuff that we're going to be putting deflection onto.
It's true.
Okay, so that's an armor 18 errant. You managed to get that point of damage self-sack.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, there's
In
so
fact, if
many ways
anything,
around it,
a lot
isn't
of the
there?
lists I'm seeing are taking the bits that I normally expect to see in a Harbinger list.
Yeah,
You're seeing
yeah,
your
that's
book, you're
true.
seeing your Rupert in there. Because they work just as great with him.
Yeah.
So move on to
Okay.
the next one.
Yeah. You can come in a bit now, Mike, if you want. I feel like you're almost out of the video. Come on in. There we go.
Come on, let's get cozy.
get close and
Let's get
cozy.
cozy.
All right, what's it? Go for it.
So we're on Hallowed Avenger.
Yep.
So, when an enemy attack destroys or removes from play one or more friendly faction models within 5 inches of target warjack in this model's battle group, after the attack is resolved, the affected warjack can charge an enemy model. Then Hallowed Avenger
Flipping
expires.
heck, that's amazing.
We've had access to that before.
With
But who
Testament.
with?
Testament.
Oh, Testament.
That's why
okay.
you've never seen it.
Oh, that's what I was saying. I was like, no.
Yeah.
The issue I have with this is sort
I don't think you're going to see that come into play very often.
The issue I have with this is that if I've got all my jacks stood here, if it's feet turn, if I move my jack, my stuff's not base to base with it anymore.
So yeah,
Also,
yeah,
you're probably going to have infantry next to it that's going to be
that's
getting in the way of
maybe
that.
going to block in the way. Also, it's kind of like pursuit moves, like turn 2 or turn 3 pursuit moves.
Mm-hmm.
You move a model forward. Okay, I'll just charge it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is a
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
It's not a must. It is,
It is
you
a
can
can.
choose to do it.
You
so,
can.
but
Yeah.
I just for cost 2, 1 upkeep, he could be doing better things with his focus. I think. I mean, it's one of those once. Maybe in every 10 games, maybe
Probably
you might
put
put
it
it
out
on just for a
turn
bit
one.
of difference
Yeah.
and something different
Maybe
to do.
cast it turn 1 because you never know.
I mean, the only see the way I'd see that working really well is with Fire Salvation.
because he's just
Yeah, he'd be bonkers under that, and I think that's generally what you play with Testament as well.
Yeah, I can see that. That's pretty darn good. Okay, so the final one, which you guys are seem a bit happy about with this one. So go for it.
while in this model's control area and base to base with one or more models in this model's battle group, models in this battle group cannot be knocked down and gain +2 defense.
So that's Wall of Steel, right? So that's kind of awesome. Really is. I can see that that's going to be if you're thinking about doing spell draft, that's going to be high on your list maybe. If
Maybe.
you're doing a spell draft, it might be pretty good.
This is his signature spell. It's a new spell.
Yeah.
It's the little bit of fluff that was on with his model. This is what they were talking about, along with the feet. But yeah, I mean, once again, the Reckoner is shining.
Yeah.
Making him better.
Even men-off party people want a Jack that isn't going to be the Reckoner, but the Reckoner's always going to be amazing with all these things.
It's true.
I mean, with Ashen Veil on itself, and then +2 defense, they're in base to base. You can have him behind, potentially feeding. Angelus, come at us.
Please, yeah.
Or whatever. Okay, yeah, you might get your.
You might have passage up as well.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not even talked about the buffs from Choir there.
Yeah, Jesus. He just becomes amazing. Gosh.
Yeah,
So this guy's awesome, basically.
This guy is awesome. Let's go quickly over his tier before we move on to more of the things.
Oh, he's got a tier, hasn't he?
He has got a tier, but I don't. Yeah, that's it.
A
Whenever
lot
I
of people
say,
are quite excited about this. I'm not so keen because
well,
I'm not
well,
a
the
big
problem is
fan.
whenever I say, "Oh, we're going to look over the tier," most people are like, "Oh, you know, we're going to play most people in tiers," but it's all good.
No, this guy is kind of hit and miss. I think if you like your Temple Flame Guard, you're going to like this tier.
Cool.
If you
So
want to have a million paladins, then
You're going to like this tier. But you
Yeah.
could do that before with Harbinger as well.
yeah, and
Okay.
no one was doing it really.
all right, so on the screen now, you're probably seeing the graphic of his benefits of his tier. So tier 1 requires the army to have everything obviously listed above. The benefit for each unit in the army: increase the field allowance of Paladin of the Order of the Wall solos by 1. So are those rock hard
The
guys?
guys
They're
who
the
move
guy
up plus 5 armor.
Jesus.
Plus 5 armor.
That's a pretty
And then
awesome
Darton,
benefit.
Darton Vilmon gives them all Impervious Wall, which means they can't be damaged by anything other than magical
That's a
attacks.
pretty awesome tier benefit just for number 1.
But
I
it's
like
it's
it.
for every unit, so once again, it's like how many units are you going to put in
Yeah,
to get those
okay.
extra
Oh,
solos.
right, okay.
So, you mean, and the units you got access to aren't the general ones that you tend to go for.
Something interesting here though, if you read the units section,
Says Paladin.
Paladin units,
Yep.
This is
That's like one thing I was saying.
Yeah,
future proofing.
Like
Yeah,
in this,
that's all they tend to do. They tend
that's
to
what I'm saying
future-proof.
because like with Zakova and even Butcher 3, they said Doom Reaver solos. And before you say it, I know most people say this. Fenris is not a Doom Reaver solo.
he's not in his title, is it?
No, it's not in his title at
What
all.
about the new Hordes one?
Oh, Maximus.
Is he actually doing?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think he's just a minion solo.
Okay, interesting.
Because he's a pig possessed by the blade, not a thing
Okay,
himself.
yeah.
So it's interesting because it's like you're seeing things in these lists that are going to be like, hey, this might be coming out later down the pipeline.
Yeah, I think
Which is really cool.
there's a couple of other things from previous.
Yeah,
tiers
there's
that
loads
we've
of other
seen
stuff as
that-
well that's like really like this is what might be coming out. So here we go. Tier 2. The armor includes one or more Temple Flame Guard units. Add a unit attachment to the Temple Flame Guard unit for free of cost. This unit attachment ignores field. That's freaking mental. That is pretty
It's
darn
good, but I've never ever once been like, you know what I wish I had? 2 full units of Temple Flame Guard.
You know what?
I
I've
think
always
with
been
the
said,
solo that's
I've never
coming up
gone,
soon,
I
you
want
will.
a unit of Temple Flame Guard.
I think with the solo that's in this with the Temple Flame Guard and with Rupert gives a really good thing. I've read this a little bit, so I'm curious what you guys will actually think. So if you have 2 Temple Flame Guard units then, and you have one, yes, Jack, you heading off? Oh, you just waving. So you take
No
2
one can see you wave, you
units.
see, so we'll wave back at you.
So you take 2 units, right? So
Well,
then-
you don't have to. You can
so
just
then-
have the free one.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah,
you have
so you
one
have
free
one
unit
unit.
and then one normal unit. You put that solo, that we're going to come to later with one, who makes them pretty darn good, and then you just put Rupert on the other.
Yep.
It's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I think it's nice.
Except you can't take Rupert in this tier.
Oh, that's true. My bad. Darn it. That blows all my ideas out.
Tier 3 is something you're going to do anyway.
So
if
tier
you're
3
playing this, you're going to take
So
them on.
includes Vilmont. So yeah, you would. It says Paladin solos gain advanced move.
The reason this is good
Wow.
is that Paladins want to advance in stance,
Mm-hmm.
as they say.
Yep.
Advanced stance.
And to get into the zone to contest, which is what they're amazing at, you have to run if you want to
First
contest.
turn and then you
turn
miss
2.
out on the stance.
So
Yeah.
if you get an advanced move, you get a move of 6, then you get your 6, then
So
you
you're
can
effectively
stance.
getting that run in the first
Yeah,
turn,
but
and
you
then
get
you're
to
in.
stance as well, which means you're not going to get shot off the
Which
board.
with Dart and Vilmon, you're also going to be doubling up on the stance next turn, which is a lot sooner than you would do.
The other option you see is you can.
What the heck?
Here comes Joe. Hi, Joe. That's,
Ow. Thanks, mate. All right, so that's pretty darn good, I think.
And
It's-
then
it's pretty good.
Tier 4 is 2 warjacks with shields.
Which is pretty.
Templars.
Which is Templars, yeah.
yeah,
Or Devouts.
or Devouts, or Revengers. Invicta, the
Indictor? Indictor?
is it Invictor?
Yeah, maybe Inditer, I don't know.
Which he with him, yeah, they're slow, but you got boundless charge. But can't be targeted by spells. Shut down spellcasters as well.
Yeah.
So in this tier might become quite useful, but
And
it's-
these
that's-
warjacks-
that's pushing the.
It's really stretching it. I
Yeah.
once tried to play him in High Reclaimer, and I was like, oh, instead of having Orin, I'm going to have my Jack.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
It's just too
So,
small a
so the
bubble.
thing is that I'm thinking it says with this benefit they automatically get 1 point of focus during the first control phase. Does that come out of him or
No,
is it
no,
just
they-
2
They're
to begin
allocated.
with?
They allocated the one that.
So he starts with 6 and then just 1 each.
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, as many as you could put as many warjack.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least
So
2.
okay.
So you could put in 4. You know,
4, so they
Templars.
have 4 and
They
he
can all
would
run
still
first
start
turn,
with 6.
and then he
All
just
right,
basically
sweet.
just sticks to do what he wants to do with.
Awesome. That's a pretty darn good tier, I think. I don't know.
Now,
It depends if you play
something-
with tiers.
Going back to him, obviously something that's quite key about him as a caster. I mean, pretty much
Yeah.
good with the great thing about that is that you can take Pyrus, we will talk about later.
Yeah.
is this Rampart Guardian stance.
Yep.
Now, as is usual, you've got to forfeit your action to be able to do this.
Yep.
But obviously, your spell casting isn't an action.
Right.
So you can,
So you can
spells
advance
and then,
spell and then-
forfeit your action.
Oh, okay.
So you can be he's got a lot more
Wow,
use
yeah,
out of
so
it.
there
So he
is
can
a
be doing
lot
that
of
every
savvy.
turn, as well as doing apart from the turn where he's going to actually do any attacking.
Yeah.
He's going to be casting these spells as well as doing that.
Okay.
So that's why he becomes such a great defensive caster.
That's pretty awesome. I
And
like
the fact
this
that
guy.
he's also naturally armor 18, which I think is our first caster that's got up to that. Krios is 17, I believe. You were so concentrated on.
I think so, maybe. It's all good. He's going to fight you, press Gangan. All right, so we're going to move on then. I think he's pretty good. He makes me want to play Menoth a little bit.
I'm seeing a
little
lot of
bit.
people saying they're looking at starting
Yeah,
Menoth
that's
now.
good.
But yeah, that's good.
This gives me
That's
hope
good.
that Man of War Warcasters might be around the corner.
No,
Just saying.
you're looking at him right there.
Yeah.
That's your Man of War Warcaster, but he's in the wrong colours.
He's in the wrong colours. He'll eventually come.
So moving on.
Right, moving on. We have the Purifier.
Now, I want to say something right here.
Okay.
To the Menoth community as a whole, this is considered our worst release in this book.
Okay, is that what you think?
On the paper, he's our worst release,
Okay.
but he's still amazing.
Right,
This
okay.
just goes
It's
to show you
worst
how
release.
good this.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, okay.
That's what I'm saying. How
I'm
good this book
intrigued.
is for Menoth. This is
This
considered
is
our
the
worst
one you're
release.
kind of
Looks
lacking
like
one.
something mercenaries would shit out.
Just add
Really?
more some stuff.
Yeah, it's
He's
like,
on the Dervish chassis.
Yeah, it's a Dervish chassis, which is one of their high class chassis.
Okay, cool. So he's speed 5, strength 9, mat 6, rat 4, defense 13, armor 16. Two
Pretty
of these
standard.
swimming balls of joy,
Yeah,
power
chain
strength
weapons.
13s, which are pretty good.
No shield wall for you.
Actually have the chain weapon rule, yeah.
That's so good. He has a chain attack actual combo if he hits with both, which is pretty cool. He has overtake, which is really, really good. Flame trail. Jesus, this guy's
is the-
actually.
yeah.
How is he not that great? And he's immune to fire.
Yes.
How on
Immune
earth
to
is he?
Ravagors.
Right. So I'm curious.
This is
How
what
is,
I'm saying, this is-
how is the Menoth community not complaining
No,
about
we're
this
not.
guy?
We're not complaining. We're saying that this, out of this whole book, this is considered our worst release. If
'Cause
he's our
everything
worst
else
release,
is so
everything else
good.
is so much better. And this is just that good as well.
He's awesome.
Yeah, this release we're just really excited about this release because there's just so much cool stuff in there.
Dear
And
God.
we're only saying this is our release, our worst release, because you kind of have to have one.
God.
And he's really, really good.
Immune to Ravagor shots is a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. On top of the fact that if he moves into base to base stuff, they're set on fire, as well as being ignoring shield wall. So you've got your hard shield wall walking forward. Send him in. Not only is he killing your stuff because he's got ignoring your shield wall, but he's also setting you on fire.
Yeah, but also
so if
the
all
thing
those
is,
guys are in
again,
shield wall, he
yeah.
hasn't been able to reach. Boom, and he's overtaking stuff. So moving
And
to the
this,
next
and
guy.
this again just makes, stuff with shield wall just cry. Like Black Dragons and Iron Fangs in general just cry. Other units with shield wall, just cry. Because you can just go straight through it. It
Now-
is kind of sad.
Chain attack combustion. Now, combustion is something we've had on the. Forgot the name of it now because we don't use it in Castigator, which is heavy. So with this one, if you hit with the first two initial attacks, you get to make a third attack, which then how's the wording on this one? After resolving the attack, you can immediately make one additional melee attack against that model. If the additional attack hits, models within 2 inches of this model suffer a power 12 fire damage roll and the fire continuous effect.
Imagine if you've got all your battle mechanics stood behind.
No, it's from him, not the model you just hit.
Oh,
This model, yeah, but still,
So that
it's a
thing
2
you were
inch
going
range,
to say
yeah.
was probably like, oh.
That would have been
wah,
awesome.
wah,
Yeah,
wah, wah.
oh, you can imagine that. So the first thing you do is send that against a colossal.
Yeah, you would
That'd be
explode
bonkers.
everything. That would be
But no,
good.
it's
5
still
points.
good because you could go in against one of your. Okay, you got your Kaze assassins. Send in a cleanser if you got them. He's immune to fire. Hit it.
Yeah,
He then sets everything on fire around him.
That's pretty darn good.
There's also currently on the forums about whether that third attack is just a normal attack and then you get the combustion. And
Okay.
so far, it's been the way it's worded is that yes, because normally these things would be worded to say this doesn't cause damage, you get the combustion instead, because it doesn't state that, which is what the norm is. So you get a third attack, and then which is another power 30. Well,
Interesting.
with quite
Okay,
a PS15.
yeah.
Then your combustion effectively could be knocking out. Well, say it's 2 initials, 2 focus if he's got that's 4. Plus the chain attack 5, plus combustion, potentially 6 attacks out of that 1 5-point light.
Put him in it with Adraza.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
I
He's
mean, 3
good.
strikes, baby. He's like overtaking
Yeah.
his way down.
I'm
the
not gonna lie.
line, just
Out
hitting
of all the releases in Reckoning, I think Menoth got some really, really sick shit.
I'll be first to agree with you. We
Really
have.
good stuff.
I think we've just felt like we've been duffed over for the last couple of books or so.
You got some good stuff though.
We've just got. Basically, this is the Christmas that we've been waiting for a long
And
time.
moving on to Christmas, I believe for a lot of people,
Yeah.
is the Hand of Effing
I couldn't
Judgment.
believe this guy when I read him. I could not believe this
Okay,
guy.
Mike, go through his stats. This guy's freaking bananas.
So, speed 5, strength 11, mat 7, rat 5, defense 10, armor 19. He has spray 8, power 14 for a moment.
For a moment.
Oh yeah, we'll move on to that
And
later.
then he's got a power strength 18 melee weapon as well.
Yeah, okay.
Which has reach and crit fire.
So let's just stop there. This guy has speed 5 and reach. As
Yeah.
far as we're aware, as Menoth, that's
That's
he's
a
amazing.
win-win
It's a win right there.
situation.
That's your at least 9 out of 10 already.
Yeah!
Right.
That's
So,
your 9 out of 10
Other stuff you've got to
already.
cover. Affinity with Fiora. While in Fiora's control area, boosted ranged attack rolls. So he's rat 5, rat 7 with the choir, boosted
So 3.
flamethrowers.
And the most likelihood you would probably get a crit because it's continuous.
Well, it doesn't. It's just continuous
It's just
fire.
continues to hit fire.
Oh,
It's not a crit.
shite, this
He's
guy's
also immune to
awesome.
fire.
He's immune to fire, so he's immune to Ravagors as well. He can charge without spending focused if his target is on fire.
Which, if you've got Fiora, there's going to be something
Everything,
on fire.
yeah,
There's a
everything's going to be on
chance
fire
that
due
something's
to
on
due to
fire.
the feet. You can't put it out. Yeah.
The best thing about this model, probably, is this thing.
This is
right?
the best thing.
This bit is the best bit. Is when a model suffers a fire damage roll within 5 inches of this model, add +2.
But I love how it's called Fuel for the Flames. How appropriate with Fiora as well.
But like, so that's anything. Lots of Menos stuff is fire damage.
Yeah.
For example, with P7, which you're not going to take him with, but you could. He has a power 14 flamethrower,
Yep.
which is power 16 with the choir, which is power 17 with Eye of Menoth, which is power 18, 19 if
On
his
a
target's
flamethrower.
within on a flamethrower. Power 19
And it's
flamethrower.
boosted, I believe, right?
Well, that would be with Fiora, so it'd be down to 18 with Fiora.
Okay.
Boosted to hit,
That's awesome.
and he can be bonded, so you could give it full
4.
focus.
If you wanted to.
You don't need to bond it because
No.
it causes so much fire. You
This
can
is
bond another
oddly-
jack, get
yeah.
more fire.
This is oddly one of the few character jacks that you're not bothered about bonding because Fiora does better bonding with other jacks.
Still take it with Fiora because then you still get your 3 dice to
Right.
hit.
And
but-
so this guy also, he has crit fire and reach, but what's the flame burst thing?
So when it boxes an enemy model with this weapon, enemy models within an inch suffer fire continuous
Avatar's
effect.
got that.
Okay,
Generally
so-
doesn't come into play.
So the thing is, I know one thing we were saying just before we were going to record this section, you were saying this guy might be,
He's fighting with the Avatar.
he's fighting with the Avatar, right?
The Avatar is a monster, obviously.
Yeah.
But this guy is...
He's
I've
almost
just realised something else. If you're going with Fiora, she's got escorts, so it'd be going up to effectively speed 7.
Oh my god.
This guy's awesome. So
Yeah, I
you
didn't realise that, did you?
wow, gosh. It's pretty darn good.
So yeah.
Hand of Judgment,
Now,
pretty darn
okay,
good.
imagine that guy next to a bonded Judicator. So all his flamethrowers and rockets, well, not the rockets, but the flamethrowers are plus 2 damage. His damage is to hit with his melee weapons are plus 2 damage to hit.
Dear
Uh,
God.
Imagine him with Harbinger, where her feet is fire damage.
Yeah,
it's-
fire damage, yeah,
16 fire damage rolls with anything within 5 inches of him.
This guy's money.
Imagine Zealots go to power strength 16 on direct hits.
I love how you're telling me this. You should be telling these. This,
Well, we
this
are,
is
we are,
mental.
we are
This
telling
is
you, this is-
mental.
Through
This
the
guy-
conduit of Lee.
To the conduit of me, I mean,
This thing is just.
I'm probably going to be seeing a lot of this and other things on the channel, so I'm
And it
really
looks
looking
good.
forward to
Yeah,
this. And he looks great.
I suspected he was going to be a character.
But the thing is-
when we saw the artwork was just.
The artwork looks cool, but will the model be cool? That's the question.
I think so.
I think the most exciting thing the thing I was excited most about this guy, forgetting all this, when we just saw the artwork, because we saw the artwork a while ago at, I can't remember which one it was now.
A long time.
It was our first ranged heavy warjack, not
Cool.
because we've got the Colossals, but the first ranged heavy warjack we've had since the Reckoner,
That's cool. That's
which
really
is
nice.
a Mark 1 jack. For us to get another ranged jack was just, that's cool in itself.
Yeah,
And
we're
it's a
used to
flamethrower.
ranging Kador, so it's not really that amazing for us. But I
Yeah.
can understand why you guys
Very
are
happy,
excited
and-
about that.
Points of 10, which is, I think that's cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty
For
darn
his-
good. Isn't it?
I'll happily pay 10 points for
Yeah,
this guy.
definitely.
Okay, cool. So moving on then, Hand of Judgment, legit. I believe we've got 2 more to cover. 2 interesting things to cover.
I'm also quite excited again.
I'm moderately excited. shall
So
we say.
okay, so we've got the Revelator. Spin, you can take this one. Then take.
So the
take us through
Revelator
stats.
is our second Colossal, which everyone's got in this book, I assume.
No convergence.
So this guy's based on the same chassis as Judicator, so it's all what you've seen. However, he's got 2 gigantic, what looks like gigantic Vanquisher cannons on his shoulders.
Yes, Joe, penis.
Go for his stats. He's speed 4, but pretty what we expected. Strength 17, mat 6, rat 5, defense 8, and armor 19. Now the rat 5 is quite important because we're used to our colossals being inaccurate.
You are, especially the Judicator.
This guy hasn't got the inaccurate rule.
We palm that off onto you.
So
Hey,
yeah.
I'm happy with what we got. Victor is legit.
So that's a rat 5. So he's going up to rat 7 with the choir.
choir, yeah.
And if he stands still, he's rat 9, which is pretty awesome when we get down to his weapons.
Oh, okay.
So he's got 4 range weapons, 2 conflagrator, which are range 10, rate of fire 1, AoE 4, power 15.
It's pretty darn good.
2 lightbringer guns, which are range 14, which is pretty damn good in our faction.
Yep.
Power 12s, rate of fire 1 again, and then standard 2 fists. 1 point more than the Judicator, so it's 19 cost.
Yep.
Right, so moving on to these actual special rules. He's got something called Ferratory, which is it's basically its system.
Oh, okay,
the
yeah,
system
yeah.
built into Colossal. So this model ignores concealment, camouflage, and stealth.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good.
That's amazing.
That's really, really
and
good.
it's only going to get better in a minute.
You say...
Also,
Yeah, no, you go.
the weapons
also.
the weapons gain magical weapon. So
That
yeah.
That is so
That
good
one
against
rule,
so many solos.
And obviously, while the system is when the S system is disabled, it loses those benefits. But
So
holy
many
Jesus.
solos are going to die in the first turn now.
Denegra can't play into Menelth
with range 14, power 12, boosted power 12.
She's going to move up feet and we're just going to shoot her.
So
Okay.
moving on to the main guns on this, which are the conflagrators, which are the AoE 4 power 15s.
Yep.
It's damage type fire. That's got some weaknesses in it.
Yeah.
Can't shoot fire trolls with it.
Don't shoot. What's the fire? Fire eaters. Don't shoot into them either.
So burning, but then they've got their own special rule called Burning Earth. On a direct hit against an enemy model, this attack's AoE remains in play for 1 round. Models entering or ending their activation in the AoE suffer power 12 fire damage roll and the fire continuous effect. That's
really
2
good.
4-inch AoEs that just stay in play. They're not scaders, they're not clouds, but they are basically going to stop 1 wound infantry in their tracks. To honestly, even multi-wound infantry, if they take a power 12 and then get set on fire as well.
Yeah, this guy's good.
So that's effectively a double. You know, if they've survived the power 15 and blast damage and whatnot. So moving on to the next set of rules. This is the Lightbringers. These are the range 14 guns. So
Oh boy.
remembering, of course, the Ferratory, which is the ignores stealth, camouflage,
yeah.
and that. Once again, damage type fire, radiance. A model hit by this weapon loses camouflage and stealth for 1 round.
That's really good.
So then everything else can shoot it without needing Roving, which means that even though this is a point more expensive than Adjudicator, if you had Adjudicator and Roving, that's 22 points. So you've now got 3 points spare.
Okay.
Yep, so
Shit.
he's pretty amazing. And then what you do is add a Vassal as a standard to put 3 of those AoEs down.
That's true. You would, wouldn't you? Man, this guy is money.
He is, once again, I think, I've seen this a lot. I think Poverty Press has done a fantastic job of balancing out this compared to the Judicator. They've got different roles.
Yeah.
And they're not better. You won't go, I'm taking this guy instead of Judicator.
Exactly.
Because Judicator's got a different role. The difference is the range. The Judicator can put out rockets at long range, start whittling out infantry, start hitting the support at the back quite easily. He's got the flamethrowers when you get in there, so he's a real good infantry clearer. This guy is more of a denial guy.
Yeah.
Taking off stealth, ignoring concealment, all those little, Oh, is that Eris hiding over there?
Goodbye.
Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah, Alice. That's what I'm
Even
saying.
Gorman.
Pesky solos.
Gorman
are
doesn't take the
bad.
damage, but if you shoot him, then he loses stealth, so
Which
something
then
else
something else can shoot him.
It's
Like I said,
good.
that's our weakness, is that Gorman can still not be killed by this guy.
I think I completely agree with what you guys say, because I think with all the Colossals, throughout all the new Colossals, you can compare them to their older counterparts, but both of them have different jobs to do. Especially in Khador, because that's who I play. The Conquest has its pluses, and so does the Victor, and they both do different roles.
I think they've done a great job of that.
Yeah, it's great. It's really
nice
good.
that they've balanced it well.
The only thing I don't like
I know what he's going to say here.
is the fact that if I spend 80 quid on this model, I'm going to spend a very long time building it, I'm going to spend a very long time painting it, and from a couple of metres away, you're probably not going to be able to tell
That
it's
was
not
my
Adjudicator.
biggest issue with all of the new Colossals, is that they are the same chassis again.
Well,
It would have been
they're-
nice
I
to
know
have
they're
an
the same-
alternative chassis.
Even Warjacks, though, if you stand some of the Warjacks next to each other, the fact they've got different weapons means that you can tell them apart. But because these
Yeah.
are open fists and a couple of guns up
Cool.
here,
I think you can tell the difference with Victor, for example, because you have a jack-sized mortar.
Yeah,
on it.
you do, but
But there's other things you would have. I could see the predicament with that,
it's just
especially with
it's
very
just
similar.
not. It's just a shame because obviously with the gargantuan stuff,
Oh,
you're
is
getting
it-
a
oh,
totally different model.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a surprise we're getting another set of Colossals already, but it would have been nice for them
it's
to
pretty
have
cool
done
to have
a
that,
second
yeah.
chassis like they've done with the heavies.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So, PP,
It's-
you've
it's-
heard us. Third Colossal, we want new chassis. That'd be great.
Yep.
Let's do Pyrus then.
Right, the final guy for your
this guy's
release.
Yeah, he's like he's not got any rules.
Now, you see, if this guy, right, I think we've got to show the camera this guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and do this and not...
There you go, it's
screw it up.
good. It's good. There you go, that guy.
He's an utter badass. He just looks cool. Now, unfortunately for me, I'm not a fan of Temple Flame Guard because they don't look like him at all.
Yeah, he
If
looks
they all
very
look like
different.
him, I'd take Temple Flame Guard every game.
Just for comic effect, I'm going to read out all of his rules in a big list.
Go for it. So,
Commander, fearless, tough, impenetrable shield, leadership, temple flame guard, rapid strike, relentless charge, unyielding. He's a reach weapon master with set defense, and then he's a weapon master with a shield as well with beatback on it.
So that's the list.
and his general stats are speed 6, strength 7, mat 7, rat 4, defense 15, armor 15. His spear's power strength 12, his shield's 8,
But they're
damage
weapon
box is
masters.
5, and points cost 3, and he's a character, so you can only have 1. But he's blood like most of your paladins in your Menoth faction is this guy is a well no what I mean like your character solos
yeah,
who look very
solos,
similar to
yeah.
this. That's what I meant. Sorry, who look very similar to this. Guys are always like, yeah, well, you know, we're
you
this
just-
many points, but we've got this.
Just quickly, I just don't want them to... I want the model to portray that artwork.
So he's running.
I'd just take him and not Temple Flame Guard. Just because he looks that cool.
There is one thing though, in that while base to base with one or more temple flame guard, he doesn't suffer damage from non-magical melee or ranged attacks. Take him in unit and just stand him in front of him till you deliver him to something.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that
But then he's also got leadership, right? With
I
the
think
Temple
you
Flame
just
Guard.
I think you just skipped over that point there.
I did. I know. It's a minimum unit. Yeah.
No. The actual rules here, what was just said. While he's in base with one or more friendly Temple Flame God models, it does not suffer damage from non-magical.
Oh, so only magical stuff can damage him if he's in base to base. That's
like
pretty
another
darn good.
paladin,
I'm not
basically.
worried about that due to the fact we have Outriders in Kador. We love spraying Temple Flame Guard for fun because we'll get there up
They
enough
said they're
quicker.
going to be followed by a book which will be going no spells.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that might happen. Yeah, that might actually possibly happen more than anything.
Something that's
Middle
significant is
fingers.
that because of his shield has beatback on it, so he can actually push something 2 inches a turn because he's got rapid strike. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is really good.
Yeah. Oh no, beatbacks.
This
yeah,
model
he
can
gets
make
to move,
one
yeah.
He gets to
additional
move and
melee
then he can do it again.
for each combat action. He has Relentless Charge, which is Pathfinder, which is really good for Menoth. Really good. Pathfinder
Means you don't
is
need
awesome.
Rupert.
Yeah, and then you've got Unyielding, so you basically have that the +2 armor, basically exactly what the Iron Fang Covenant has.
Yeah, but he's also can give the relentless charge to the Temple Flame Guard themselves, which is the biggest thing. Them getting access to Pathfinder, as you say, means we don't have to put in Saxon or Rupert, which is generally Saxon with Temple
Yeah.
Flame Guard.
Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind is what I was saying before I realised in the tier benefit would be bad. Like, if you run, say, 2 minimal units, like we were going to say then, you'd have one with him, then one with Rupert. One that's tough and struggling, this one that just makes them... This is the unit that's going to go smash. This is the one that's going to nutrition over a scenario or something
It's
like
friendly Temple Flame God models activating in his command range though. His
So it could
command
easily
now,
do
you
that.
just
Yeah,
stand
it
in the
could
middle.
easily
You can
have
stand
it
him in
both,
the middle
yeah, that's
with
true.
one of the guys,
that. And then
he's just
Rupert
gonna-
can
yeah.
go to and fro from them. Man, this guy's money for a solo.
Everything in the
It's
Menoth
good.
book is legit.
I think his only weakness is that he's another 3-point solo that he's fighting
It's
for.
not Kez.
He's fighting for a big slot here.
Yeah,
You got-
so that's the one thing I've heard. Like, you do have a lot of options with Mercs, and even within your faction, within 3 points.
You've got Nicaea, you've got Kez, you've got Vilmon, you've got him.
Bastion
Yeah.
Seneschal. You've got then Eris as well. You got.
He's in a bit of a tough bracket.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
he,
a
more
tough
than
bracket, but I think you've got to take him with the intention of taking lots of the Flame Guard.
anything. Gotcha.
So him in a Fiora list, he's probably much where he's going to end
What are
up
you
being.
saying, Joe? Go on.
That.
The weapon master on
Weapon
shield.
Master Shield.
Yeah, it's
Is
brilliant.
it,
Yeah.
I'm just curious what a Weapon Master Shield would be. He just like spins it really nice and beats them back.
No, he just goes
It's a mirror.
as hard
a
as
mirror.
possible.
It's
It's
just
a
a mirror.
You seen Captain America?
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Just like that. There we
pretty
go.
much
It's
exactly
like
like
Captain
that.
America.
That's what a weapon master
That is-
shield.
Okay, so I think that's all
That's
the
all
things
of it.
covered in Menoth. Guys, your overall opinions. Obviously, the funniest thing is that you think the Purifier is the worst out of all of them.
Considered, if you're going to rate them, the Purifier is considered our worst. But, even then, he's
me,
amazing.
I think
he's
you guys
amazing.
I think, like I've
10
keep
out of
saying,
10 out of 10 this book.
that's what I'm saying. Like everything about this book, I think every faction got something that's really, really useful. But Menel's got Menel's shine a lot in this book, which is good.
Yeah, we're happy to admit it. We'd be for once.
We're pretty pleased. We're pretty
This
pleased
is
with
about
this
the
book.
first time we've not sat here moaning about what we've got at all.
I know.
I mean,
It's
even
true.
people are actually trying to find things wrong with the stuff
Yeah,
that we've
it
got,
is
and
pretty
they're
interesting.
just struggling. But yeah,
Yep.
yeah, very happy with it.
Right, so guys, that was Menoth, and yeah, we'll come straight back with the next faction. Gosh, I'm scared to face Menoth now.
Oh,
Scared.
I can't wait to play it.
Hello guys, and welcome to the K-Door overview of Reckoning. And before I get into it, I'm going to cheat in this section. If you didn't know already, I have a podcast called Murder of Crows, and that's a K-Door themed podcast on Hand Cannon Online. I do this podcast with some wargaming pals of mine, Mark Fright and Nick Van Slagmat. And we are looking to start an internship getting fans of the show to become a part of the podcast recently. And the podcast is a part of Hand Cannon Online, as I said, and this community specialises in Warmachine podcasts for specific factions, such as Trolls, Cricks, Mercenaries, Legion, you name it, they're probably doing it, guys. But anyway, you can download or look up this podcast by looking at the link in the description on this video. So go check out our podcast and go check out Hand Cannon Online today. But anyway, back to the Reckoning overview and the K-Door overview. Like I said, I'm going to cheat on this section because we did a podcast and we talked about the Reckoning overview and what we got in it. And I'm just going to put a few clips of the podcast where we covered the K-Door Reckoning bit. But hey, you can listen to the whole episode if you go download it from Hand Cannon Online or listen to it online on Hand Cannon Online. But anyway, here's some of the highlights from that podcast, and hopefully you can go check out our podcast today. So take care, guys.
Fellow sons and daughters of the motherland, Her Majesty Empress Aymbana I of Cardor is glad to announce that what you're about to hear is considered safe by Greylord standards.
So, we're going to move on to our second bit of K-Door news, which is...
Obavnik Commander Zarkova!
There we go, Mark covered it.
When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you know it's hard. Everybody wants her, everybody loves her, everybody wants to take your baby home. When you're in love with a beautiful woman.
The excitement.
The excitement. You couldn't tell Marth was really, really excited about it. So, you know what? I'm going to let Marth take the helm on this one. Marth, why are you so excited about this? Go on. Just give us a little splurge on it and your thoughts on the model as well. He's trying to recover from that growl.
Did you have to say splurge?
Okay, sorry. K-Dorgasm. There we go. That's better.
Because I can do... I was going to say that I did already. Do you know you don't want to know any details on that, but yeah. So Obavnik Commander Zerkova, just to let everybody in who's not into the ranks of the Khador military, she advanced one step as a magician. So she's now the top magician, and she's
top magician.
I think she's actually
for my next trick.
she worked her way up to the top of the Greylord's Covenant through subterfuge, killing people, and like the wizards did in Pratchett's The Color of Magic and The Light Fantastic. Or she's got espionage, but I don't see that we will have that on her as a caster, though that would be very, very interesting. We don't actually know anything except for Occult Whispers that was already spoiled on her, rules-wise. But we have seen the model, 2 Reaver Guards with Orgoth halberds and fearsome dreadlocks. They look really amazing.
Yeah.
She looks badass. Like her pose is, she avoids a lot of the, let's say, standard posing pitfalls. But she's got the
You mean
the
for
weapon,
female
which I
models
don't
or
think
just models
is
in general?
Creators. It's probably another a different weapon, and she's got the coat all over her shoulder, being all cool, like you can't see her hand.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
she
sure if
looks-
I'm a fan of that.
And in line with her her prime resculpt, she looks really pissed.
Yeah,
she looks
she
so
does.
angry.
Now,
Ah.
the thing is, when I look at the model, I
It's
can't.
like the Secret Service embodied.
Well, the one thing I want to say, which I don't know what you guys think about it as well, is like,
Obavnik Commander Zerkova is the reason Waldo is hiding.
there we go, confirmed. Is where's her hand? I can't see her hand on one of the sleeves.
Under her
It's
coat.
under the coat. She's being cool.
Yeah, I'm
she's-
not sure if I like
she
it.
doesn't
I don't.
need
I'm,
a second
like that's
hand.
the one thing that's annoyed me. Is like, is she pissed because she's lost her hand?
No, she still
Or-
has it. It's on the art of the book.
Okay.
She still has her arm. However, she just wants to be like show off. Can beat you with one arm underneath my jacket.
I can beat you with one arm tied to my back.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, basically, it's just kind of like, this code is way too big for me. God damn it, when they took this photo. Why did they get that side of me? But the one thing I wanted to talk about to both of you about this as well is the colour scheme, because it's very, very different to what she is originally, and it's very different to Kador in general when you look at the Kador minis when Privateer
It's
Press
Black
painted them.
Ivany.
Yeah, it's very Black Ivany, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it, because the first thing that came into all our heads was Black Ops, wasn't it, really, the first thing?
Yeah, not a good theme for us. by the way.
because like that color has been preferred by, let's say, special services throughout the ages.
You mean
Black
black?
is the most menacing color, and that's probably to underline her, well, Blofeld-esque abilities.
And her backstory, obviously. She's
Yeah.
not someone you want to mess with. Well, I
She
think
makes
in the
people
Retribution
disappear.
faction book, she got like assassinated by, was it Kalissa?
Well, not assassinated. Her.
Well,
She got away with the train.
obviously.
It's probably why she's pissed.
Yeah, she's gonna go back and kill some elves. If
It's like
its ears
"Why
aren't round, put it in the
took my
ground."
stupid they took my stupid ice cube and my
Yeah,
ice
my
cream
ice cream
cone.
cone.
I'll make the Greylord's Covenant pay for it and get to the top and then get that thing back.
It's just
So-
it sounds like it's like that thing from Starship Troopers. The only good bug's a dead bug, but replace bug with elf. the only good elf's a dead elf.
Might be cool to make like a cast of the Rod of Whispers and put it half in the ground. Like, you made me drop my ice cream cone.
You're
Now
gonna
prepare to
somebody's
die.
gonna pay.
Oh, okay. I like her. I think she looks great. Are you still not sold on the marching man hat, Neek?
It looks very off to me. I'm not sure what your opinions on that are, but that little chain in the front looks very strange to me.
If there was a drum on the bass, would you be happy?
No.
No. I love how Marv's little laugh goes, no.
Zerkova's gonna beat you like a drum.
Oh, that's good.
That's why she's got the marching band hat on.
There we go.
She's coming straight
Skadoosh.
out of the patched drum.
So we're kind of up in the air on how she looks. She looks really angry. Like, the first ever pose I saw of Zakova was, I'm running at you at full tilt. And then the new pose, the new resculpt where she's kind of like, I'm smug, I look great. I was like, that's a really cool model, I'll get that. And now this one, she's more like, I'm pissed and I'm really angry. And she has a very dynamic pose, I think. Very, very, I would say, Andre-esque. You know how snobby Andre looks?
Snobby Arne, who's splicing off his pinky
His pinky, I would
while
say...
holding his gun.
Exactly.
That's such a cool pose. That's such a
And it is
detail
very-
that's so in character.
It makes
Just to say.
me regret getting the Kickstarter one.
Yeah,
even
the kick. I was so glad I didn't get the Kickstarter one. But this one's really dynamic. She looks angry, and she literally looks like she's marching like, I'm ready to smash your head in. And speaking of smashing people's heads in, her bodyguards look pretty freaking awesome as well. What do you guys think about those guys?
Yeah, I absolutely love them. Look
I
very,
like them
very
too.
cool.
Now, is
They'll
there
probably
one?
be a mess to paint for my
Which,
abilities.
which
but
one do you guys prefer? Do you prefer the one with the horn on the head, or the one with
Left
the skull,
shark or right shark?
or the one with the
I
small
prefer left
skull?
reaver. No, I prefer a right reaver. I think.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I like the spike. Spike is pretty cool.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Norse Blood Bowl model that I own, but he's just juiced up on steroids. It does look awesome. I really like how dynamic it looks. Very like we were saying when we saw like the artwork on Reckoning, like very Predator-esque, isn't it? With the dreads that aren't really dreads.
This is kind of what I was hoping for when I saw that in the Mark II book, like Cater Faction book. Doom has got a unit attachment.
Oh yeah.
No, I like Fenris. Like in the new faction book, they got like the unit attachment, and it turned out to be Grey Lord. I would have really liked to have seen this, like a weapon attachment kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, maybe this might be the next unit. That'd be freaking dope. What do you think?
I don't think so. I think these are just character Doom Reavers.
Sad pandas. What if we got a character Doom Reaver like this guy, who looks similar like this,
Like
but
a
was
unit
more
of these
beefy?
guys. Unlikely, but I would love it.
Oh yeah, we could live a dream.
I think if we're talking about the character Doom Reaver, as an aside, then we're probably talking about a character Orgoth Fell weapon, because I think the notion of character gets pretty much erased.
Well, Fenris.
Yeah, but you know,
Who uses Fenris?
Everyone.
Really?
Yeah, in Mad Dogs of War, it's +1 in a starting roll. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
And you have 54 advanced deploying Weapon Master Berserk POW 13 models.
I sounded when I
pretty good.
said that. I sounded like who uses him? Like so confused because I know he's the guy on the horse. That's it. Just like Old Spice. I'm on a horse.
Well, I play. He was in my ADR. Like he was in my Vanguard for a specialist. Gee, that do they really need more names in to get into that construction? He was in my specialist for Zerkova 2. Zerkova 1 to just screw with everyone who ever likes to use magic.
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
Aww.
So yeah, but still, ruined with 3 rage tokens. Pretty scary.
And remember also, if he kills living models on his way, there's more souls for you as well. That's pretty
Yes,
great.
Yeah,
but
so I
I don't
guess you
think
could, like,
can
trample
spend them
over.
because it's not your activation.
Because your trample would be
Oh yeah,
your
right.
map,
It's not your
correct?
activation. It says during
Oh.
activation. Martha's right.
Marth, you're right. You're always right, Marth.
Somebody has to be.
I know. I'm gonna throw it out there. When I first started doing my battle reports, Marth was the first person to always rule correct me, and I'm like, shit, you're right.
Still, it's a fun thought exercise to think how many attacks Ruin can make on Butcher 2's
Yeah.
Butcher 2's feet. So you load him up with 3 souls, 3 focus.
Have fun.
And then you kill 3 things with something else. So then he has 2 initial attacks, buys 3 with focus, so it's 5. Buys another 3 with souls, that's 8.
Has accumulated 8, up to 8 rage tokens.
Yeah,
for Butcher.
well, other things could have killed stuff too, right? And then he buys
but
another
he-
3
on his
attacks.
own.
He buys another 3 attacks using rage tokens. So what
Wow.
were we on? Is that 11 attacks now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something
Well,
like that.
you-
Yeah.
You can't do it all in one, but if he's got souls and then gets focused, charges into something, kills a lot of shit, accumulates rage tokens, and then gets rage tokens afterwards,
Yeah,
he
well,
can destroy the world.
other stuff can also generate rage tokens for him, right?
Yeah, but he
You
can
can just
only
allocate it
get,
to him.
he can only get 3 rage tokens, and he can easily collect those by himself. That's what I'm
Cool.
saying.
Yeah, and if these
and he
are
gets
like
souls from that too.
if these are living models, you can just kill them with the souls. Yeah, you can just
Yeah.
bonk one in the head, get a focus back, get a soul back, and
Get a
then
soul
buy
back,
another
yeah.
one. And just berserk 3 units.
Goodness gracious.
Oh right,
Okay.
and then when you've berserked through a unit, you can use your rage
Ravager.
token to walk to your next target.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Ravager, damn. Ravager just gives Berserk.
Oh
Only
god.
Angel Maniac would
Oh
put on
god, that's amazing. Because that's battle group, right? So you can put
Yep.
it on Ruin. I have not thought about that even.
Holy crap! We've just dropped an atom bomb right now, and all of us are kind of
Like,
like,
all this infantry you
this
see
is
here is
awesome.
dead. It's all dead.
Welcome to Reckoning overview. This is going to be Crix. It's going to be a great book. I'm here with Joe, here with Steph, and we're going to go through Crix. And
Because nobody cares about Signar here.
Yeah,
Not yet.
they happen to be the most important faction in the book, really. We're only going to go through Cricks, right?
I think so. I think you two might jump out for that. I know I have to cover it, unfortunately. But I know, Joe, you play Cricks. Steph, you don't play Cricks, but the first thing we're going to talk about is making you possibly want to play Cricks.
I've played against a lot of Cricks.
Yeah. So the first thing is the big thing for you in this book for is Denegra
The
3,
Soul
isn't it?
Take Soul
Oh,
guys. No, they're
The Soul
amazing. It's like the Soul Tappers. My God. 1 point for 2. Yes, please.
So I personally think Denny 3 is better, but those things just make her even better. But let's go through Denny 3 first.
Her? All of them.
Oh.
It's not just her. They were made for Cricks.
So the funniest thing about it is she is an epic cavalry battle engine warcaster.
Yes.
Like we were saying, it's a hilarious mouthful. You could just say, I'm an epic warcaster. No, I'm all of these things.
Yeah. All the time when it was coming up, I was posting on the internet.
Look at this guy!
Oh, God.
If you can see it, we're going to stop for a second. Just come in here, Mike. Look at this. We have a pirate. Mike has turned up as a pirate. This is brilliant.
I actually got more points if you came as a press. You do. So I was like, yeah, why not?
So what we're saying, obviously with this whole format, people are going to come in and out, so we love it. But yeah, Denny 3. Go over the stats quickly. Speed 9, Strength 5, Mat 6, Rat 4, Defense 15, Armor 16, Command 9, Focus 7, Damage boxes, she has 18.
That's 2 more than most of the other ones, which is really good for her, because normally she's only Armor 14. She'll die to anything like. I was playing Epic Denegra.
She's part dragon.
She's part dragon.
Sure, she's mounting a dragon.
She's mounting it.
Yeah, so the stats are part dragon.
The stats are part dragon. But I do like how she's got venom, but it's just a venomous breath.
Now it's just a spray rather than
It's just a spray. It's not. We're not giving you the spell, but it's a spray.
Yeah, now you can just save your focus for stuff you want to spend. Oh, that's right. This caster doesn't spend any focus. She sits on it all game. Deal with that.
So yeah, she's got spray 8, power 10, venomous breath. She also has male factor, power 8, power strength 4, 13. So that's her actual staff,
That's
right?
her staff, which doesn't do anything anymore. Well,
okay.
No, it does, staffs in the past have done like shadow bind,
okay,
or crazy teleportation, but now she's just got a magic stick.
She's just got a magic stick.
Yeah,
because all it says is reach and a magical weapon. That's it. So it's lost her. She's traded in all those cool abilities, very similar like Zakova. Basically, I'll give up all my artifacts for Doom Reaver cards.
You can have this stick. Can I have one of them?
So she's undead. She's got Cool Soul. That's how you say it, isn't it?
Yeah, Cool Soul.
So this gains 1 soul for each living model destroyed within 2 inches of it.
Yeah. She has, a lot of casters in Cricks have that. The only one that doesn't, I think, is Sturges and Gorshades.
Okay. They don't usually have a base that's so big, though. That's the issue.
No, but 2 inches. The caster,
actually, that is true.
Generally, Denegra isn't 2 inches.
2 inches.
It is, but still, Denegra doesn't like to be in 2 inches of anything.
No, not with defense 15 and armor 23.
Well, no. Give it a second.
Give it a second.
Give it a second. There's Gravewind. Yeah. So it'll be defense 17 on a huge base with the Bajillion.
I just think of defense 15 battle engine.
Yeah, man. Defense 15 is a thing.
You know.
But the thing is, so like we said, she's got flight because she's on a freaking dragon. But the one thing that makes me just mental is soul. Anytime during its activation, this model can spend a soul token for the following effect. Each use of a soul mastery costs 1 soul token. So she basically uses the soul she gathers in with Soul Weaver, and just can become arcane spirits and
cast a spell for free.
Jesus.
All but one of her spells she can cast for a soul.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Or she could just use 1 soul to give a Jack 3 focus. Now, honestly, that's retarded.
Explain, please, Jack. Why is it
Okay,
retarded?
you've got a harrower.
Okay.
Quite good at killing things. It collects souls.
Right.
It can have 3 souls on it at any point. So, say it's had a good round of combat the turn before. It survives the next turn. It's still got 3 souls on it. She goes, I know, I'll take one of those souls. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into 3 focus for you. Go.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty OP as well.
Yeah.
But she does the Sang-Shong effect, I like to call it, from like Mortal Kombat. She can just go, all the souls are mine, basically, to quote that hilarious, horrific film and great video game series. She basically can suck in souls through a command. That's just kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Seeming the solo
a
you love.
lot of Crix things collect souls as well. It's like before the soul tapper was a thing. I was thinking, oh no, now we're going to have to use the Wraith engine. Oh, that 9 points of model that no one uses.
But it becomes pretty good with Denny 3.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It's still turd.
Still, the only person that can polish that is P Denny or P Skull.
Okay. Poor guy. I feel sorry because he's such a great model. And he's just like.
He's a really good model. Honestly, if it just did something.
If it did something.
I know in the times it's like, oh look, it's amazing. Oh, it's
It looks cool, and now it's dead. So, her breath has continuous corrosion and damage type corrosion, and like we said, her stick is basically magical weapons and reach. Her spell list. What do you think about her spell list?
Awesome.
Her spell list.
is pretty amazing. It's pretty much what she's always had,
Yep.
but different.
Okay.
So, like, P. De Negro is all about the debuffs. Epic De Negro all about the debuffs. She's still got a couple of debuffs, like Mortality. Mortality is a really good all-round debuff. Scourge is a really good debuff where
It's unreal.
they're now laying down.
The thing for me, as a troll player, mortality is horrible. But the fact that she can just stick it on as many things as she wants, basically, because of the soul,
Because of the
makes
soul.
it
Yeah.
completely horrific.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's like, if you get a good round, you could maybe get it on 7 things without trying.
Yeah.
Even with her feet gives you 7 things for mortality.
In the book after next, Grim will catch himself and Angelius, start flying it around, mortality on everything. We don't know.
So yeah,
Angel Grim.
Angel Grim.
Angel Grim. That's the thing.
Angel Grim. Confirmed.
From the United Crayons.
Confirmed.
Right here.
Get out.
Confirmed here on this thing. But no, we haven't mentioned her feat. She just gained 7 souls, like you say. It's pretty bloody awesome with all the mentalness with the spell list.
It's maybe the smallest amount of text I've ever seen in a feat. De Negra gains 7 souls. That is
Immediately gains.
yeah.
It's not like now,
It's,
immediately.
no, it's like
That's a 5-word feat.
It is a 5-word
it's-
feat.
it's
If she got 5 souls, that would have been much more better.
more
just a-
better.
Why?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 words. It's 6 words. If it was 7 words, well, if you count the full stop, that's technically 7 things. Well done. See, alliteration. Illuminati confirmed. But anyway, moving on. We'll go straight into a tier list before we go on a lovely ramble. Are you not happy with tiers? You don't do tiers in
Well,
Crix, do you?
I do, but I don't.
You do and you don't.
I'm playing Body and Soul at the moment, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, when you finally sent me the right version of it.
Wait, I've got about 7 different versions of the same net list.
Okay, so, Steph, if you want to just go through the tier benefits and stuff for us.
So, tier 1, obviously,
Use the rubbish from the top.
all the rubbish at the top, Bane Riders, Mechanothralls, Soul Hunters, blah, blah. Crix. Benefit is field allowance of Soul Hunter units goes up by 1.
That's pretty
That's not
darn
very
good.
nice.
It's not very nice.
That's not very nice at all.
If the army includes 1 or more cavalry units, so it's not forcing you to take 2 Soul Hunter units, you get +1 on the starting roll. If the army includes 3 or more solos gain advanced deployment.
That's pretty good.
And tier 4, if the army includes 2 or more warjacks with soul drive, Joe will be able to help us out on which jacks have soul
Yeah,
drive.
that's true.
Reduce the point cost of jacks with soul drive by 1.
Right. What's your first initial thoughts, guys, on these tier benefits? I think Tier 2's awesome. I even think Tier 1's great because Soul Hunters are
Tier
not
1
amazing.
is really good. It means that instead of taking one large unit, you can just take 2 min units. It's a good use of points, and they collect souls as well, so it all helps her.
It's all very soul based, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing soul drive means that the Warjack gathers soul.
Just trying to think
Yeah.
which. Because let's use the magic.
We're going to use the magic of technology.
The magic of the
Don't bother.
technology.
Barathram's got it.
Oh, Barathram's got it.
Yeah, I think it's just the
Allocated
Seaver
one additional
statue.
focus point during your control phase.
Yeah, it's the Seaver.
So Seavers, so the Seavers do that.
Seaver Inflictor that doesn't exist, and the Baratheon.
Okay.
But there are a lot of jacks in there that also have.
I think one thing that stands out to me more than anything is a Tier 3 benefit, because obviously solos gain advanced deployment.
Yeah.
Those soul trappers are solos, right?
Yeah.
That's freaking mental and what they do, which we'll get to in a bit, is filth.
But I don't think they have a great deal of protection.
Okay.
And this army, I'd say it doesn't look after them very well. From what, like, you got Bane Riders, so you can have 3 units of cavalry in this list. Mechanothrall's cheap, but without the Necrosurgeons, they're not very good. With the Shadows, beautiful. I don't know why they put the Wraith Engine in it. Well, I do.
It's because yeah, see,
Because
shining
it's
a
a
turd.
thing.
Yeah, man.
It's a thing.
Bring it back.
It's a thing.
The thing is, though, potentially very fast list.
Yeah.
Hey, broski.
Lots of cavalry.
Oh, good.
Denegra herself is fast. Advanced deploy on the solos, pushing her up the board.
It's all good, right? It's all good.
But yeah, it's like Soul Hunters speed 8, Riders speed 7. It's a fast list, and having advanced deploying pistol wraiths is quite nice. That's speed 7.
Shit, that's actually really good.
Scarlock, he will never go.
No,
he'd
he's
never
yeah,
advance
no.
deploy. But it's basically saying take pistol wraiths, take soul trappers, and get them forward.
pretty
Screen
good.
them with your 3 units of cavalry.
That are amazing.
2 units.
3.
Yeah, but
Because
You can have Bane Riders and 2 units of Soul Hunters. Why wouldn't you?
Doesn't mean you have to, or you've
You
got the
do.
points for it.
That's all the units you've got.
You couldn't tell
You've
that
got
we're
four-
bitter about
You've
this
got
show.
4 units. It's not bitter. It's comical.
Okay, so what we're going to say is we'll leave Denny, but oh my god, Denny
Delicious.
is delicious. Oh my gosh. Right. We're gonna move straight into our next bad boy. Oh, Sonny.
What's this for? Say hello, Sonny.
Say hello, Sonny. How's it going?
Have a look at the camera.
The camera
camera's
right there. Go make your appearance.
Hey, look.
So, character Helljack called, I want to say Baratheon, is that right?
I can't read.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with it. Well, I'm going to say
It's Game of Thrones. Barathrum.
Barathrum. Okay, so we can't get that stuck in.
Barathrum.
I will definitely butcher this name if I ever play against this on a battle report.
It's
So-
alright. I'll wait till battle reports tell me what it is on the internet.
Hey, I do
I'll
it
go
all the
with the
time.
American version.
I do it all the time. So, his general stats are Speed 6, Strength 10, Mat 8, which is pretty nice, Mat 8. Rat 5,
Delicious.
Defense
I want this in
13,
me.
Armor 17. Both his talons, which are his left and right weapons, are Power Strength 17, and his tusks, which are Power 12. He has Advanced Deployment, he's Terror, he has Countercharge, which is a nice little thing. He has, Countercharge, Dig In for a star action, and he has Drag Below, which I think Drag Below is a fantastic rule. During this model's activation, immediately after resolving an attack in which he boxes an enemy living character, this model can use Drag Below. The box model is removed from the game, and this model can immediately make a full advancement, then dig in special action, then he ends. So kill an annoying solo, and then go, scurry. It's great.
Pretty much.
Awesome.
Defense 17, armor 17 is a thing.
That is a thing.
Well, it's great.
While
It's
dug
good.
in, he gets +4.
It's good.
This kind of reminds me of Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd.
But he has. This is why it gets interesting. Soul Drive, which we mentioned, so
Yeah,
seems pretty nice with Denny 3. But then he's also got Special Issue Terminus.
Which
He's a
means
character.
nothing.
He's a character, so he can't be in Denny 3's
Okay, so yeah, he can't be in the tier list.
Especially if issue Terminus is character Jack, he can be in Terminus.
And this guy can be bonded if you want to take him with Terminus.
It means nothing.
It means 4 focus, right?
It means
really?
it costs more than any Jack that Terminus would take.
We mentioned he's got advanced deployment.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got advanced deployment and terror.
Yeah.
I like this guy. On paper, he looks great.
Him next to Def Jack.
Exactly, that's the
Advanced
biggest thing.
deploying deliciousness.
Also feedback. Don't forget feedback.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
feedback.
that's
So
true.
the Scars will love him.
So the thing is, this guy is great, and what I've heard on other podcasts and stuff, people just don't see.
Don't
you won't
understand
see him.
it.
And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this guy is gold.
Honestly,
He's awesome.
Well, they have.
I don't.
You know, he's gold in the picture.
He is
You are
literally
right.
bling. He is great. Look at him. He's got Shovel Knight fists.
I've not listened to anybody else's podcast because I think they're all mental.
That's all good joke.
Oh, it's like I listen to Chain Attack occasionally, and sometimes the crazy American accent doesn't kill me. But apart from that,
I'm going to just say this disclaimer: the opinions of other people do not discourage Bleach Up Production.
I pay for this. I pay to listen to their podcast, so
Oh, okay, that's good.
I'm happy with them. It's just
Chain Attack, we love you. Keep up the good work.
stop playing Signal.
Okay, so overall then, I like this guy a lot. I don't know why he's getting a lot of shit. I think he's fantastic.
I think he's
It's
amazing.
probably the same old story for the points. People would rather take something else.
He's at 10 points. That is kind
10
of
points.
costly.
Okay, so what you got to remember is you look at all the other armies and they don't have the array of character Jacks that Cricks do. Because we have Erebus, we have Malice, we have Nightmare, we have Death Jack, we have Cankerworm, and now this guy.
And he will be above a fair few of those, right?
He's getting into Death Jack Nightmare realms.
Okay.
I think if you're going to spend the points, he might be worth it more than Nightmare now.
Okay.
Nightmare is a fast Jack with reach, and I think if I could I'd take him over Nightmare.
Cool. That's really interesting to hear that.
I would,
Because Nightmare's awesome.
But also I think he'd work really well with Arcos and being Jack Marshall with him.
Okay.
So you've got Stealth Jack Marshall running around with him. Well, not Jack Marshall, Mini Caster.
Yeah.
Running around with him, and then you've got your Caster with Death Jack and Nightmare.
Me not being a Crick player, so correct me if I'm wrong, but this guy seems like he does a lot more than Nightmare.
Nightmare has prey, he's fast, he sits at the back and waits for his target.
Okay.
This guy could get involved.
I really like this guy. I really do.
I think him teamed up with P Scar is the brokenest. Honestly, because right, so you run forward, you keep going forwards with him. He does not stop going forwards. When he gets to their army, you want Scar to feet.
Yep.
So if they move something, countercharge. He gets to eat it a bit, but he'll be defense 13 after the countercharge, but be armor 23. Armor 23 Jacks don't die too easily.
No, they don't. I know all about that high heavy armor arcade. It takes a lot.
Armor 23 is fine.
Nothing wrong with Ruin.
But yeah, I really like this Jack.
Sweet.
And with the Scars again, they have feedback as a spell, so you can put it on a Jack. So if he and that spell get involved, you're doing 2 points of damage every time you do damage to the Jack rather than one.
Sweet. I like it. I have to agree with you, Joe. I like your whole opinion that you would take it over Nightmare. I think that's really interesting to hear.
I personally would, yes.
All in
Right.
all, a good Jack. The only thing you didn't get with Terminus is that you can focus.
You don't play Terminus.
You don't play for
Jack.
Terminus or Jax. He's a Jack killer within himself. I gain souls. All of you, basically, is what he's saying. Right. So the Cephalix is the next bit. Is that right? I'm saying it right. The
Sepulture.
Sepulture. See, I
That
can't even
sounds
get that.
about right.
Sepulture. This guy is, I think, seeing the model in the lovely little pre-release we saw at Lock and was it Log Unload, and then they released it. Smogcon was Gargantuous, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't.
So that one.
One of the
One of the things
thing
before.
on the
Yeah.
internet.
The thing on the internet, like Privacy Press does.
Yeah,
These
those
guys showed this model, and I wasn't too keen on the model because it looks like something very boring. But the rules,
It's a
have me intrigued.
Kraken. It makes sense where, let's say, the wars that have happened in this world. They have taken a tank chassis and then changed it
Okay.
to suit its needs, and that's what they've done with all the Colossals. They've gone, these guys make this thing,
Okay.
and we'll just adapt it to do something else. And it looks like a Kraken, which is maybe the biggest
But the thing
problem
is with me is it looks like a Kraken, but the weapons on it look like vacuum cleaners. That's the only one problem I have problems with. It's like Dyson. This thing looks like a vacuum cleaner. That's the problem. I'm not even getting paid to plug Dyson, but it looks like a Dyson Hoover.
But you
Get a free Dyson because of this. Yeah. True. Okay, so this bad boy, speed 5, strength 15, mat 6, rat 5, defense 10, armor 19. His gun, which is the Desolator.
It's
What's so what? AoE 5 is a good thing.
crit paralysis.
Yeah.
That's this is a first thing for me, because
That's
I just saw it
freaking
as an
awesome.
18-point necrosurgeon,
Yes. Okay.
which made me incredibly happy, because what Crix needed was another necrosurgeon.
that costs 18 points.
Well, it doesn't matter that it costs 18 points, because now we're not paying the 19 points for a Kraken instead. So we've got an 18-point one. So I've saved a point.
I love how you just thrown the
more
Kraken
stuff.
to the walls. It's like the Kraken's really nice.
it's
Even
not that.
you
It's
even
not
have
that.
your
It's
nice
Kraken.
one.
I've got 2 of them.
You have a real nice one, and I thought for a second you were just like, yeah, and this guy's way better. I was like, what? There, the crit
No, I work for
paralysis.
Morrison's, that was
So
enough.
looking at this, a crit paralysis on an AoE 5 is pretty horrific.
It's hilarious. What are you doing? Well, these Mechanothrals can hit something now.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. I really, really like this. But yeah, what we were saying was the necro industry, industrial or
Yeah.
whatever it is you can remove a corpse token and just add a friendly Mechanothral.
Yeah, you can have up to 3 Mechanothrals, or spend 3 and get yourself a Brute. And now, when you're adding a Brute Thrall to a unit, trying to kill a unit is quite difficult now, because that Brute Thrall could be added to behind this creature. So now you can't kill that unit off.
Hold a minute. So it's either 1 soul for a mechanical,
One
3 for a brute.
For a brute.
3 for a brute is awesome.
You can't see me on the camera, guys.
But it says placed in formation. So yeah, you could be behind stuff in the back. Oh, bugger off. That's great. It's like the Gobbers, but worse. Because it's a brute thrall.
What are you doing, Mel? I'll make a guy and put him here. I'll make another guy, put him here, and make another guy and put him here.
Deal.
They're all part of that unit, and that unit. Kill the unit if you want. We'll just make 9 next turn.
But the thing is, that's just his one weapon. His other weapon, Spiker, has
yeah.
Burst Fire, which is gain 1,
Which
plus 1
is
to...
very good.
Which is really good. It's plus 1 to damage rolls against models with medium base, and 2 against large.
base.
And he has 2 of them, for both of them rate of fire 2, and they're power 13.
Yep.
Pretty darn good.
And he can fire into his back arc. So there's no escaping his shooting anymore.
Yeah, because he's got swivel. Jesus, this thing's awesome. I honestly thought exactly what you said. I was
comical.
like, look at it, it was like, yeah, it's just a factory. It's just going to be like, regurgitate and give birth to shit.
Yeah, but
Like
no.
that really disgusting Alpha
I can't wait to make
Audi
one.
Commercial.
Because I had a conversion for my second Kraken.
Yeah, the Shao one, which
Actually,
looks
let's rephrase
awesome.
that. Let's rephrase that. I had a conversion for my third Kraken. Because I was going to sell the first one to create the third one. But now I'm going to sell the first one to create this.
Okay, so we're looking at this, and how would you convert it before we move on then? I'm
Pirate
curious.
ship.
Really?
Pirate ship.
Cool.
Pirate ship with shark head.
That's cool. You need to do that.
Mate, that's
It's
freaking
happening.
mental.
Because I've got crab.
That's mental.
I've got crab Kraken.
He's
Now
talking
I
about
need
this. I'm probably
pirate
going to
ship,
ask for
right.
photos so you can see his crab Kraken. It is
you can
legit.
have that.
It is great. Scary good. So we're happy with this thing.
Oh,
this
you-
is
you-
freaking
yeah,
awesome.
you've-
Oh, have I
we've not
glossed
even
over?
done the
Have I
melee
glossed over?
weapons yet.
Oh bloody
Oh.
hell! Let's do the melee weapons then. I just want to
So,
gloss over it because I
you've
know
got-
it's good.
You've got 2 open fists, which are a joy. Then you've got chain weapons. Oh wait, chain strike.
All I'm saying
So
is
you've got chain strike. So you've got 4-inch reach, which is the thing.
The Hoover arms.
the Hoover arms.
Both fists and chains.
That's what I mean. There, they suck them up. Dyson, mate. Dyson.
then you've got your chain weapons, so you ignore shields.
Yep.
And shield wall.
Yeah.
Bad shit.
And-
Fine,
and
Iron
then-
Fangs are
and
gone
then-
now.
Then,
They're
then,
just
then
turds.
just pull. So if I hit you and don't kill you, you're now in base to base with me. No, it'll
That's
be
amazing.
equal.
That really does fudge
Smaller
over.
base.
I could see this really hurting a Butcher 3
Smaller,
list.
equal or smaller.
This could really
Equal or
hurt
smaller, yeah.
any kind of list.
So come here, machine engine.
So he just pulls them in. So you could break up the fun. Got a shield wall of jacks
Here's my
like
shield wall.
of Butcher, just like I'll bring in this jack, and oh, there's Butcher. I'll bring you in for some tastiness, and let everyone else smash. That's scary.
But it also means that you can now pull stuff out of shield wall. So say you've got
Black Dragons. We'll use Black Dragons.
No, because they're rubbish.
What?
They've only got one wound. I'm thinking like bigger, like Shatrati.
Oh yes, to try. Okay.
So they're 8 boxes, shield wall with defender's ward, so they're like armor
Ridiculous,
bajillion, and they're set up so if you take 2 of them out, it ruins their world.
Yeah, that's true. So this really hurts Fist of Halak a little bit, maybe as well. It's pretty interesting.
No, because nothing hurts that.
Nothing hurts that.
Nothing hurts that.
Violin's still being played because we still can't
Well,
solve
no,
the puzzle.
I've actually
of
not played
Fist.
it. That's my biggest problem.
Okay.
I've not played it with my cricks. So.
This thing's gold. This thing's awesome.
But the only problem is, I may be the only person to actually buy Fist of the Lack, so I can't play myself.
That came out so wrong at the same
No,
time.
no.
I can't play with myself.
No, I never said that.
With his fist.
I can't play myself.
Right. I'm glad that you like it. I really like
I
it.
like most stuff in this book.
It's freaking awesome. Right. Okay. There's only 2 more to go.
Yep.
Now, this thing. I'm not 100% sold on this.
Circle are hating me for it.
Why?
Because they got the Trample Griffin, which does... I don't know which Griffin it is. One of the
Some
Griffins
sort of
that
Griffin.
Trample that does the exact same thing.
Okay.
And Crix didn't need it.
Right.
But we have it.
So, this is the Shrike, right?
Yes.
And basically, speed 7, strength 7, mat 7, rat 4, defense 16, armor 13. His beak, his beak. Power 4, power strength 11.
he does have a
And then, he has got a beak.
Somehow.
I know.
I
It
thought they
doesn't
just
show in the
both
artwork
wings.
that well, but he has. And then he's got wing blades, which are power 4, strength 11. He's got, not a lot of damage boxes, because obviously he's a light.
He's a light.
And then he's 4 points cost, and field allowance U. Now, the problem is, for 4 points, in a bone jack,
It's standard. The other flying jack we've got is 4 points, and that's got finisher. We can have Arc Nose 4 points. Generally, it's what we spend our 4 points on. Montenegro will like these because she's fun.
yeah. Because honestly, looking at it, it has flight, but Blade Rush seems like a really cool ability it has. He has powered attack tramples, which is fun. He's got Threshing Blades, which is this model can make add this weapon's power to its trample power attack, which is pretty cool. But the problem is I see, like, my first initial thought on this is in super competitive fun Crix list, you might not see in this play because you would rather take a 4-point arc node. That's my first initial
The
thought.
thing is, there's a lot of casters which literally spend their jack points because they have to.
Okay.
So you've got Terminus. He will generally spend his points on a 4-point jack of some description.
Okay.
And it generally isn't an arc node. It's
Rich runs the Spitter one, the one that just you can turn a spit into an AoE thing.
yeah.
That thing. Whatever it's called.
Scar 1 doesn't really care for him either because she makes troops so unbelievably amazing. So she'll spend her 6 points on 2 Helldivers, or
Cool.
I like putting her with Kenkuan. That's just me. Aphixius 2, he'll happily just walk around with 2 Helldivers, but occasionally it's worth putting a Arc Node in with him. But
Yep.
no, I think he is really good.
Yeah.
I would use him in a few of my lists, but now he's out, the strike's out.
Yeah.
If I get 2 of them and pair him with my 2,
Other pigeons.
just trying to think what they're called now, scavengers.
Yeah.
I can now play my Epic Scar list.
Okay.
which will make most people cry if they leave enough room for me to get all 4 jacks around the kata and feet.
Okay. Right. So he's all right. Shrike's pretty good.
It's a thing.
Yeah, he's all right. But the last thing we're going to finish on was
Soul
this is the thing. This was made for Denny 3, I think. This was
it was
the first
made for
thing that
Denny
came
3.
in. It was made for Denny 3.
It was made for Denny 3, but then you realise how much you can do with
Other
the
things.
rest of your
Yeah.
army,
It's
where
crazy.
you've got all the jacks that have soul capability. So even Death Jack gets to use them.
Yeah.
Death Jack getting more souls for the sake of it.
Jesus.
Oh look, Death Jack's a bit knackered. Well, what I'll do is I'll pass him 3 souls. Oh look, what I'll do is I'll do 3d6 heals this turn straight away because he's gained souls and that's how he can spend them.
Yeah.
If he doesn't spend them immediately, then he turns into focus next turn.
This. I don't know. For 1 point, this might be the best 1 point model in the game now.
It's not.
Half a point.
It's good.
It's
It's half. I'll take 2 for 1 point. Okay, so this
Half
is
a
half.
point.
This is its own category. It's half a point for 1 then.
Half a point. It's not quite scrap rules, but it does so much work.
So yeah. So basically, Soul Trapper, Speed 5, Strength 4, Mat 5, Rap 3, Defense 11, Armor 12. He has an attack which is Power Strength.
You wouldn't
8.
use.
No. Field allowance 3 of these guys, so you can have 6 of them for 3 points, and they're small base. So Soul Collector we've talked. He's undead, and then Soul Transference, which we mentioned about we could do for Death Jack. Yeah. This thing is bonkers
It's
awesome.
funny because you could chain it down the entire table.
Mm-hmm.
So one could pass to his mate next to him, and he could pass it down and down and down, and pass them to whoever they need to be at that point in time.
Okay. Now, with the artwork, would you like the model to look exactly like the artwork? Like holding a ball of some sort of souls and then a soul in his arm? Would you like that sort of kind of pose? That would look freaking awesome.
It would look pretty amazing. I'd like it to look like that, yes.
It
I
would
can
look pretty
see
cool.
them doing that without the souls.
Yeah, just doing it like that, and then you
they'd
can do
most
it.
probably do it with because they did the remodel of Gatsby.
Yeah, I
It's
know
not
they,
Gatsby.
they have done that, but
Bash.
Goreshade.
Goreshade.
Goreshade, and then you've got Epic Gatsby with all the fly souls around him.
It wasn't really.
They did that shit with Malice as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
and
I mean, I did say
Death
that because they wouldn't be able to do the souls. It was more I just think that they would keep it without the souls. I don't know why.
I reckon they'd do the ones in the chest. I think
That's what
the
I'm thinking,
hands
and the
will be
hands one will be an
the
optional
hands
thing.
will be empty.
Like similar to going to a different franchise here, Metroid. Do you think they bring out some kind of plastic see-through, like green?
That'd be
No,
awesome,
because
but never happened.
they seem to be working
So
on their
really
crazy.
cheesy.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
it was an idea.
So, overall then, we'll just wrap it up here, because we're almost at 40 minutes, which I want to do for each faction, which is actually pretty darn good. We've done pretty well for the first segment.
About this whole. You got to do Sigma.
I know. But hey, so Cricks overall, I
So
think
Cricks
Cricks
win wrecking, right?
Yeah, dear God.
we-
I don't know. I
we do
said,
incredibly well
I said to Kurt that I don't think there's any real winners. I think each faction got something that amazing, but it seems that Crick's got a lot of amazing.
Crick's got some good stuff. The spoilers. Retribution.
What do you think, Joe? Because of there's other mercs in here that could be taken. I know we're going to get to that.
Oh look, another Crick's.
I know
unit.
another great unit. The Mutineers and
More critics.
but yeah, what do you think overall? Overall opinion on Reckoning's
I am
Cricks thing?
so incredibly happy with this book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost faith when they brought Scavrous out because he was awful, and then I started using him and learned that he needs to hide. And all I'm waiting for again is the Inflictor, but to use any other caster but the ones I'm using at the moment.
Cool.
But no, I really like this. Can't wait for our new character Jack.
Sweet.
I'm on that. I am on that.
Steph, what do you think?
Like I said, I think they win the book, but I think everybody's really happy with this book.
Yeah.
Regardless of faction.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
I think it's going to be one of those books that are going to change a lot of things in everybody's meta.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really, really
going to
good.
turn it right
Really
upside
good.
down.
Sweet.
But yeah, I do like all of the Crick stuff,
Like-
and to the point where I'm tempted to start.
Yeah, I know. Looking at this is like kind of like licking my lips, trying to do some Cricks, but I've already committed to filthy
no,
swans, so I'm unfortunate.
Cricks have the shortest learning curve because most shit acting is run at them.
Run, die.
Run, die,
Bring it all
bring
back
it
to
all
life.
back, yeah. It's all good. So that was Critics, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and following next will be some sort of other faction. But thanks, Joe. Thanks, Steph, for coming and hanging out. And yeah, as we say, the tournament's still going on, so we're gonna. Looks like we're gonna make out then. The tournament's still going on. The tournament's still going on, so we're gonna drop in and out with new people and stuff. But yeah, so that was the first
tournament
segment. I know, fancy that. I didn't bring anything, so.
Do you want to use cricks?
And we'll leave it at that. What's up, guys? We are here at Retribution, here on the Reckoning Overview, and you know, we've got another special guest in because we've seen the Fat Cats guys, we've had Kevin Bryant on, and hopefully I won't get done for copyright infringement for saying this, but we are with the co-host with a mo-host right now, Mr. John Spencer. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good. How's it going?
Oh, I'm super excited that I can get to interview you and get your thoughts on Retribution, mate.
Yeah, I'm good. Glad to be on.
It's really awesome because I've been a couple of times on your show, I believe, as a guest on Painting with Menoth John on the Muse on Minis network, and it's been an absolute blast, whether it was just talking about horrific movies or promoting a scenario I was doing. Yeah.
That's right. You're responsible for Robot Jocks, aren't you?
Yes, I am responsible for Robot Jocks. How much hate did that movie get, John? Was it pretty bad, or was everyone...
Well, I don't think anyone truly hates that movie.
I like it. I'm glad, because I think you and me have a lot in common when it comes to bad movies. We like watching horrific movies, I think.
Absolutely. That one had a soft spot in my heart, and I couldn't find it again on YouTube or anything. It got taken down before I got to watch it all. But
oh man,
the little bits I got to watch, I'm like, it does not hold up to my memory. It's probably for the best to just watch the highlights or lowlights, if you will, and went with that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a perfect movie. Let's just put it blunt like that. But it's got some great, hilarious, should we say, guys in robots fighting. That's all you need to know, guys. Go watch it. It's
absolutely.
It's educational. We can say that.
It's a piece of cinema history.
Yeah, we can call it. I like that, John. It's a piece of cinema history. I like that.
It is.
Okay, so John, just before we started recording, you said you've just recently started playing Mercs, but I know your background's a little bit in Retribution, correct?
Yeah, actually, they were my first faction when I jumped into Warmachine after my Games Workshop days. Right before Wrath came out, maybe like 2 months before Wrath came out, the Minions book had just come out. I got to jump into to Warmachine because I no longer work for Games Workshop. There was no point in buying their models anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably a good point. You know, you probably got a huge discount on those models as well, didn't you?
Holy moly! Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. That's definitely going to be put on the soundboard as holy moly. That needs to be in a soundboard.
Like, honestly, a huge discount will make up for a lot of failings in a game.
Yeah, that is true. And that's why I loved Warmachine so much, because of the price. I do like some 40k stuff, but the problem is it's way too expensive. Sad pandas. But we're not here to talk about Games Workshop. We're here to talk about Reckoning. And we're going to kick it off with, like I said again, John, off microphone, we're going to talk about Thyron here. And I said the model from the preview we saw on PP and at Lock and Load and stuff, it looks very Infinity, I thought.
Yeah, it kind of does, but like I said, I think it actually is a bit more of the paint scheme they did. I'm waiting for one of my locals to get done painting his and see what it looks like there to make my final opinion. But if not, we'll convert something. We do a lot of that locally. Okay.
We do a lot of local conversions. I like that. It's like a conversion chop shop. Is that basically what you've got going, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Last Sunday, I was just sitting here chatting with a guy and realized I hated the way the Renegade model looks, so I started taking it apart and putting it together with other parts.
Nice.
We'll do that all the time.
Awesome. So it's like kind of like a Pimp My Jack series. You should so do that, John. There we go. That's it. Pimp My Jack. So we're going to take out the Tashi. I like that. Pimp My Warjack. There we go. With Mr. John Spencer. Yeah, there we go. That's the next internet show, I tell you. Okay, so Thyron's Sword of Truth. His stats go as follows: Speed 6, Strength 7, Mat 7, Rat 5, Defense 15, Armor 16, Command 9. His lovely blade, which is, I believe, I'm gonna butcher names, so hopefully, is it Remembrance?
It is.
Yes, get in. All right, Power 6, Power Strength 13. Well, if it was 16, that would be bonkers. 13, sorry. Focus 6, Damage Boxes, he has 18. He has 5 War Jack points, and he is a medium base. Thyron actually has Blade Shield, which means this model gains +2 defense against ranged attack rolls. That's pretty darn good. He has Field Marshal Cleave. Now, models in this models battle group gain cleave. Holy cow! Like I was saying to John off air, was most of this book I've not looked at, and I've gone straight in with just like I don't want to know nothing about this book. And by God, gaining cleave, that's pretty brutal. And when
it is.
Oh my gosh, gaining cleave, that is ridiculous. That's fantastic. And then he's got is that Reposit, or how do you pronounce that?
Riposte.
Riposte. So when this model is missed by an enemy melee attack, immediately after this attack is resolved, it can make one normal melee attack against the attacking model. That is awesome. Holy cow. That is awesome. And his blade, Remembrance, is a magical weapon. It's reach, and he's a weapons master. What the heck? Just reading those stats before we get into the feats and spells, John. Holy cow, this guy's awesome.
He is. He's got good survivability because he's got his def is sneakily higher than you think because of Blade Shield. And Riposte means if you just take pot shots at him in melee, you're probably going to start losing models for taking chunks.
Yeah, that is true. If you've not got high hitting mat models, goodbye, because this guy's probably going to cleave you down. No pun intended there, because he has Field Marshal Cleave. Goodness gracious.
And that's actually really good with Ret 2, the cleave, because they have a lot of jacks with reach, and just a free extra attack. Sometimes it's what you need.
Oh my gosh, that just makes Ret Drax a little bit more scary. Oh my gosh, yeah, because a lot of your jacks do have reach, don't they? Like the Phoenixes and. Oh my gosh, this is bananas. That's really good. Having cleave just as a field mark, that is retribution. Oh my gosh, man. This is what I like not to hear. I'm like, man, I'm never going to touch retribution. Now I look at this guy and I'm like, maybe. It's like the same with Menoth. I was like, I'm never going to touch Menoth. And, Durst came out and I'm like, I might touch Menoth now. This is bad. But no, he looks pretty legit, bro. Just by his general stats and some of those things. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Right, so, John, I'll let you go through his feat and his spells then, pal. So let's do his feat first then.
Alright, his feat is Blades of Vengeance. And it reads as Thyron and friendly faction models beginning their activation in Thyron's control area gain an additional die on melee attack rolls and sidestep, which is really cool.
Okay, that's bananas.
Like, it's been pointed out that actually Thyron could charge someone, hit them with the initial attack, sidestep off of that because of the feat, then get the cleave attack. No sidestep off of that, unfortunately, because it's an additional attack. But that's still 2 inches further in. So if you're going after a caster, you just lose you don't even really lose anything except one boost on a damage roll, because you charge a model, boom, sidestep into their caster, and then go to town.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this guy hits hard. I've been doing that recently with Kai the Eliminator's sidestepping is so good. Oh my gosh, but. Holy cow. Is that so basically his friendly warrior faction model, so it can be his jacks as well have sidestep?
Correct, yeah, it's all just friendly faction, doesn't have to be warriors.
Imperatus just got more scarier. That's ridiculous.
He actually already has sidestep, but the boosted attack rolls is legit.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I'm scared of this guy already.
Plus cleave giving him an extra attack. I mean, honestly, Imperatus used to be he's got to go with Vyros 2 or maybe Ron. Now it's like, maybe he's got to go with Thyron.
Yeah, but that's it. I think that's going to be a really interesting point, especially when you put up Masters lists and stuff and you have to pick lists where to put jacks like we said, Imperatus is money with Vyros 2. It's just synergy on him is just bonkers. But he could be really good with Thyron as well, so it would be really interesting to see if this guy gets table time in Ret tournaments. So hopefully we'll see him on the table. I really think we will. I think.
Yeah, we should. He's got a good different skills and spell set that I think will really help.
Okay, so I'm going to call it out now because I know a lot of the guys from my local club are playing it. If we do a journeyman, guys, I'm going to do Retribution and I will do Thyron, guaranteed. Oh my days! Oh, I threw myself in there. So let's go straight into the spells then, John.
All right, his first spell is one that you'll know well. It's a sail. I believe that's on one of the Vlads.
Yes, I'm Vlad too.
Yeah, and it's cost 3, range 6, upkeep. That target friendly faction Warjack can charge or make slam or trample power attacks without spending focus. And the Warjack gains +2 movement when it charges or makes a slam or trample power attack. And models slammed by this Warjack are moved +2 inches.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I'll call out real quick that actually does work with the Banshee's gun, per the most recent ruling on the PP forums.
Okay.
So if you shoot a medium base for smaller model with the Banshee's gun, it will go 2 extra inches if it has a sail on it.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's kind of sneaky.
That is sneaky.
It's a good spell in general. When I first read it, I didn't give it much credence. Then I realized it was an upkeep, and I'm like, never mind. That spell's awesome.
Yeah, that's true. It is pretty good. Man, they have a sale now in Retribution. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yepers. And then the next one's Ground Zero, which is one near and dear to my heart as a Mad Hammer lover. It costs 3, it's range self. It's an AoE 5, POW 13. And basically, you center that AoE 5 on Thyron, and each other model in the AoE is hit and suffers a POW 13 damage roll, and then anyone who's damaged is pushed D6 inches directly away from him. In the order of my choice.
So my quick question then about this is, it just says is hit, so you don't have to roll any dice, you just automatically hit.
Nope, just auto hit.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's a good sneaky way to charge into a ton of dudes and just kill a whole bunch of them. Especially if you get a bunch of dudes with like a jack or something hard, so you can Ground Zero, maybe not push the jack back, kill a bunch of dudes, and then get sidestepped from your feet or something off the jack and start going deeper in.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that is... Wow, goodbye, defense ridiculousness. I can auto-hit you, that's mental.
Yeah, I've won a couple games off of Ground Zero pushing something crazy like Rias or something away from me.
Man, this makes all high defensive models cry, especially Nis hunters. Like the first thing springs to my mind, oh, you're not going to hit my defense, but oh my gosh, they're all dead because they're only armor 11.
or even the much dreaded Ironflesh Kayazi.
That is true. Well,
but he's got other things for that. More on that a little bit later.
Yeah, he has.
The next one is Onslaught, which seems to be the spell du jour for this particular cycle.
Yeah, there's like Onslaught. They're just like, this seems a popular spell right now. Let's just give it away freely.
But the factions that got it needed it, to be honest.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a cost 2 range self control area. That's an upkeep. And it's friendly faction models beginning a charge in this model's control area gain Pathfinder during the charge.
Pretty good.
And quite honestly, that was what Retribution needed. It does not have a dearth of Pathfinder, mostly only on the Mage Hunters, and being able to have Sentinels or Halberdiers with Pathfinder is really good.
I don't know. Like, my personal opinion on Onslaught is, we're seeing it a lot. Is that because Bradigus is out and he just pops loads of stuff like rough terrain and forests everywhere, so you can't actually physically get to the targets? Is that? I think that might be the reasoning why we're seeing Onslaught everywhere right now.
I think it's actually a little deeper. I think it's because it's a good way to give Pathfinder to a faction without making it excessive, if you will. You know, it's not like, oh, your whole control area gets Pathfinder. Look at the Virus 2 has Easy Rider, or whatever it is, the one that gives his entire, all his models in his control area Pathfinder.
Yeah. But
it's so expensive it never gets cast.
No.
And this is just only on charges, but, it's an upkeep, so we were more likely to have it out. It's a good, effective way to give a little bit of Pathfinder to an army.
Yeah, that is true. And you can see this being especially cast just before you pop your feet. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Actually, honestly, I'd probably put it out first turn if I felt like I had the ability to.
Okay.
Maybe if I'm not casting a sail or I'm not starting off with a Storm Rager, and just pop that and leave it out there, because sometimes just charging rather than running can be better.
Yeah.
Like, I can just see that guy, I'm going to charge and get the extra movement and get the Pathfinder.
Okay. Oh boy. Now, this is the spell I wish
Zakova 2 had, but hey,
Oh,
that would have been amazing. But hey, nevertheless, what's this spell, John?
Spell Piercer,
Oh.
which I think we first saw on Jaga Jaga.
Yeah.
And it's a cost 2 self control area spell. And it's while within this model's control area, friendly faction models / units weapons gain weapon, magical weapon, and blessed, and it lasts for 1 round. So now it seems kind of counterintuitive in rep because you're like, oh well, your mage hunters do that anyways. Yeah, they do, but the jacks don't. The riflemen don't. You know, the invictors don't. The stormfalls don't. Putting that on everybody is really good.
Yeah, that is bananas. Oh, if only.
Like-
right, I'm praying Zakova 3 has this. This will be phenomenal. This will be great. Oh, we need this in Kador. It'll be great. It'll be broken, but it'll be great.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it makes a lot of those Menoth and Signar players cry.
Oh yeah, it does.
I mean, especially Signar players who love to rely on their arcane shield on something to just put it over the top. Suddenly, I don't care about it, and I'm going to kill your, Storm Lances or whatever you have it on with ease.
Yeah.
Or your Giant Jack isn't nearly as threatening anymore because this is on my caster. I spend 2, and everyone gets it on all their weapons.
It'll be so interesting to see what kind of lists are built, especially with just knowing that you have that and a few other spells in his arsenal. Man, it'll be really interesting to see the lists.
It's also really good against the new Haley 3 everyone's raging about.
Oh, she's phenomenal. I was kind of scared when we broke her down in the Signar part of this lovely long video, and I was kind of like, man, she is bananas. But hey,
she's really good, and it's good to have a way to deal with her without having to resort to the standard snipe feet go, which honestly leaves a bad taste in some people's mouths.
yeah, I completely agree. It definitely does. Okay, so the final spell then, John.
The final spell, which I think is the most impressive spell on his list, is Storm Rager. And it's a 2-cost ranged ship, 6 upkeep, and its target friendly faction warrior model gains +2 strength, mat, and armor, and also cannot be targeted by combined range attacks or combined melee attacks.
Wow.
And that is so good on so many of our solos. It's crazy.
Let's think. I think the first thing that comes to my mind that scares the bejesus out of me is those lovely assassins, God damn it, they will be from downtown. Just ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
Yep, Mat 9, POW 11, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh.
And then you next level it, you've got Dester Thanes who are pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got the Fane Knight, Scareth Iscian. He is crazy good with it.
Oh my gosh.
You get the Mage Hunter, the Magisters.
Okay.
The small mittens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
solos.
small mittens.
Those guys are great with it because they can combo slam, and that's pretty good. Or combo smite. It's a good combo with them, making them I think mat 8 or 9.
Yeah. But I assume because it says friendly faction warrior model, so it's not a unit. But I guess you can target single ones of those, right?
Oh yeah, actually, a good thought is to put it on Eris 3 in a unit of
bonkers!
Mage Hunters.
Dear God, that is just because
she's got
no, that's just mental.
She's got 2 attacks with Weapon Master, and they're kind of low POW, but she gets +2 strength, making them decent POW. Gets +2 mat, putting her at about a 9-ish, and
dice spikes can happen as well, so it does come kind of scary. Oh gosh,
it's a crazy good spell. It makes the most innocuous model pretty mean. I mean, you could even put it on, a Sentinel in the middle of the Sentinels, like that one guy who's got a charge on something cool. I'm gonna make him mat 9 and POW 14 Weapon Master. Merry Christmas.
Indeed. Oh man, Thyron, this guy is. I like the phrase money. This guy's amazing.
He is.
He really is.
The only thing I don't like about him is he doesn't have a gun or a ranged spell, but Red's been sort of changing things up like that between Assyria and Thyron, so it's kind of cool to see that design space open up.
How do you see him being played then, John? Like, to me it seems, because he seems like a very in-your-face caster.
I don't think his stats are quite good enough early game to be in your face. I look at him as sort of like running midfield through most of the game until the late game hits when you're running out of things to deal with him. and then he pops Storm Rager over to himself and just starts destroying things.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Matt. Oh god, Matt 9. Oh well, yeah, he comes butcher territory with that spell almost.
He's only like 1 POW behind. Let's be honest.
He's only 1 POW behind, just like Durst. You guys, you're not as good as the butcher, but hey, you're close. That's the best way of putting it.
He's the epitome of melee killiness, so it's okay to be just a step behind him.
It is. It's true. He's probably got. He's not insane as well, so that's probably a good bonus to not have someone who's crazy in Retribution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this guy's been out for a while now, hasn't he? The next release, Moros. He's been out for a while, but he's a pretty darn good little jack, from what I hear.
Yeah, he is. He was pretty much everything rep players were hoping for from a jack.
So basically, because he's already been kind of semi-spoiled, he's been out for so long, we're just going to glance over him a little bit. John, what's the main thing about this guy which might make people want, if they're listening to this and they want to get into Retribution, which makes him stand out to other jacks then?
It's his gun.
Yeah?
We don't have a lot of lights with the guns. The only other one's a Gorgon, and his gun is kind of pathetic. This gun is kind of short range 8, but it's POW 12, but the key is it's got paralysis, so he's a combo starter. You give him 1 focus somehow, maybe an Arcanist, you pop someone with the gun, suddenly they're def 7 if they're living, and that's usually a good game.
Yeah, defense 7 is kind of sad pandas. That's pretty awesome.
No one likes that. And stealth's pretty good. He's just... I like what they're doing with the newer character jacks.
Mm-hmm.
From Imperatus to, say, Ruin and your loved Kador.
Oh, gosh, that
to this guy. They're point sufficient, but they're not like old Rowdy level of crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
You're like, I feel like that jack's worth that points, maybe 1 more. Rowdy's like, just, I'd pay 2 or 3 more points for Rowdy. He's that good.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, oh my.
I think also just having grievous wounds on your blades is pretty darn good as well. Just slightly go over that a little bit. That's pretty
yeah,
dangerous.
If you can get him in on a jack, on a beast that's lost maybe its mind or its spirit, and just pop him, just dink him with 1 of your blades, and your duelist ability making you def 14 to make you kind of hard to remove.
Yeah, this guy's
he can bat outside his weight class, as I like to say.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. That's it. Moros. And then that quote that you just said. That's it. You can write that on. That's his little banner. You should put that on his base if you have him, John. There we go. That's it.
Bats outside his weight class.
I like it. And 6 points as well. That's fantastic.
Yep. I feel like 6
really
points
good.
is like the level. Anything more than 6 points, and I don't really want to pay for a light anymore.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. I don't know. This guy... would he be worth it if he was 7? Probably not, I guess, eh?
He'd be very conditional in 7. He if you had a list for him, he'd be good, but he wouldn't be taken as frequently, I feel.
Okay.
Which means he's the exact right point cost.
Perfect. Well done, PP. Well done. 7, no one would have got him. 6, you did fantastic. Now, this guy. Now, I've said to many people, like, they've asked me, what do you think are the best things in this book? And I've said, Ruin, the Walker for Mercs, and this guy. This guy is bananas. And we're talking about Helios. But, John, I'll let you go through his stats and his bits and bobs. And, oh, God, this guy's just... Wow, yeah. He makes me want to play Retribution a little bit.
Oh, he makes me glad I do play Ret. He's his stats are the exact same as a Hyperion, so Speed 5, Mat 6, Rat 5, Def 10, Armor 19, with some asterisks we'll get to in a minute. His gun, on the other hand, they spoiled this a while ago, doesn't do damage. It's range 12, rate of fire 1, no damage at all.
Yep.
He's got 2 Inferno Fists that are both power and strength 20. He's got a standard block just like a Hyperion with a 12 shield, and then basically he and Hyperion have the most boxes of any Colossal. Sorry, Kador.
That's
close,
hey, it's perfectly fine. It's all right.
Yeah, and then he's only 17 points.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing.
You didn't think 1 point would make a difference in a Colossal, but man, it really does.
Especially with what he bloody does as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then we start off with what makes him amazing against Legion is immunity to fire, so suck it, Ravagors.
Bloody Ravagors. The pain in many people's armies.
Yeah, I heard Jake Van Meter say that Helios should not be immune to fire. I think he was a little upset.
Oh, boo-hoo.
But obviously a lot of his systems are field dependent. He comes with Force Barrier, so he doesn't suffer blast damage, which when you're armor 19 base isn't a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But the bonus part is he's +2 defense against range, making him defense 12, which is at that point where you start missing some of those shots.
Yeah, that is kind of scary, unfortunately.
Yeah, and honestly, with Colossals, you sort of rely on pinking a little bit of damage on them as you're coming in with whatever random shots you've got.
Yeah.
And missing those makes it worth.
Yeah.
But it gets worse, even.
It gets worse.
Yes. He's got Force Gate, which is... during its activation, this model can spend focus to gain abilities. It gains 1 ability per focus point spent, and the abilities last for 1 round. And he's got 3 abilities there. I'm going to run them in a different order just to
go
keep
for it.
on the right
No,
train
that's
of
perfectly
thought.
fine. Go for it.
The one I'm going to go with first is Distortion Field. This model gains +2 defense and Poltergeist.
What?
And Poltergeist is if you miss it, you get pushed back D3 inches. So, if you're keeping track, for 1 focus, it's def 14 versus shooting.
Yeah, and then if you miss, you get pushed back D3.
Which really screws up a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I've seen a lot of people playing, what's his name? The Scorncaster, whose feat does that, and it can screw up a lot of things.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And this is just an every turn ability. I'll spend it and boom. And with a couple casters, at least one, with Quicken on him from Ossian, he'll be def 16 versus shooting, and that's just not right.
And that is unfortunate. Sad pandas.
Yep. And the second one, let's go on this theme of pushing people around, is the Repulsor Field. When this model is hit with an enemy melee attack, after the attack is resolved, the attacker model is pushed 1 inch directly away from this model. So that makes him really, really hard to kill if you don't have something like Tiberian or a really good setup. Because even beat back from something like a bronze back isn't going to work, because beat back triggers first, and then you get pushed away, and then you're sad because you're out of reach.
Yeah. Sad pandas.
Yeah, so if you pop both those abilities, you know, you're def 12 against melee, which is not bad either, and if they hit you, they're getting pushed away. They miss you, they're getting pushed away.
Yeah, it is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
It really hurts stuff. It doesn't really hurt stuff with reach, but it hurts stuff like that have that, 0.5 melee. Yeah, they come in, hit you, and then they can't. If they have a second attack, they can't do it. It is kind of unfortunate.
Even the reach stuff doesn't like it because they're going to hit, get pushed back, hit again, and if they weren't in base, they're done.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they only got those 2 hits, and you're not going to kill a Colossal like this in 2 hits. It is. How tough these are to kill is really understated.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then the last ability out of this Force Gate is a little one called Broadcast Power. And it is allocate 1 focus point to each friendly Myrmidon within 3 inches of this model. And obviously it can't be allocated more than 1 focus point as a result of Broadcast Power.
Mm-hmm. But it gives, within 3 inches of this model, they all get allocated 1 point of focus.
Yes, and it does not apply to him, of course, because he's not within 3 inches of himself.
Now, do these type of jacks see a lot of table time or not?
It's hard to tell, but God, this guy is going to make, the key with him is he's going to replace Imperatus, we think, in the standard Murder of Griffins list.
Okay.
Because you can cluster up a couple of your Griffins. Even if you cluster up 3 of your Griffins around him, 3 or 4, that 1 focus, which could have even been from an Arcanist, now has become 3 or 4 focus, and they can start off your synergy chain.
Yeah, that's bananas. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
This guy's great. This guy's so good.
He's legit.
He is legit. And we're not even on to the funniest part of him yet either.
No, we're barely getting to the best part now.
He's just the gift that keeps on giving for Retribution players.
Yep, he has Virtuoso, so he can make melee and range attacks during the same combat action, which for a Colossal is great because they can shoot even when they're in melee.
Yeah.
And he's got some sneaky tricks with that, which we'll get to now, because Tractor Beam, his gun, it has Rapid Shot 3, so when he makes his initial attacks with it, he fires 3 times. And what it does, since it doesn't do damage, an enemy model hit by this weapon can be pushed up to 3 inches in any direction.
That is so good.
And it's really great because it's up to 3 inches if pushing him more than 2 inches would be too much, don't. Just stop at 2.
Yeah.
Just how I think an inch and a half is good enough. Boom.
I think it's quite interesting to I'm looking at this and I'm kind of like, those pesky casters that like casting walls, you could probably, if you hit them, possibly, this is a lot of focus to do though, isn't it? But you could effectively get them away from behind their wall to help other things go in and smash them in the face.
Well, yeah, if you've got a wall and you're relying on it for protection, it puts you in the weird spot of if you're too close, you could be pulled over the wall.
Can you actually be pulled over a wall?
If you're a small base, absolutely, because it's... Oh, no, wall, you can't. Actually, it's push. That's too
okay.
bad. But
yeah,
you can push
I was
him away.
Say,
yeah.
bloody hell, if you could put that tractor beam, if it was like, yeah, you're pulled, that would have been even brutal. Like, pull, that just sounds... Oh, but my gosh.
There's so many ways to do it. It gives you great scenario game with him. Like... Somehow they've made a Colossal that's main thing is, I'm a support Colossal, and it's good.
That's true. Oh my gosh.
And then we round out its abilities with its Inferno Fists, which automatically give continuous fire to whoever it hits.
Yeah,
They're
so there we
open
go.
fists. And then they also have Flame Burst, which is pretty cool in a Colossal, because people like to swarm them with dudes, so you just pick off a couple key dudes, and maybe hope the rest burn to death.
Yeah, that's... Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I say, I think he's one of my favourite releases in this book. He really, really gives Retribution a ton of new ideas, and it just makes me really want to play Retribution now. It's sad. It really is kind of like, right, I'm happy with my Trollbloods, I'm happy with my Khador. Darn you, Helios, and loads of other releases from Reckoning. You've made me want to dabble in little forces. It's kind of fun, but man, this guy's nothing but money, and it's 17 points.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
that's a lot of things for 17 points.
Like I said, for the Murder of Griffins list, you were already probably taking Imperatus because he's such a great heavy hitter with that. For 5 points over him, you get this guy who is even harder to kill, and just gives so much ability to that list.
Yeah.
It just there's so many things. I've barely scratched the surface of what you can do with him. He probably has a place with just about any caster.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, he seems to work really well with most casters from the looks of it, which is a bonus because some jacks really don't, unfortunately. But
yeah,
this guy seems to want to work with everyone.
Yeah, him and Ron are a scenario monster. If you get a single zone or you want to get into a zone, you better get dead in the center and hope they don't roll some good hit rolls, because you're not going to be there when they're done.
Yeah, definitely. Guaranteed you're not going to be there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Helios, nothing but money. Possibly my favourite release in this book, one of them. Right, so we're moving on to the last... I think these are the last two little units and solos you got, right? In
Absolutely.
This book? So, John, I'll let you take over for the... I'm not even going to... So, I'm going to try and pronounce it. Is it the Housevine Electromancers?
Housefire, yeah.
Housefire, okay.
Yeah.
So I was halfway there. That's all good. So yeah, if you want to just go generally over them and your initial thoughts as well.
Sure. Okay. Well, there's Speed 6, Mat 6, Rat 6, Def 13, Armor 12, Command 9. This is a pretty good little stat line.
Yep.
They have an Inducer Bolt, which is range 10, rate of fire 1, POW 12, but it has a lot of special abilities we'll get to in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then their melee weapon's called a Storm Inducer. That's POW 6, which makes them power and strength 11. And they're FA 2, and it's a 3 model unit for 4 points. And that right there is actually, it's no frills, but it's pretty good base stat line. I mean, they're a little easy to kill with AoEs or blasts, but...
they're reminding me of a lot of something we have in our faction, just thinking on the top of my head.
They are just like
are they?
what you have in your faction. Yes.
Really? They're like the red versions of Greylords?
They are.
Oh, that's a shame that you guys have those. Oh, never mind.
I think you'll find that we like them a little more, though.
Oh, okay. I won't
pass remember, this is coming from a Merc player who loves his Tactical Arcanist Corps. So
those guys are nothing but money. Goodness gracious.
Yes. So they have immunity to electricity, which is really good. Because, Signar is actually not a great matchup for Ret. They have a lot of the right answers.
Yeah.
So having some good immune to electricity stuff, especially since my dojo's got a lot of Nemo 3 running around right now.
Yeah.
And their gun has attack type. So each time they make a range attack, they get to choose one of 3 abilities for it.
Okay.
The first one is called Energy Leak, And it's when a Warjack is hit with this weapon, it suffers a cumulative -1 penalty to its focus allocation limit for 1 round.
Wow, that's suckage.
Yeah, but models that are immune to disruption are also immune to it, so it doesn't get around, say, it doesn't work on Colossals, but if they've got some Jack they're leaning on, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
You know, it seems like we've talked a lot about this as being maybe a test bed for what disruption will be in a maybe Mark III way down the line.
Yeah.
I feel like they're doing a couple tests to see how good the abilities are.
Okay.
Because honestly, if you had a 3-man unit, each one could disrupt, they would be completely and crazy bonkers.
Yes, they would.
Their second one is Lightning Generator, which works like it always does. When a model is hit with this weapon, lightning arcs from that model to D3 consecutive additional models. It arcs to the nearest model that it has not already arced to within 4 inches of the last model it arced to, ignoring this model. And obviously POW 10, lightning damage roll.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives them a lot of ability to clear out some chaff, if you will.
Yeah, that's true.
Because each one can, you know, kill up to 4 models.
Yeah, true.
With POW 12 with the original, and then, you know, some POW 10s. It's not bad.
Yeah, that is... on average dice, you're looking at possible... a fair few models can go down, yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
and it's really, really good against... I mean, they're Rat 6. If you get lucky enough to be able to aim or something, Rat 8, they're gonna kill quite a few models.
Yeah, that's true.
And then their last one is very strange, but it's called Pulse Fire. And since when a model is hit with this weapon, it suffers D3 damage rolls instead of 1.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, it's kind of cool because it gives them the ability to do, say, something like the Testament of Menoth, which everyone hates, or should hate.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, 2 of those hitting it, you got a fair chance of killing it right out, because they're going to penetrate its armor every time.
Yeah.
And if you can just get your 2d3 to equal 5, he's dead. If you get all 3 on it, you're pretty well...
Yeah.
Almost, not quite guaranteed, but you have a really, really good chance of taking that thing out.
Mm.
It's also good against those sort of, maybe not super hard to kill models, but you need more than just a single PAL 12.
Yeah, that's true.
Tharn come to mind for that, because they don't have the greatest armor, but a single PAL 12 is probably not going to kill them.
No, but it can hurt them, yeah.
Yeah, 2 to 3 could kill them.
Yeah, that's true. Especially
then,
dice spikes, yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And then their Inducer Bolts are obviously electricity, and they're magical. And then their Storm Inducer, their melee weapon, is also magical, has reach, and does Cortex damage. So if you hit a Warjack, they take 1 point of damage to their first Cortex box.
Okay, so it suffers 1 point. So before you even roll the damage roll, it will take down the first, well, point on the closest column then of the Cortex?
Correct.
Holy cow, that's pretty good.
It is. The 3 of them, they run in and hit a Warjack, and if they all hit, it's not ever going to get focus again.
Yeah, that is true. Gosh, sad pandas.
Yeah, they're a good little unit. They're not amazing. They're not like every unit's going to have them, every army's going to have them,
No.
but they've got a place in the army.
Yeah, that's true. They do. And the art of them looks cool as well. They look pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. And they're guns, so Raven likes them, Ossian likes them. Obviously, Assyria loves them, but Assyria loves everything.
Yeah, she does. It is. She's got such a big heart for everybody, hasn't she? That's the best way of putting it.
Yeah. But this also makes me feel good that if they ever did some sort of Mark II remix or Mark III, you'd probably see your Grey Lord Turnian look closer to this unit, and that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, it does.
They don't have 5 boxes like, say, the Tactical Arcanist Corps, but I find at Armor 12, 5 boxes means almost nothing.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, you need to get up to that Armor 16 or so, like the Tactical Arcanist Corps, for that to actually matter.
Yeah, that is true. No, they seem like a fun unit. We'll probably see them in some lists, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and if they look as cool as their picture, I will get to immediately.
Yeah, the first thing I look at them, I'm just like, man, they'll look cool in Iron Kingdoms. Or even to be a character like this in Iron Kingdoms would be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. So, right,
they look very Iron Man, actually, looking at them with that big glowing circle in the center.
That is true. They want to be like Iron Man, basically. They want to be Iron Mans. Oh, well done, Rhett. The Owls were like, oh, this seems like a really good franchise. Let's do this. Even though it probably would never work because Iron Man was never in the Iron Kingdoms. But PP, we know what you're trying to do. We know what you're trying to do. Okay, so we're on to the last model, the Soulless Void Tracer.
Yep.
Right.
So this guy is Speed 6, Strength 6, Mat 6, Rat 3, Defense 13, Armor 13, Command 5. He has a two-handed sword, kind of like Darth Maul's, and that's pretty cool. And it's Power 6, Power and Strength 12. Field allowance of these guys is 2, and they're 1 point each. So they're just 1 point, and they're small bases. These things are fearless, they have stealth, and they have arcane vacuum, which is when a model in this model's command range is targeted by an enemy spell. Before the spell is resolved, the enemy spellcaster takes D3 damage points. Now that's pretty cool.
It is very cool. I like the way they did that. That the model that you're targeting has to be within 5 inches, not this model being within 5 inches of, say, the guy casting it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. They're also soulless, which means this model does not generate a soul token when it is destroyed, and it has spell ward, so it can't be targeted by spells. And the magical, basically the two-handed sword is a magical and reach weapon. Right, John, your first thoughts on these?
They're really good. Since you don't, they're a good 1 point option for a list. You know. People think Arcanists are the 1 point option for this. No, you're taking 2 Arcanists. If you've got 2 Jacks, put that out of your mind. When you got that 1 free point left, what do you do then? Used to be you'd only take a Soulless Escort. Now these guys really have an interesting place. If you're worried about Druids, or unfortunately your Grey Lord Turnian or anything like that,
yeah,
they can definitely kill some dudes.
That is true. I think the first thing that pops to my mind is Outriders hate them if they're placed really, really well and smartly on the board.
And they have been ruled to stack so that if your Outrider targets a guy within 5 inches of both of them, he could straight die.
Yeah, he can.
Just immediately.
Yeah, you're just like, thanks, my Outriders are dead because of this one pesky solo. But it's cool, and I like the whole idea of having a two-edged sword. That's pretty cool. I really like that idea.
Yeah, it's very cool. And actually, with Mat 6, POW 12, they're a decent little melee model in a pinch.
Yeah. And they can become pretty interesting solos if we use them with Thyron as well with that one spell. It could be quite interesting depending on your matchup.
Except they have spell wards, so you can't put it on.
Oh, that is true. Cannot be targeted by spells, period.
Yeah.
Sad pandas.
I wanted Sacred Ward, but they are pretty standard giving them a spell ward.
Yeah. But those guys are pretty good.
They are pretty good. For 1 point, I mean, what do you want for 1 point? When you've got a 1 point model with a decent little ability and they can get some work done.
Yep.
That's like the promised land.
Yep. Have to admit.
And they're mage hunters, so there's a couple theme lists that they sort of slide right into, giving them some more options.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, they'll probably see the table at some point, guaranteed. They're pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So, I believe that brings us to the end of the whole Retribution... how could we put it? The whole category of Retribution and Reckoning, John. So, your first initial thoughts, and then your thoughts on everything in Reckoning as well.
Well, my first thoughts are that Retribution won the book.
Okay.
But I feel like most factions are saying that, which is good.
Yeah. That is true.
I really like everything Retribution got. There's nothing there I saw that I was like, oh, this isn't going to get play, or this is strictly worse than this, or this is, too a niche of a model to actually use. They're all really good. They'll see a lot of playtime.
Yeah, that is true.
In fact, Helios probably see the least playtime, but that's only because he's 17 points. The rest pretty cheap. Good caster. This is a good book.
Yeah, I think overall the book is amazing. But what's your thoughts then, John, on the book of an overall?
Overall, I'm very happy with it. I'll need to play out a little bit before I think if anything's over the top. People are saying Haley 3 is, but I haven't seen it yet with her.
Okay.
Granted, I haven't played against her yet, and but all the casters seem pretty cool. The Denny 3 model, even if the local Crix player doesn't like her, is an amazing model. They're really taking their game up for models.
Yeah.
And everything's pretty cool. Like I said, I like to joke, unfortunately, that Kador got maybe the worst releases in the book, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. There's a few amazing things, and there's some things where I'm just kind of scratching my head, looking puzzled. But you can't win everything when you get an amazing Jack. You know, you can't have too many nice releases. Oh, sorry, look at Menoth. There we go. Hashtag bitter right there, I'm telling you. But no, I have to admit, I think the book overall is fantastic. And John, I want to thank you again for coming and helping us out here on the Bleep Pop Productions. Thank you very much, pal. Do you want to... I'll allow you... Go on. So, everyone might not know you from a certain show, but you can plug that show. Go on. The plug away, my good friend.
Plug away. Well, I am the co-host from Painting with Menoth, John. We are on Twitch at 7 p.m. Central Time in the U.S. Central Time. Every Sunday we record live, so you can jump into Twitch, get in the chat room, we interact with you, we mention what you say, and it's a really cool interactive experience. But we also record it, and we're on the Muse on Minis network.
Yeah, I love the show due to the fact that, well, you guys haven't been painting a lot recently. I've realised that, but other than that, it's still a great show to listen to.
The sneaky secret is I never paint because I'm too busy doing other stuff. You know, keeping track of the. We do a question and answer session we call Flippity Bloops, and I keep track of that stuff. You know, I try to keep track of the chat room. It's more important for me to have you guys be part of the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
Rather than get painting done, because honestly I'm not the most prolific painter.
But yeah, guys, I could not promote these guys anymore. Like, these guys are amazing. Like, I love it. I've been on their show multiple times. I've had so much fun, and ever since being on their show, I've kept in touch with John and John, and we've become really good friends since that. So, John, I really want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart for doing this. And I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing more of you in the near future with your podcasting and all that that's coming your way, pal. Right, guys, and welcome to the Reckoning review of Mercs or mercenaries, shall I say. And I have a very special guest joining me via Skype and a good friend of our podcast and of the YouTube channel, Kevin Bryant. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, mate. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I am really, really excited about some of the releases that you guys have got in this book.
Yeah, I think in Reckoning, Mercs did well. I mean, every other faction got a paltry 5 options, whereas we got I can't remember if it was either 11 or 12 options.
I believe some of the Cephalic stuff has already been out for several months. We'll cover that a little bit, but some of the stuff that's in here is pretty much brand shiny new, isn't it, really?
Yeah, we got 4 brand new toys, and the rest of it is the hard copy of the Cephalic's Forces of that was out on PDF late last year.
Cool. Right, so, guys, if you didn't know as well, Kevin, you are a press ganger, right?
Yeah, I'm a press ganger down in the southeast of England, so I've done many an event. I've even invited the Fat Cats down, but you always decline.
Well, we don't decline. I believe it's a strength of schedule kind of thing because we have so much stuff to do, and then
I'm
it's
reading
like
just
figuring
cowardice. Even
cowardice.
The team event. You never came down for the team events.
I'm sorry, Kev. I'm sorry. I can't really apologise for everyone, but I'll apologise for not going. I'll apologise from beyond. For my part in Fat Cats, I can't speak for everyone else in a way.
No worries.
But it's okay. And also, you've just recently started a podcast, right, on Hand Cannon Online, the network that we're on as well.
Yeah, the Glory and Coin, the podcast for hire. Yeah, sort of covering all the mercs. So again, if this recording isn't crystal clear, we've done a review of this as well. But no, it's sort of been interesting trying to teach you how to use mercs correctly for your Khador forces.
Yeah.
And hopefully others have learnt how to then use mercs to take out your Khador forces.
Yeah, exactly, guys. I can't recommend this podcast a ton. Like, talking to Kev at SmogCon and a few other things, what he was planning to do with the podcast, like, I was excited to see it because, like, mercs to me, I'm kind of like, I have no idea what they do. And yeah, I can say your podcast has opened my eyes to mercenaries. I still like my Khador faction, but I've found there's a couple of merc things slowly getting into the ranks of things. I think
good. That's how it starts.
That's how it starts.
Oh look, I've got this unit and this solo and this bit, and I might as well just get a warcaster and a jack, and I've got a mercenary force, and then it.
Yes, that's probably what's going to happen. I can just feel that coming, Kev. I can feel it. I can literally feel it. I'll be like, yeah, I got to resist this, but man, galleons and all these other things look really freaking cool. So they'll probably end up on the channel at some point, but I digress. Right, let's get straight into Reckoning, bud. Where do you want to start? Because we could glance over the cephalic stuff to begin with, so we can get that all out of the way and then concentrate on the stuff.
If we go in the book order, because then we've got a bit of a palette cleanse after we go through Cognifex Siphon, really.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's do that. Let's start with the first page then. Yeah, Siphon. Gosh. Like we said at the beginning of this, they've already been out for several months, correct, Kev?
Well, this is the new toy.
Oh, this is the new one.
This is the new one.
Okay.
Sort of Exelon Thexis was the one that's been out for a while. This is the new toy to allow Merc players, if they want to have a 2-list Masters Force of just Cephalics. So they've got the two options.
Okay, that's really cool. So I'll just quickly go over his stats, and then we can just digress into him a little bit. Is that cool, Kev?
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. So he's speed 5, strength 6, mat 6, rat 6, defense 13, armor 17, command 9. He has Mind Wipe, which is a 10-inch spray, rate of fire 1, power 10, and he has a close combat weapon, which I believe that's called Pincer Embrace, right?
Yep.
Power 6 and power and strength 12. He's 7 focus, he's got 18 damage boxes, and he has 6 war jack points, and he's on a medium base. He can work... Because he's a mercenary, he can work with cricks, which is kind of sad, but that's what they do, because they're pretty much undead, aren't they, really?
Yep.
So that's kind of sad. They're selective, so this model can be included only in mercenary contract armies and all that other jazz that you briefly touched on, Kev, as well. Siphon himself is Pathfinder, and he also has an Essence Amplifier, so when this model casts a spell and is the point of origin for the spell, you can destroy a friendly dirge in its command range. If do, the spell gains gains +5 range.
Yes.
That's bonkers. And I haven't even got to his spells. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm just looking at this and like, oh my gosh. He also has Sacrificial Pawn, so a lot of people know what that is. And he has Steady, so he can't be knocked down, which is pretty cool. And Mind Wipe is a magical weapon, and it also has Silencer to make it a little bit more filthy, which means the model directly hit by this weapon cannot cast spells for 1 round.
Oh, yeah. Basically, he probes your mind and you go, I can't remember how to cast that now.
Kev, your initial thoughts on this guy before we get into the feats and spells? Just, wow.
Initial thoughts is I feel that he's a little bit confused. Exelon is all about control. His feat, his spells, everything gives him control. Exelon has some great spells, but they all cost a lot. He wants infantry again because of his spells, or some of his spells, and then his feat wants him to take monstrosities. And if you want to try and do all of his toys in one turn, he won't have enough. You have to have a lot of self-control and discipline to just go, this turn I'm just going to do this and this. And if you do it like that, I think he'll work.
He seems to be very different, like you were saying. Yeah, I haven't really run into a lot of cephalics yet, but I know roughly what they do, and he seems to make them a little bit more aggressive from what I've heard. But moving on, we'll go to his feat, which is a pretty bitchin' feat, I honestly think. It's really good. So it's Adrenaline Rush, and it basically says monstrosities in his battle group that are currently in his control area gain +3 speed, strength, and armor for 1 round. Those that do suffer 1 damage. Those that do suffer 1 damage to each column on their damage grids at the end of their activation this turn.
You missed one keyword there.
Oh, what's the keyword?
It's monstrosities in Siphon's control area that are currently in his control area can gain +3 speed.
Oh, they can. Oh, okay.
So that's why it says those that do suffer 1 damage to each column in their damage grid. So you could say these couple will take the bonus and rip face and then die. These couple won't.
So there's no need to do the feat on them.
Yes.
Right. That's wow. Wording is so key in this feat.
I do wish his feat allowed 3 charges as well. This is where I'm saying he's a little bit confused, because where you could have potentially, say, 3 monstrosities quite easy at their cost. you pop your feet, and then you go, right, I want to load all these jacks up to go in and rip stuff apart before they get destroyed. And he won't have enough focus to do that. Whereas if it was a holds mechanic, you say, I give you this bonus, and then I'm just going to make these beasts go hot. He just doesn't have quite enough. If you got at least a free charge out of it, I would feel happier. But that's my only complaint.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you take yes, you're getting those buffs, but you're taking basically 6 points of damage on each monstrosity afterwards.
Yeah. It depends. It seems to me as well like it could be a very interesting piece trade. Like, obviously, you can get a really horrific charge lane off on something and be like, right, if I take out, say, like Morg or even Beast 09 or something like that with one monstrosity this turn because of this, maybe it's worth it. Maybe if he's taking 6 damage to take out something that hits like a ton of bricks, could be a decent trade-off. But yeah, it's hit or miss, but I guess we'll definitely see this guy on the table. Definitely. So, Kev, I'll let you take the spells then, bro. We can break them down one by one.
Right, he's got Affliction, cost 3, range 8, and it's upkeepable. When a damage roll resulting from a direct hit fails to exceed the armor of the target of the enemy model stroke unit, the affected model hit suffers 1 point of damage. So basically, anything that shoots that unit gains anatomical precision.
Wow.
That's the easiest way to think of it. And that applies to range attacks as well. So you can say, oh, you're armor 19 Citrati in Shield Wall, and I'm just going to shoot you with these power 10 shots. Plink, 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 plink. Even if I'm not spiking my dice, you still suffer a wound,
That's so cool. That's a really nice spell. Especially for stuff that can't hit, like heavy hitters like that. That's crazy. It's really good.
So, next one is Breath Stealer. Cost 2, range 10, offensive. Target model unit suffers -2 speed and defense for 1 round. Breath Stealer can only be cast once per turn.
Okay.
So, a nice little debuff there. And also, because of -2 speed, enemy models can't charge, which could make the difference.
Yeah, that is a very... I can see that being cast on several unfortunate powerful units in the near future.
Well, you can only cast it once per round, so that's a saving grace.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, that should be in brackets next to it, really, shouldn't it?
I mean, all these ranges I'm saying here, so range 10 for this. Remember, I can add an extra 5 inches onto this because of the Essence Amplifier.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good. Like, all these can be added +5 because of that as well, so...
Yeah. Right, next one. Empathic Overload. Cost 3, range 8, AoE 4, power 12. Models hit by Empathic Overload suffer a power 12 damage roll. Right, so it's all models in the AoE suffer a power 12 damage roll. It's not Blast, so if you've got Force Barrier, don't care.
Yeah.
So Satixus Raiders and the Battle Mittens in Ret, they still suffer a power 12. And when Empathic Overload targets a friendly model, it automatically hits. So I can put my Grunt in the middle of your list, in the middle of your army. I target him, automatically hit, 4-inch AoE centered on him, everyone suffers a power 12.
It's pretty awesome. I just like the fact that it specifically says you can hit a friendly model and it automatically hits. That's amazing.
If you go for the Cephalix contract rather than their theme forces, you can have incorporeal pistol race and machine race.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
That can run into the middle of your army and be targets.
Oh, that's great. It's really good. Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice.
So rather than just, I'm going to run to your front line and cop 2 of you in the AoE, I'm going to run through your line and detonate. Or, you've got shield wall. Right, I'll go through the line, and now the origin point of the AoE is in your rear arc, so you don't get your shield bonus.
Like, the only thing I can see, like, this spell being horrific, but being a Kador player, buy Kayazi and buy Nis, buy all you power armor 11 geezers. Oh my gosh, that's horrific.
Buy your shield wall. Buy your shield wall Iron Fangs gun. You're going to run through, and now you're down to armor 14 again.
Oh, sad pandas. Oh, this is so bad. Oh man, that's good. That's a nice spell. I like that.
Yeah, Gallows. Cost 3, range 10, power 13. When an enemy model is hit by this attack, it can be pushed d6 inches directly towards the gallows point of origin. Power 13 is very nice. The random distance, not so nice. You go, I need anything but if I can get a 3 or more to pull you in, you're in range from my charge. Oh, I've rolled a 2, you're out of my charge range still.
Yeah. Kind of sad.
Onslaught, the spell of the moment in the PP office, it must be.
Yes, definitely.
Cost 2, range self, AoE is control, and it's upkeepable. Friendly faction models beginning a charge in this model's control area gain Pathfinder.
Okay.
This is considering that Cephalix have many models that have eyeless sight. This spell turns Cephalix into Legion.
Oh, that's crazy. That's really not nice.
I like it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Being the Merc player, obviously, you would like it. This is another possible Legion army is not nice though.
This is a fair Legion.
It's a fair. Yeah, we can say that it's fair Legion.
Yeah. Perseverance. Target cost 2, range 6, upkeepable again. Target friendly models unit gains +2 arm and cannot be pushed and cannot be moved by a slam or throw.
Okay.
So it's an armor buff and also stops potential Kruger 2 pushing you out of zone type feats or abilities.
Any telekinesis and stuff like that. And
yeah, just gives you a little bit of resilience there.
Would you see that probably being cast on himself or herself?
It could go on Siphon, it could go on a unit of Drudges, it could go on one of the monstrosities, because considering that he's got Sacrificial Pool Monstrosity, giving +2 armour to the monstrosity, then all shots that target him go to them, and go to him, and go to him.
Yeah. I think this guy's money. I really do. Like, looking at this, I think he adds something a bit different to Cephalix from what my friends have told me and stuff. He adds something very, very different to them.
As I said, the fact that he's got Focus 7 and all of his spells cost 2 to 3, and then he wants to run several monstrosities, it's a lot of outlay.
Okay.
And because even though he's got the range amplifier, I could see him being more midfield than Thexis, because Thexis is right back at the table.
Okay.
He's going to be further up, and so I can't see him having much focus on him at the end of each turn. So then you're relying on Depth 13, Armour 17. Yes, he has got Sack Pawn, but magic attacks get past Sack Pawn and stuff like that.
Yeah, so he's a little bit squishy.
Yeah, so that's the bit I'm just wary about.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd definitely be getting him.
Cool.
I definitely think he's got some game. I mean, again, just because you play Kador, I mean, that Mind Wipe ability.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's only it's range 10, but go, and I'm going to shoot Butcher. Right, so that's no more flashing blades or pulling me over and killing me type of shenanigans going on.
That Mind Wipe really does stop Butcher 3, period, because no Energizer, none of the spells you said really hurts him.
No impending doom, no flashing blades. It shuts down a lot. If Butcher's coming up and starts threatening, I mean, he's Rat 6, I'll boost that. Just because it's model directly hit, so it doesn't even have to be damage. It's just, I hit you. And Butcher's defense is what, 14?
I think it's 14, yeah.
Yeah, an 8 on 3 dice. I'll live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you haven't got Butcher 3, so you've just got Old Witch, Eris 1, Eris 2, Soulsha. I think you've got enough depth there.
Yeah, we do. We have a nice roster. I'm not even going to lie about that. I'm not going to complain about that. That's our roster's pretty nice. It's good. Yeah. So no, Siphon seems pretty nice. I would like to see him definitely on the tables. It'll be interesting to see how Cephalix are in the near future. Yeah.
I'm just starting to build up my own Cephalix force now. Just starting to get hold of the bits to start building it and painting it. So another month or two, and I'll start hitting the table with him.
Cool. That's nice to hear. All right, Kev. So we'll move on to the next Warcaster.
Yeah,
Now,
the next bunch we'll go a bit more briefly over because they've been out for about 6-7 months now.
True. So
yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it then, Kev. You take the reins on all of this then. Go for it.
So Exelon Thexis. He is a Focus 8 caster that has telekinesis, rampager, and deceleration.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, doing unit, and his feat is push everything in his area 2 inches any direction. There's not really much else you have to say about that. He's a puppet master.
He is. He seems a puppet master.
And his trick, he can use his monstrosities as arc nodes, but they suffer a little bit of damage. But he has psychosurgery to heal it. So,
oh gosh, yeah, he's pretty darn good. But like we said, he's been out for a while, so people have probably been playing him, so they know really what's his deal. So he's good, but yeah, very different to Siphon. Very different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's blast through these other ones then.
Okay, so now we've got the 3 monstrosities, which they're all 36 hit points.
Okay.
Same as your Behemoth.
Well, yeah, that happens.
But Def 10, Armour 17, so they're a little bit more squishy.
Yep.
Mat 5, Speed 7, and that's pretty much consistent all the way through. And Eyeless Sights. You've got Subduer for 7 points. He has a Net Launcher, which can knock things over and drag them towards him. And then he has an Impaling Blade, which is a power and strength 16.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got the knockdowns, which I always like, with a 3-inch AoE.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good. On his net launcher, right, that is?
Yeah, the Quake has to be on a direct hit, though, so you can't just throw the AoE and hope. It does have to.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got, like, a Jack next to something important, target the Jack, hit him, and the important thing next to him is knocked over.
Yep, so probably a Warcaster that might be hiding behind him, probably.
Yeah, for example.
Just casual. There's an example.
Yeah.
Man, he's good. 7 points.
Okay. So you got the Walder, which is 6 points. And he's got a Shield Guard and a Head Plate, which is a Buckler. And he can slam for free.
Wow, okay. It's pretty good.
So, Shield Guard is nice, because both Warcasters can sack pawn 2 monstrosities for free. You can then use the Shield Guard to protect other stuff.
Mm.
And so, base armor 17, add in the Buckler, 18. If you then start going either Deceleration or Perseverance, he can be an armor 20. All the shooting's going to him, not my caster.
Yeah, wow.
Which is nice.
Yeah, 6 point Shield Guard, and I just like the fact that his head plate's a buckler. I find that hilarious.
Yeah, I'll take the bullet with my face.
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. Like that
but he's only power and strength 14 on any of his attacks, so he's not the most powerful, but 6 points, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Then you come to the Wrecker, who is 7 points against, so 7 points is the most expensive Jack we have.
Okay.
But then again, Kador can't complain, you've got 5 point Mad Dogs.
Yeah. We have mixed opinions on Murder of Crows.
I know.
Go listen to that podcast.
5 points.
I know. I'm still on the fence on it. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
Okay.
That's an argument for another day, Kev.
He's got 2 ball and chain weapons that are power and strength 17 with reach, and he's got bloodbath. So if he both hits, he gets to make a thresher, and the weapons have beat back.
Pretty good.
So I mean, he does just beat face. There's no subtlety to that.
No, not at all.
So again, if you think of with Siphon's feat, that's speed 8 with reach, power strength 17, armor 20, power strength 20, armor 20 on the Wrecker.
Yeah.
Kind of tasty.
That is kind of tasty. Power strength. That is kind of nice. I would assume the feat would mainly be put on these ones than the other guys, more than anything that I can think of.
More than likely.
Yeah, power strength 20, 2 attacks with a bloodbath. Oh, yes. That's tasty for most players. Yeah. I wonder how many people will be picking Cephalix up very soon. I guess.
Join the mercs. Right. So now we get because in the Crix book there was already a Cephalix unit. That was the Mind Slavers, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, Mind Slavers and the Drudges in that. This is now the other Cephalix unit, the Mind Benders and Drudges.
Okay.
Basically, the Mind Slavers just took the biggest brutes they could find, strapped a load of saw blades on them, and told them to go forth and kill. The Mind Benders are a little bit more subtle and use the Drudges as almost like art nodes in a way. They can do stuff.
Okay.
Because the Cephalix has got 3 abilities that he can use through the Drudges. If he uses it, that Drudge dies. One of them is a magical AoE, another one is a spray, and the other one is he turns a Drudge into Super Drudge. Well, target Drudge going to +4 mat strength and immediately move for 4 inches. So if you did it in the same unit, this Drudge goes up to power and strength 16, mat 9. And he's also been moved 4 inches extra.
Okay, that's pretty bananas. But will he die after doing that hit or not?
No.
Flipping what? That's crazy good.
Yeah, but he's only armor 13. He'd probably die from you just giving him a backhander. But
yeah, that's probably true. But he would hit you hard first, hopefully.
But if you do it on the other Drudge unit, the Mind Slaver unit, the Drudge is there. I'd have to double check. I think they've got either a combo strike or they're slightly stronger to begin with.
Okay.
So basically, these ones set up, and the other ones do the real hits.
And they seem money for how much points cost they are.
Yeah, 4/6.
4/6.
All Drudges have Isle of Sight and Tough and Fearless and things. So,
gosh, they seem money for 6 points. A full unit of those.
Admittedly, if you kill the Cephalix, though the Cephalix does have Sackpawn Drudges, they don't go down. They go down to Command 4.
Okay.
Because they're all brainless things. If there's no Cephalix to lead them.
Yeah, they're kind of stupid, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you would be, I guess, if you're already part dead. You're probably just zombies, aren't you, really, at the end of the day?
Exactly. You've got... Well, they're still living. They're just being controlled.
Okay, that makes sense. We'll be kind to them.
Speaking of control...
Yes. Nice segue. I like the segue, Kev.
We have the Cephalix Dominator.
Cool.
Who is a mercenary unit attachment... Because basically, you could put him with a mercenary unit, which helps give the Cephalix contract more depth in range options of sort of units and stuff that they can take, and basically he controls the brains of that unit.
Okay.
So you can attach it to any unit. I mean, in the picture, he's with Forge Guard dwarves, but you could put it on Nis Hunters, you could put it with Boom Howlers, you could do it with Steelheads, whoever you wanted.
Okay.
If he does, the unit is granted Fearless and Tough, but if he dies, the unit automatically is broken for a turn.
Okay. But I could probably see the niceness of Nis with Tough. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, so there's some pros and cons there. So it's
yeah,
it's like I said, it's just a nice way of giving more options to the Cephalix list without giving them extra new units and infantry.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. So it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All
right. So far we've looking at the Drudges and the monstrosities. I mean, the monstrosity is mat 5. The standard Drudge is only mat 5, power and strength 12 on the Mindbender unit.
Okay.
Not necessarily against Kiazis, against Nis Hunters, against Gun Mages. Mat 5 isn't always guaranteed against, and Jelly Eye and stuff like that. Mat 5 on the monstrosities isn't that good, even if you're boosting. You're still looking at 50-50s. If only there was a way you could actually help them.
Mm-hmm.
The Cephalix Agitator.
Oh, here we go.
He's a Cephalix solo, not in any unit or anything like that, though he does have Sackpawn Monstrosity, so again, he can hide behind the big brutes.
Okay.
He's got a couple of abilities. He's got Influence, which is always nice. He's got the standard Cephalix spray attack, which is nice.
Yep.
And then he has Instigate, While within 5 inches of this model, friendly drudges and monstrosities gain +2 to attack and damage rolls.
That's pretty legit. Mat 7 now, right?
Yeah, so that Wrecker is now speed 8, Mat 7, power and strength 22 with its ball and chains.
Jesus. And if you take him with Siphon as well, you're looking at Mat...
Well, that's how you get all the way up to
Oh my gosh, that's mental. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Or, just so you're not feeling left out, if you take Exelon with Rampager and Telekinesis, I'll move this model forward and turn him round and I'll attack you in the rear. I'm not hitting necessarily as hard, but I'm not destroying my war beasts, my monstrosities, and I'm hitting just as easy.
Yeah. Gosh. Cephalics are good. I'm kind of tempted right now. I'm really tempted.
They're very, very squishy. I mean, most Cephalics here, Def 14, Armour 13. They're relying a lot on their sack pawns and their shield guards. But if you can get the tempo going, they could be really fun.
Yeah, I might have to get some for the channel so we can have some battle reports with them. Definitely, gosh.
So
money.
I mean, they're all the new old stuff.
New old stuff, yeah.
And just over the whole book, because all of those bits, and also where several of the new Warcasters are units, they're taking up additional pages. It has had a knock-on effect on how big some of the individual faction fluff chapters are, and the painting section in Reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to see them putting the Cephalics list in a hardback book rather than just a PDF. So a new player going into the game is like, oh, if I just buy the books, I should have all the information there. Where are these models? Oh, they're on a PDF floating in the void somewhere.
The void of the internet.
So I think it is a good move, just at the small cost of a little bit of fluff. But the fluff in here is still very solid.
Oh, yeah, I'm halfway through the fluff and I'm really excited about it already.
Yeah.
It's great. Oh,
okay.
Right,
so now I'm a sad panda.
Okay, so now I'm curious. We're talking about the Swamp Gobber River Raiders. So, right, I'll go for everything and then I'll let Kev have his thing. Because before we recorded this, Kev... We could just say, to quote South Park, is a sad panda about these. So there we'll do that. He's a sad panda.
I think you need to give this unit its full title.
Okay. Holy crap. Okay. Swamp Gobber River Raiders. Mercenary Minion Privateer Sea Dog Solo. Jeez Louise, that is a mouthful and a half. Goodness gracious. Okay, so a single raider. These are the stats for them. So they're speed 6, strength 3, mat 5, rat 5, def 14, armor 12, command 7. Their harpoon pistol is range 6, rate of fire 1, and a power 10. Their hand weapons are power 3, and their power and strength 6. Field allowance 3. For 3 raiders, it's 2 points, and they're all on small bases. These mercenaries will work with cricks, and cricks alone. For minions, they can be taken with Circle, Scorn, and the Blind Water... Is that so? Blind Water is basically the
Crocs.
Crocs, so they can be taken with Crocs. Okay, that's cool. The River Raiders also have advanced deployment. They have Camouflage, so that's +2 defense while benefiting from concealment or cover. They have Virtuoso. This model can make a melee and a range attack during the same combat action, which is pretty interesting.
It needs to for obvious reasons.
Yes. And then, okay, their harpoon pistol, which I think is fantastic, but we'll see what Kev thinks of this. So, harpoon pistol has reeled in. If this weapon hits a non-incorporeal enemy model, this model can be placed, that's right, placed base to base with that enemy model. So, you don't have to put them in the front arc. You can put them in their back arc. Just saying, that seems pretty interesting. And then their hand weapon has Weaken. A living model hit by this weapon suffers -2 strength and defense for 1 round. Okay, I've had my say. Kev, please do indulge me.
Right, somehow, some way, a copy of Attack on Titan appeared in the Iron Kingdom. And these gobbers somehow managed to get the DVD to work. And they saw... these guys with their multi-directional kits swooping around buildings, going into big flying arcs to attack the rear of Titans and going for the weak spots, and they thought it was a great idea.
I love that. So,
Your initial thoughts, other than these look like Attack on Titan wannabes.
Yeah, I just want to see someone converting green stuff, one of these, to have the multi-directional gear and the Scout Division coats.
You know that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, fair play to them. Right, my problem is, or it's twofold. One, Matt and Rat 5 on a range 6 weapon isn't accurate enough for them to do their big trick. And then I don't think PP was silly enough. The concept of this, of them harpooning it in and all this kind of stuff, when the last year's seasonal system, when they were showing spoilers in the vaults, they showed concept art of these. And instantly people were kind of speculating, going, oh, they've got harpoons, they're going to have drag, and people going, well, they're gobbos, they're too small to really drag stuff. Maybe they drag themselves to the enemy, which they kind of do. But if they're going to drag themselves into the enemy, why not give them, because they're only map 5, why not go, and if they do this, they can't charge. So why not give them a boosted attack roll to represent them flying into the enemy?
Yeah, I've heard this. This would make a little bit of sense.
And I'd be happy to pay 1 point a model to have that kind of silliness to them. They're going, yeah, we're going to do this, and it's going to be really fun. And they just haven't gone the whole distance there.
Yeah.
And so the Mat 5, Mat and Rat 5 is just a little bit too low to make them guaranteed. Because they're privateers, they can go in the Italian charter and I think Shay's themeful, so I would have to just check that. But all the officers and solos, which is what really makes the pirates work, 3 out of the 4 of the officers don't work on them.
Okay.
They're not a Sea Dog unit, they're solos, so you can't rock bottom coin them. They have no way currently of getting tough, unless you want to put something like Piper on a single model. So therefore, Bosun and Doc don't work. So it's only First Mate Halt that gives them Fearless, and because they've got hand weapons, she would give them Pseudo Weapon Master against warrior models.
Okay. So
it's only First Mate Halt that actually gives them anything. If they'd been a unit, say 4-6 or even 5-8 or 5-7 or something for 10 of them, and they were a unit that you could do some of these interactions, that again you could have some options and flexibility and ideas, but I just don't think they quite have enough. I mean, some of the stuff you can potentially do, if we're going to go positive here, we'll try and end positive.
We'll try and end positive. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, if they harpoon something and end in the rear arc of a Walt Wolf, and the Walt Wolf goes, well, I'm going to ignore their power 6, I don't really care about that, I'm going to charge your cavalry or your galleon. And you go, okay, right, free strike. I hit with my hand weapon. You're now -2 strength when you now attack my galleon.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It could make all the difference.
Yeah,
over the course of 5 or 6 attacks. That's a big jump in the damage output. But you're still relying on a Mat 5. Okay, going up to 7 because of the free strike. You're looking at a 50-50 to hit the Walt Wolf.
Yeah.
If you're in the rear arc to start with, and someone hasn't realised this and just killed the Gobbo first.
Yeah.
The idea is really good. I'm just not sure if it's all there. There could be, the next book out could be that killer piece that it's missing. I just don't know.
Yeah, we always see stuff that's kind of like, maybe, I don't know if this can work, and then maybe a few releases down the line you're kind of like, holy crap, these things will be bonkers with that. And that's what PP seem to do quite well, is they release something that some of us don't really understand, but later down the line, you know. But I could see these being absolutely a blast to use in the Iron Kingdoms. Selfish plug right there, because we're doing it. It's just I like the whole idea of harpoon. These are guys who would literally, if your ship is out on the river, on the sea, and these guys would be harpooning over the deck to get into your face. And I like that kind of aspect. But yeah, like you say, Kev, I think you bring up some really good points about maybe there's something down the line that will make these things shine. So... Oh, and the artwork looks so cool as well. Sad pandas. But the River Raiders, we'll say, we'll see what happens to you guys in the near future. Okay, now we'll move on to pirates that really scare the bejesus out of me.
Yes.
The Devil's Shadow Mutineers. Kev, I'll let you take full reins on this one, boy.
Oh God, right, okay. I'll quickly go through their stats first. Right, so Mar, Speed 6, Rank 7. Rat 7, Mat 7, Rat 4, Def 14, Armour 12, Command 7. They're all Speed 7, 14, 12 Armour, so we won't ignore that for now. Morland, he's Mat 7, Rat 4. And Zara is Mat 4, but Rat 7.
I'll quickly say, it's Speed 6, not Speed 7, but we'll keep going.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine, it's alright, mate. Yeah.
Right, so Mar has a Power Strength 9 Sabre.
Yes.
And she has Swashbuckler with that. So she can basically have a 360 Thresher.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And also that Sabre is... Where is it? Yes, it is Weapon Master and Magical.
Yeah, a 360 Thresher is pretty bonkers with Weapon Master. That's mental.
Morland, he has a magical pistol, and that's it, and then 2 magical power and strength 11 cutlasses that he can do a combo strike with.
Yeah, combo strikes are pretty good.
So that would put him up to that put him up to 15.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then you have Zara, who is Eyeless Sight, Gunfighter.
She's bonkers.
With magical Weapon Master pistols, and she also has Black Penny.
Oh my gosh. Just to add insult to injury. Oh my gosh.
And then they're all fearless, and they all have an ability called Bloodbound. I'll read this out first off. When this model destroys a living enemy model with an enemy attack, after the attack is resolved, you can return 1 destroyed model in this unit to play. The model returns with 5 damage boxes and must be placed within 3 inches of this model. And cannot activate this turn it returns in play. The destroyed model is then removed from play but does not provide soul or corpse tokens.
That's crazy.
Right. It's any attack that they kill brings back one of their friends. So that means Zara's pistols and Morland's pistol can return models back. So they can return stuff from range.
So good. So good.
Even if they don't return, say all 3 of the Devil Shadow Mutineers are on the table, because it's a separate sentence, the destroyed model is removed from play and does not provide soul or corpse tokens. They stop recursions as well.
Yes. That's kind of key.
Yeah, so that's kind of nice to know. So, going, oh, look, you've got some Mechanothralls, or you've got some, this swordsman by that pot. Don't care. Just kill those.
Yeah.
Or you've got some models by your Ogrim Bocker, and I'll kill those, and you're not getting any more zombies back.
Yeah.
It's all those kind of things that they can do there. And the fact they're all weapon masters, the fact that Zara is... Eyeless Sight with Black Penny, I found great as a second wave unit. So once your first line is engaged, she can just pick things off to keep the front line moving forward rather than them being engaged in just a meat grinder to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
I find that Morland, just with his 2 power 11s, yes, they're not Weapon Master, but they're still power 11s, he can still get some work done. I mean, they're just for 4 points.
They're phenomenal.
I think they're bang on the money. If they'd been 5, I think they'd be too expensive. I think if there were 3, they'd be bonkersly cheap. I think for 4, I think they really have found a nice spot there.
Yeah, these guys, I would agree with you, Kev, seem a horrific second wave. And just the ability of, if I kill one, I need to make sure I kill the others because, oh crap, like they've killed something, oh, he's back on the board or she's back on the board.
I've played games where I've been down to 1 model and then like more, because each of them have got a way that they can kill at least 2 models a turn.
Yeah.
Zara's got 2 pistols, Morland's got 2 cutlasses, Mars got swashbuckler, and I've brought the whole unit back.
Yeah.
It can be so frustrating, and just because for Mercs it says that it works for critics, that also means that they work for the 4-star syndicate. They are a very, very solid unit. They look nice. They're great models to paint up.
Yeah, the artwork looks awesome as well. Oh my gosh, these guys are great. They're such a great unit. It seems character units are being pretty bloody good recently. Like, I think the Circle one was the last one they announced, which was a newish character unit, and those guys are bonkers. Character units are a thing.
The main thing with these is, unlike some of them that have recently come out, their main ability, they've all got it. Not like kind of, while this model's in play, you have this ability, and while this one's in play, you've got this ability. I mean, like, look at the Great Bears.
Yeah.
Which one gives stops you getting knocked over? Him. All right, kill him first. And which one gives you 360? Kill him. This one, the Bloodburnt Bound, they've all got it. It's just the different weapons that makes these guys different.
Yeah, it's that. It's, oh my gosh. These guys are awesome. If they're out right now as well, aren't they? These guys.
Yes, they've been out. These been out for a couple of months.
Oh, they're so good. Oh,
they are very good. I've had great success with these on the table.
Okay, so now onto the thing which I am so excited to play.
Yeah, the final option is it's Mercenary's second battle engine.
This thing is amazing. Like I was saying to all the guys when we were at the release date on Wednesday, when most of this stuff has been recorded, guys. Oh my gosh, this thing is just money. This thing's amazing. Oh, I'm so happy about it. But Kev, I'll let you take the reins because, oh my gosh, this... Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is definitely all you, buddy.
Yeah. Like I said, this is Mercenary's second battle engine, and in comparison to the other one, it's not as good, but it's still a damn good battle engine.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes. Alright, the Hammerforged Siege Crawler. It's a Mercenary Rulic battle engine. Speed 5, which was faster than I thought it was going to be. Mat 6, Rat 6, Def 9, Armour 20, Command 10.
Yep.
It's got 22 hit points, and it's 9 points.
9 points.
Well, that's the average cost of most
I know, but
battle
for
engines.
9 points, what it does is just great.
Yeah. It's obviously a huge base. Right, its weapons. It's got a quad cannon, which is range 10, power 12, and it has auto fire for D3 plus 1 shots.
Yep. Very good.
Okay, and then it's got 2 siege breakers on the left and right side. Each siege breaker is range 12, rate of fire 1, AoE 4, power 15. And the siege breakers have crit stagger. On a critical hit, the models hit loses its initial attacks and cannot make special attacks for 1 round.
That is amazing.
Yeah, if you can get that critical to suddenly go, oh look, you're a colossal, can't make its initial attacks, so those first 2 attacks or that charge attack doesn't work anymore now. Oh look, you can't 2-hand throw that model away. You can't slam me with your bronze back. You can't do all those silly bits you can normally do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hit a bronze back, so it loses its initial, or a mammoth, and it loses its initial 3 attacks.
Oh my gosh.
That can be huge.
It's true. This thing really makes gargantuans and colossals, and hey, dare I even say it, really horrible, beasts and warjacks cry. If you get the crit, you're just kind of like, oh, wicked. That's even better than I thought.
The problem is, in Mercs, because it's a battle engine, not a jack, trying to consistently get the crit is difficult. You're looking at feats or spells, and the spells would just be the first shot from this model, so you wouldn't be able to get the chance on both weapons.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the counterpoint to it. On the other hand, it's still a 4-inch AOE power 15.
Yeah.
It's a construct with bulldoze because it's nice.
Because why not?
Because why not? It's got weapon platforms so it can fight in melee and shoot in the same turn because it's got a power 15 bash attack where it just runs you over.
Yeah.
And then it's got girded.
Oh my gosh. It's bonkers.
This I've been crying for months. Well, for not months, for years.
Months.
For years to get a steelhead minibus. We've kind of nicknamed it.
Okay.
Just as some form of transport, possibly. This is very, very close, but inside out.
Okay.
So if you had things like your Nis Hunters or your Gun Mages or relatively high defense troops, they could sit on the outside of this going, your normal weapons won't hit us because our def is too high. And if you shell us with AoEs, the girded will still protect us.
Yeah.
So then you can do that kind of Vietnam thing of the troops protect the tank from enemy troops, and then the tank will protect the troops from enemy tanks. You can have that relationship as a kind of a synergistic group on the table.
Oh man, this thing's money. It's so good.
And then the other way of thinking about this thing, and I've said it on other bits before, is it is an armor 20, 22 wound gun emplacement.
Yeah.
If the first turn you just run it 10 inches up the table and get it positioned where you need it to, then turn 2 you can sit there and aim and it's rat 8.
Yeah.
Or if you have Dougal in your army, those 2 siege breakers are then rat 10.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's so good. Wow. The funniest thing is, Kev, I'm currently running a Vlad 2 list for ETC and it's all been submitted and stuff. And the first thing the guy said was like, "Oh, Lee, you're using a battle engine." I'm like, "Yeah, it does really well in scenarios and it's a lot of hitboxes." And as soon as I read these rules, and I was like, "Wicked! If this list continues to be money for me right now, because I'm really enjoying it and winning a lot of games with it, this is going to replace the battle engine."
You do know Hand of Fate won't work on it.
I know, but I don't mind that. I can easily sit this thing at rat 8 and smash things.
Okay, I just thought in case you were thinking that you could Hand of Fate it for the
No,
crits.
that's the sad thing about it. But the thing is like rat 8 is way better than rat 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if I stand still, rat 7. But yeah, I'm more happy to have something that hits. But it also has bulldoze, which can be really useful. But we didn't even say that he can charge, and he has got a power 15 bash, and then
that's what I'm saying with the weapon platform.
Yeah, it's mental. This thing's great. This thing's money. Oh, I bet you're well happy about it.
I am, and I was surprised at it being speed 5. With Rudik, I almost expected it to be speed 4. So, again, in Mercs, if you go it to Osram on his feet turn, this thing's speed 7, armor 22.
Wow. Oh my days! Oh my days! This I love it. I really, really like it. I bet you guys at Glory and Coin love this as well, don't you?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I mean, at time of recording this, we have released a Reckoning review based on the card spoilers rather than the book itself.
Okay.
Because the Lock and Load spoilers came out thick and fast.
Yes,
so
they
we did a quick review there, and we were very, very happy about the new toys we got. The Siege Crawler, money. Devil Shadow Mutineers, money. Swamp Gobbers,
possible money.
Siphon, money. So overall, plus the Cephalix, plus the fluff, we can't complain at all. I think we've done really well here, and hopefully now we've got 2 Cephalix casters. That means the next book, where Dr. Nick might come out, we might actually get, dare I usher the words, a second epic warcaster.
Whoa. Hold your horses there, bro. No, that'd be pretty cool, actually. I'd like that. That'd be pretty sweet.
Well, I just have to see where it comes in a year's time when the next book arrives.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So guys, that was pretty much Reckoning Mercenaries overview. If you want to check out, obviously, the Glory and Coin podcast, head over to Hand Cannon Online for Kev and the guys. They're going to be reviewing this book as well. So, you know, while recording this, Kev, I must have heard like 3 or 4 different, like, everyone's opinions on this has either been mixed, either rubbish or amazing. So it's been quite interesting how the Warmachine meta have it's got mixed reviews, but me personally, and I know the guys who are in the video that you are watching right now, we all think each faction did amazing, and I think it's a perfect book. It's really good.
I've said this myself. I think this book, all across the factions, I think everyone's got some fantastic new toys and options. It's not power creep new stuff. It's a good variant. I think the way that PP handled it, that they gave a few early releases, they gave a few snippets just to get your juices really flowing with the here's a spell that someone might have, or here's a concept art but we're not going to tell you anything else, and it was just enough to keep us frothing at the bit. And then when the book dropped, suddenly going the Men of Solo and the Hand of Judgment, where the hell did they come from?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Two new Berserk chassis jacks for Kador. What the hell? And like Cypher coming out, and the for the Mercs. It's just and the Siege Crawler is like, wow, just keeping all this held back. But it was enough to keep us going. I mean, previous books, they had released too much. I think this time PP really did it spot on.
It's exactly what I said in our Murder of Crows episode. They've done a fantastic job not spoiling everything. And there has been some things in here where we're kind of like jaw drop, like, crap, we're going to see these things a lot. I definitely know most of the Men Off stuff we'll see a lot on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad times. But anyway, Kev, thank you for taking time out of your fun, busy schedule to...
no problems, mate.
To come and help us out. And yeah, guys, check out the podcasts on Hand Cannon Online, because both Kev and me work for them technically, and we can say that they're a great group of guys over there. And they're like podcasting's popping up like left, right, and center all the time on Hand Cannon. So guys, just go check out the website. It's a ton of fun. And Kev, again, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule, bud.
No worries.
And guys, that is it. That is the Reckoning overview in the books. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun to edit, and a bit of a pain and a joy, shall we say, to do so. And hopefully later on in the year, when the next book's released, we'll do the same, but hopefully we'll have it out in time a little bit quicker. But guys, on the screen right now, you can go check out my channel to go watch more Warmachine content or any other board or video game content that we're doing. And also, if you fancy checking out Hand Cannon Online, there is the link in description as well. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe. A subscription is always loved. And also, if you've liked the video, like it, so it can see a lot more eyes. And also, guys, why don't you go and leave a comment in the comment section about the releases we got in Reckoning. But hey, without further ado, guys, take care, have a good one, and happy wargaming.